ni Rob Luna. Guys, hindi pa rin tapos ang laban. Game 1 pa lang yun, Rob.
Game 1 pa lang yon. Action Jackson ika nga sa mga terms natin. Pero wow, like what Midnight said, yung that 7,000 deficit, most of the teams would actually parang bow out na kagad, parang next game na. Pero alam ng work laruin, kung alam nila rin as well kung ano yung winning condition nila. The mere fact na minention natin kanina na hindi nababasag yung tore nila sa gitna, that only signals work dito na hindi pa sila kaya ng Archangel regardless of the goal deficit.
Totoo yan. Kasi talagang ang laking bagay, guys. Kung napapansin nyo, yung side lanes laging na-open up pero yung middle lane hindi na-open. Kasi yun ang highly contested. Yun yung laging ginaguard ng mga teams. Kasi mas madali mag-take ng team fight sa middle lane kasi mas maluwag yung area. At kapag nandun ka sa may malapit sa turret ninyo at standing point turret ninyo, magkakaroon kayo ng additional defense or ng armor at lamang kaagad kayo sa team fight. So again, after that, teamwork, napakagandang laban, comeback from that game 1. Pero ang tanong, kung makakabawi ba dito ang AA o isasarado na ba ng work itong match with a 2-0. Let's go ahead and jump into the draft. Rob, nakita si Selena, hindi na agad talaga hindi na agad talaga binibigay at contested pa rin talaga, hindi pa nabibigyan ng kahit isang laro sa buong MPL main qualifiers, dude.
Ayaw talaga nila ng Selena dito, Kuya TDZ. Pero one question, aside doon sa tanong mo kanina is, will the AA respect the Claude of Chu dito, or since sila ang first pick dito sa ating drafting phase, might as well baka sila naman ang kumuha rito ng Claude.
Totoo. Pero kung ako, Rob, to answer your question, kung hindi sila magkuklod, tanggalin na nila yung Claude dito.
Parang muscle memory kasi yun, guys eh. Alam mo yung pagka nilaro mo yung isang hero all throughout the day, alam mo yung kahit nakapikit ka, alam mo yung mga cooldowns mo, alam mo siyang gamitin. And ayun na ngayon, kumbaga in the zone ngayon si Chu sa Claude. So might as well, kahit doon sa part na yon, tanggalin mo muna yung momentum if you would really like. Pero alam naman kasi natin na kayang gumamit pa rin ng ibang mga jungle hero dito si Chu. Pero yeah, yung Claude niya, gaya ng sabi ni Midnight, 100% win rate here on the main qualifiers.
Tol, yung mata ni Chu, tol, may gumaganon sa may gumaganon na pula. Oo, may gumaganon na pula. Pag in the zone, di ba? Pag in the zone, may gumaganon na bawat galaw. Kumbaga, kailangan nyo talagang pahintuin. Kailangan yung i-end ang flow dito ni Chu. At looking at that, talagang hindi nila binigay. Confident pa rin ang AA na kaya nilang i-defend or at least protect or win the game against Chu's Claude.
Well, sabihin na natin na ang lakas ng Chu, lakas ng Claude ni Chu. Pero kasi, paano nga ba naging possible yon? It's all because the Alice din, di ba? Siya yung nag-prolong nung game na yon, na shutdown. Nakita natin na shutdown si Chu, yes. Pero kasi napatagal yung laro, nakahabol ng farm doon yung Chu, and that's all because doon sa Alice dito ni QC.
Kaya pala binan ng AA yung Alice, no? So, tingin ko ramdam nila, totoo, Rob, yun talaga ang naging problema nila, na-sustain kaagad. And it's also yung unang bait ng ng Winter Truncheon.
Yes.
Then into, ang dami niyang heroes na napakumpol sa loob. Ayun yung opening na pwedeng natin masabi na nag-comeback ang work. Pero ang work dito, nako, mukhang makakita naman yata tayo ng second time around.
Pero I think this gonna be a good pick din for them. I'm getting this Jawhead kasi alam nila na pag hindi nila pinit dito yung Jawhead, that's an auto pick kaagad dito sa side ng Archangel, as they ito isa to sa mga key favorite type of tank nito ni Joyboy, or rather also known as si Yummy.
Si Yummy. At kapag yun pa nga na-secure niya, mas magandang kontrolin mo na lahat ng kaya mong kontrolin mo yun comes to hero picking. Kasi kapag nakuha nila yung mga comfort heroes, sabi mo nga kanina, Rob, no? Kahit nakapikit ang mata mo, makokontrol mo yung hero. So ganong kabilis. Pero syempre, of course, the signature, the flavor of work here, securing the Claude plus the Jawhead combo. Ano ba ang magiging sagot dito ng AA? Tingin ko yung Lancelot na naman yata, posible.
Yes, well, in terms of performance, to be fair, maganda naman yung naging performance doon ni Saxa. It's just that na umabot sila doon sa point kasi na nag-plateau na yung mga heroes nila. Masasabi mo magpa-plateau ang isang hero mo. Number 1 is that pagka kailangan mo na ibenta yung immortality mo. Number 2 is kailangan mo nang tanggalin din yung boots mo. Meaning to say, luck item ka na and you're just waiting for your gold na mag-pile up para bumili ng potion. So umabot na tayo doon sa point na yun kasi nga na-prolong dito ng teamwork yung game we're in. Sa kanila, parang endless Most specifically sa Alice. Kasi ang Alice, habang tumatagal, dumadami yung orbs mo, mas lalong dumadami yung mana mo, and mas nagiging sustainable ka, at yung damage mo, syempre, ramdam dito. Kung isipin mo, no, yung lineup kanina ng work was technically super AOE, Imperial Justice, Breath of the Ocean, and as well Rough Waves manggagaling dun sa Kadita. Tapos on top of that, merong umiikot sa inyo na Blazing Duet.
Nako. Kaya tingin ko talaga more on team fight. Naghihintay lang ng mga core items doon yung work.
So kahit si Jobert
kahit
diba?
si Jobert.
Time and time na nakita natin kung paano niya pinapasok yung Farsa na Escalera.
Talagang hindi niya binibigyan ng posisyon. Tingin ko, again with the sustainability, ang ganda ng pagkakaroll dito Kumbaga, you're just doing your own role na binigay sa'yo ni Coach.
Hindi talaga binibigyan ng... Kumbaga, ang binibigay niya kay Escalera, konsumisyon.
Konsumisyon. Talagang hindi ka sige, mag-wings by wings ka na. Pag nakita niya na merong lumabas na marka yung malaki, eto na ako. Flicker in, tapos biglang ultimate ka agad. Wings by wings ka agad yung Escalera.
Pwede mo din kasi ma-anticipate kung nasan talaga yung Farsa, regardless kahit nasa damo siya. Kasi may may certain radius yung bilog ng Feather Airstrike. And if you've been playing enough Mobile Legends, alam mo kung saan na nakapwesto agad yung Farsa just by seeing that circle or rather the radius dito ng isang Feather Airstrike. But meanwhile, for the picking here of Archangel, ito pa rin yung Archangel flavor yung early game momentum nandito pa rin sa kanila, let alone meron sila ngayon dito na Matilda, which is gonna provide Archangel here not only the shield from the guiding wind, even mobility
agad. At tingin ko yun yung pwede maging fix para sa or at least chase potential para dun sa Claude, since meron siyang BMI, isang Circling Eagle, at kapag nagsabay yung Circling Eagle plus yung Guiding Wind, pwede siyang magdala ng isa pa papunta dun sa mismong target.
Tingin mo ba, TDC, sorry to cut you off,
sure.
Was really looking towards the Gusion pero pinik nila ngayon dito yung Lunox. Well, still gonna be a good pick here for the side of work. But Kagura ang naging sagot ngayon dito ng Archangel. That's gonna be tricky, but the Benedetta is still available. So, ngayon, kung titignan mo rito, TDC, the way Archangel drafted, this is a mid-game heavy lineup. Alam mo, sa mid-game, bakbakan ang gusto nito. Meanwhile, for work, nandito pa rin naman yung Claude na yon. As long as it gets prolonged, the game, nandito naman yung Lunox to be able to hold the early game. Ano sa tingin mo ang kulang pang hero nila dito as they don't have one more side lane? Tingin mo ba posible na kumuha pa sila rito ng isa pang damage dealer in form like a Hellcourt? At yung Hellcourt na yan, kung ang gagamit niyan ay si Chu, dati niya kasing nagiging hero yan. Pero ang pinilit na lang nila dito, it's gonna be the Ruby. And still, gonna be a good pick-off.
Totoo yan. Ang gandang Ruby pick para sa work. Tingin ko yung B-good niya, pwede rin siya maging tank kung tutusin.
Yes.
Again, yung passive niya, sobrang bilis, yung Let's Dance, ang dami niyang 3 stacks na magic defense and also physical defense. Pwede niyang i-tank yung damage mismo ng Kagura and also yung burst potential ng Matilda. And also yung I'm offended, nakita natin kanina, kaso hindi nga lang nanalo, hindi nga lang na-pull off. Yung isang offended lang, ang ganda agad na pwedeng, ang daming possibilities na combo na pwedeng ilagay doon ng para sa teamwork. At isa rin magandang pang-clear ng waves. Going for a tank or rather a fighter role para dito sa Ruby.
So ngayon, TDC, kung titignan natin, medyo mas magiging madali para sa side ng work ngayon, most specifically for the Claude. This is, wala ngayong Jawhead dito, ang side ng Archangel. That only means, yung purple buff na negate kanina, and even the time in terms of farming dito ni Chu, hindi mangyayari yun ngayon kasi makakasabay sila doon. And now, this is gonna be a slow pace para sa side ng Archangel. Pero what do you think about the draft dito, TDC, as we are having a technical force as of the moment? Para sa iyo ba? Sinong tingin mong mas convincing sa'yo ang draft?
Ako, para sa akin, mas convincing sa akin ang draft ng AA. The reason why is, again, this is a double assassin. Nag-work yung double assassin kanina ng early game against work. At yung naging problema ng taga nila is yung Alice which they have removed. Tingin ko, merong pang-delay dito ang work with the Ruby. Bago sa akin doon yung Kagura. Kagura, pwede agad siyang, kaya niyang kontrolin yung backlines easily using the same umbrella. At kapag nagkaroon siya ng isang necklace of Durance, mawawala agad yung sustainability na kayang ibigay ng Ruby. And also the rest of the crew, since meron pang Jawhead, lahat ng shield kaya niyang itanggalin. So, for this game, I will go with AA for this one.
Alright.
Mas gusto ko yung draft nila.
Definitely. What's gonna be that? Ano nga palang tank ng Archangel that time? Kung hindi Joyda, let's go ahead and check here. It's gonna be hindi siya so wala tayong technical inta kasi kanina inisip ko yung Cho nga ba yung tank doon? That's the reason why I asked. At hindi ganoon ang mangyayari. It's all about damage para dito sa side ng Archangel.
Nako, tingnan natin. Ikaw, Rob, nasa tingin mo, 2-0 ba o game 3?
As much as I actually in terms of my prediction, I go for Archangel, pero I might say dito TDZ work as para sa akin ang mas maganda ang draft dito sa game number 2.
Yep. At saktong-sakto na rin yan. Even Steven, tingnan natin mga kaibigan, at lumalamang na kaagad dito when it comes, napakaunti lang naman ang AA when it comes to farm, pero ang aggression ng AA, control the purple, still the same plan, game plan dito para sa side ng AA at force na agad si Chun na mag-recall papunta dun sa well.
This is a very interesting type of draft na nanggaling dito from Archangel as they only have like a support here coming from Joy Boy, itong Matilda na to, and it's all about damage. Escalera here on the top. So parang yung pinaka-tank nila rito no? Itong Matilda na to, magta-tank item to. So most likely makakita tayo dito possibly like a Thunderbelt, yung even Necklace of Durance or rather Oracle. So ang pinaka-main purpose niya dito is just provide the guiding wind wherein yung shield and mobility.
Talagang mahuli nila dito. It's either si Michael Jordan, do meron siyang Order of Brilliance, kaya naman niya mag-invisible or rather mag-invulnerable inside the Brilliance. Kaso ang tingin ko, the main pinaka-worth na gamit ng Circling Eagle din plus the Guiding Wind is yung BMI ni Chu.
Perfect talaga ng ng Archangel TDZ yung ikot nila during the early game. Kung papansin mo, they have a perfect minion wave clear, then they had the invade on the purple buff doon ni Chu. Pero na-realize agad ng teamwork yun na hindi nila kayang sabayan on the early game ngayon dito ang Archangel, and they chose to get the energy shield here on the top lane since Cho lang naman ang nasa taas.
Yep. At almost half kaagad ng energy shield na nabasag dito mga kaibigan ng work sa top lane, so ang dami kaagad gold ng ating Jawhead and also the Ruby. Pero mukhang AA, pumapasok naman, sinusubukan na naman i-take down dito si Jobert Sakalam. Pero yung pag-hold na dito, yung pag-clear niya ng wave using the Justice Blades, making it easier for him to sustain this lane.
Mas magandang desisyon yung ginawa nun ng teamwork. Why? Sinabi natin kanina yung energy shield na almost na-deplete nila doon sa may top lane. Kasi ang trade nun is gonna be the turtle. In terms of the gold dito, nadikit lang both of the teams. But a pickup will be happening here as Joy Boy barely alive and Chu will be the one to strike the first blood.
No, Ninja Killa, humupok pa ng isa pa. Si FY magiging target to Order Brilliance, almost able to clip down Escalera, but Michael Jordan will be out of the way. Saksa Jago will be the one who's gonna cut the throat of Michael Jordan here. 8 seconds para sa sidelines, pero AA, unti-unti nilang ino-occupy na naman yung jungle area ng teamwork.
Kailangan tuloy-tuloy lang ng Archangel tong ganitong klase ng aggression. Kailangan hindi sila dito huminto. Kasi the moment na maprolong na naman dito yung game for teamwork, they could potentially do what they actually did early on the first game. Kaso nga lang, ang difference nito ngayon, dito, Kuya TDZ, wala silang alis ngayon.
Oo, walang magpo-prolong ng game. So tingin ko, there's a big chance kung sakaling ma-pull off ulit ng Archangel yung ginawa nila kanina ng game 1. At since nagkaroon na rin ng pick-off or wala pa rather pick-off dito si Chu, as long as he can sustain that zero death at dire-diretso pa lang din yung kanyang pag-farm, there's also a big possibility for Work to make a comeback from this one. Pero AA, unti-unti, isang lane or isang turret kaagad ang nabasag dito ng AA. at mas madali nila matitake o masisecure yung turtle since nagpunta rin sa top lane yung respawn.
Wow, objective after objective dito ang name of the game for Archangel as they secured once again the second turtle of the game. And now, slowly, yung pace ng laro, it's all about Archangel doing all the plays dito, Kuya TDZ. Pero kasi, ito ngayon ang difference from the lineup that they had. They had these two heroes na alam natin na in nature, split pusher din eh. Nandito yung Cho, nandito rin yung Benedetta, and all we know, nagka-cut yan ng lanes katulad ng ginagawa ngayon doon sa ibaba ni Fall.
Nako, at tatlong miyembro dito kasama si Fall at si Saxo Jago ang sinusubukang i-control yung bottom lane. At sabi natin kanina, kahit si Saxo Jago, tol, yung normal attack niya, masakit pa rin yan eh. Kumbaga, mas madali siya makakakuha ng turret kill. And with that, hayaan na nila na ang Cannon Wave ang mag-take down doon sa bottom lane with the rotation from AA. 4 na miyembro ang sumusubok na i-take down ang teamwork.
Kailangan i-hold ng work itong mid lane na to, pero I doubt dahil mukhang mahirap dahil yung 4 na miyembro dito. Look at the circling eagle going onto the jawhead.
Ut mo, ang ginamit niya ng flicker dito ni FY and also with the Be Nice. Ginamit niya kaagad, ni Ruby ang kanyang Be Nice and able to get out of the way with his passive last dance. At AA, mukhang medyo bumabagal yung aggression na pinapakita nila compared sa kanina for the first few minutes of the game. Pero dito si Ninja Killa, mukhang masusurvive pa rin nila since parating na ang AA. At mukhang pwede lang ipitin dito ang work pero mukhang nag-hesitate ang AA. At hindi nila sigurado kung ilang tao yun nandun sa loob.
Nako, magiging reactive na yata na naman dito ang Archangel as work did actually hold on here on the mid game. Pinapabagal nila ngayon dito ang pace ng laro. But Joy Boy will get a pick up dito. But Jobert Sakalam with the flicker ulti doon. Pero hindi niya pa naman nakuha doon si Escalera. So far, TDZ work doing all the work para lang maprolong itong laro na to. At ngayon, Chu will be trying to take the third turtle of the game.
Ito na nga at pinupul nila sa left side or rather sa right side ng kanilang base. Fall forced to use the BMI out. Pero kung si Saxo Jago mahuhuli dito, hindi siya makapag-dash in, dash out mga kaibigan. Down kaagad si Saxo Jago. That's 23 seconds na walang farm at XP ang Lancelot nila. Pero si Paul, mukhang delikado pa yata. FY with the smart missile and also with the boost from the ejector. Hindi nila mahuhuli at sobrang gilas nga naman talaga. Mapulas agad dito si Paul.
That's not a good trade, TDC, kasi you always want to have Saxa, you always want to have the Lancelot to be alive. Yes, nakuha nila doon yung turtle, pero ito kasi ang kicker dito, TDZ, hindi pa rin namamatay dito si Chu. Hindi pa rin namamatay dito yung mga damage nila. Even Jobert and being too confident going into the mid lanes kanina dito ng Archangel. So nandito na naman tayo sa point na hindi na naman makakuha ng objective ang Archangel on mid game. Napapatagal na naman ang laro and this might be the same on what happened on game number 1 and nag-aabang dito as FY might actually get a pick off dito mga kaibigan.
Saktong-sakto, 4 laban sa 1 pero hindi nila mahabol si FY with the movement speed or the brilliance para kay Michael Jordan. Yin yang overturn, ginamit na rin pero Jobert Sakalam with the nice flicker and also with the ultimate. Pero nakita natin yung bilis ng respond din ng work, no? Parang ang bilis ka agad.
Fortunately, cool down doon yung flicker ni Jobert kasi kung cool down yon, he could be able to stun 3 members doon ng Archangel at mukhang magdelikado pa talaga sila doon sa engagement na yun. So far dito mga kaibigan, Archangel are still on the lead in terms of gold pero ito na naman tayo, itong scenario na to na yun may ikot-ikot na naman throughout the map dito ang teamwork as look at you trying to deal so much damage against Escalera pero si Paul nakaabang sa likod.
Electo final blow para maka-disengage. Pero nakita na dito si ejector at mukhang mahuhuli. Enough na yung disable na yun para ma-take down naman si Saxo Jago. Saxo Jago out of the position but Paul ulit with the I'm offended. Hindi ka makakatakas. Chu will take down Paul. That's a 3-4-0 exchange. At ang teamwork naman, ang una makakuha ng third dito sa may middle lane ng AA. At lumalamang at lalo pa din ang isa-semento ang kanilang pagkalamang after nila makuha itong turtle buff away from AA.
Oh no, the punish na ginawa dito ng teamwork against Archangel and even baliktad na ngayon dito ang lead ng gold. Nasa teamwork na to. And sila na din ang nagdidikta ng laro na to, TDZ, as they're going into Ninja Killa onto the top lane. Hindi pa tayo nakakakita rito ng mga magagandang sipa coming from the show. Hindi pa tayo nakakakita dito ng mga gagandang engagement. Baka ito na yon.
Nako, ito na nga. Yun yung overturn, huling-huli. Napagandang assist para kay Escalera. After ng sipa at enough na rin yun para makuha nila ang unang death dito ni Ruby. Pero tol, tingin ko dito ang
ano
AA kapag nagkaroon dito ng item si Escalera, isang COD, Lightning Truncheon plus maybe a Holy Crystal or maybe a Necklace of the Runs, yun yung magiging key factor nila para ma-turn around tong laro eh. Ang ginagawa kasi ng work dito, tol, sa nakikita ko parang tinitake advantage nila yung innate strength ni Jobert Sakalam with this HP and also the burst damage ng Lunox, kaya naging effective yung rotation nila.
Hopefully you're right dito, TDC. According to Archangel, sila ang Archangel, pero hopefully tama yung sinabi mo, magdilang anghel ka dito, TDC, as Joy Boy is looking on to the lapu-lapu dito with a circling eagle na magagana, pero Electro final blow. Ang tanong, enough ba yung damage nila para mapatay itong lapu-lapu?
At buong buhay peta with the lifesteal, Jobert Sakalam na sustain, 4 yun na miyembro ng AA. And with the emotes, talagang tinutont at ginigigil dito ni Work, rather ni Jobert Sakalam, ang miyembro ng AA. At habang nangyari yun, Rob, nagkaroon ng space dito na ang Work na kunin yung tier 2 turret sa top, at ngayon nasa middle lane na sila.
At hindi lang yon, na pick off din nila doon yung Cho doon sa may top lane. Still capable pa rin naman dito ang Archangel to be able to turn things around, pero so far dito mga kaibigan, for the last 3 minutes, it's all about teamwork. It's all about teamwork, doing all the work dito to zone out, to get all the resources dito against Archangel. And now, once again, Chu going for the Lord. Pinag-iisipan na ngayon dito ng Archangel. Contest ba tayo dito? Look at the positioning dito. Awkward, medyo nasa eskinita sila.
Eskinita nga sila, mukhang nahulpa ni Jobert Sakalam. Yun yung overturn, kaya yung i-pullback nga ba? Hindi enough. Natumba agad si Escalera. Wala sila magic damage except for Joyboy. Pero si Joyboy is duduguan pa rin. Pero tinan mo yung ginagawa dito ni Ninja Killa. Diretso hanggang tier 2 turret. Kailangan umuwi dito ng teamwork. Habang si Sino naman, kinukuha yung purple buff, but successful. Mission accomplished para kay Ninja Killa. Huling-huli ang tier 2 turret nila.
Kailangan nilang gawin yon. The push nila yung gitna and even yung inner turret doon. And now, Chu going back. They force a reaction, pero hindi pa rin naman safe dito ang Archangel. A reset will be done once again dito sa Lord. Ngayon, there's gonna be a 4v4 matchup dito, TDZ.
Saktong-sakto. With the blazing duet, si Paul mahuhuli. At isa pa, yung stand dito mama, but Joyboy will be clipped by Michael Jordan with the Chaos Assault. Dalawa agad ang tumba dito sa AA. At kailangan mag-respond dito ng AA kasi kung sakaling hindi sila makabawi, tol, 2-10 na yung score natin dito at 4K net worth lead ka agad. At kapag naging successful dito yung work na makakuha ng Lord, tingin ko, isa yun sa mga key factor para ma-end ka agad ng work itong match na to.
Posibleng mangyari yan, TDC, as look at you rito. Mukhang masisecure na nila, and Archangel respecting na hindi nila kayang i-contest dito ang First Lord. Mind you, TDC, this is a luminous Lord. And looking at the damage ngayon dito ng Archangel, they are struggling. They are actually way past their power spikes dito. Their winning condition, nandyan pa rin naman, pero hindi enough yung damage dito ni Saxa. Hindi enough yung damage dito ni Fall, as they might actually fall dahil itong Lord na to might actually the nail in the coffin dito ng Archangel. Their chances para mag-force ng Game 3.
Oh my, si Jobert Sakalam. Talagang hinahatak niya yung 4 habang yung side naman or top side naman ng work ay nag-aabang na rin. Split push, 3-lane push ang ginagawa dito ng work habang hinihintay nila na dumating dito yung Lord. Pero look at this, talagang hindi nila tinake down yung creep wave sa middle lane para patagalin lalo para i-delay lalo yung pag-push dito ng Lord. Napakagandang usage dito, control with the Lord as well. Pero nung saktong-sakto dito, Paul, mukhang maiiwan siya at 5 miyembro dito ng teamwork ang sumusugod sa loob. Habang yung Lord naman, tinitake down lang yung main inhibitor, Ninja Killa. Pinupursu ng rest members ng work dito at Joyboy, mukhang mahuhuli pa, no?
Mukhang
si
mahuli pa
Ruby.
nga yata. Asak sa Jago. Secure sa kill dito sa may Ruby. But the ejector will be used dito mga kaibigan. Onto the Benedetta. But the Electro final blow. Makakatakas pa sa lid dito. Will Archangel pursue dito against Teamwork? That's gonna be a good question, TDZ. But they are holding on. They are holding on their dreams here for the regular season dito ng MPL as Archangel. Pero dito, pasok na naman dito si FY with Unstoppable Force. Circling Eagle magagaling dito kay Joy Boy. Pero sino ang ngayon ang gagawing toy? Dahil dito, Escalera dito ang mawawala.
Ang ganda ng ginawa ng teamwork doon. Si Michael Jordan nagpanggap damo na talagang pinapalabas ng work na ako lang mag-isa, sige, habulin mo ako. Pero with that is enough for them to take down. Escalera mukhang saktong-sakto yung Alexa final blow. Dito, Apol trying to run away with the guiding wind. Pulling FY as well near the well. At mukhang hindi pa rin enough yun. Meron siyang immortality. Are they ready for round 2? FY mo makakatakas pa dito. Art of Thievery para kay Chu. Enables them to disengage really quickly.
Kailangang respetuhin pa rin to ng work. They already had this game. They had destroyed the base turret here on the mid, on the bottom lane. Pero hindi nila kailangang pasukin ng ganoon kalalim dito ang Archangel as they are still very capable enough to be able to turn this thing around. Kasi kung
Totoo.
iisipin mo, ang ginagawa kasi dito ni Fall is whenever the minion wave is pushing them, they're gonna use the Electro Final Blow at aalisan lang nila. That's the reason bakit napapalalim, hindi makapag-push dito ngayon ang work. But there's gonna be a good opportunity with the way of the Dragon Ball sa Johead.
Saktong-sakto enjoyed, pero buhay pa rin si FY dito. At mukhang mahuhuli si Paul. He will fall down. 47 seconds. At mukhang hindi pa tapos si Chu dito ng gigigil. Hinahabol. Art of Thievery to slow them down. But with the guiding wind, it is enough for them to disengage. Pero Tol, kitang-kita mo yun. Sobrang bilis na ng initiation ng work dito at talagang unti-unti iniisa-isa na ng work ang membro ng AA with a slow. Again, with a jump. Kaya sa Salt, Jobert Sakalam with a nice flick. Hindi yung overtime. Will it be enough though? Ang tanong, hindi pa rin. But Jobert Sakalam isolated. Saktong-sakto yung Phantom Execution pero yung HP Regeneration dito yung Lifesteal plus the Blazing Duet. Saktong-sakto dito. Escalera will go down at mukhang wipe pa yata mangyayari. Teamwork will secure and will will be the first MPL qualified team na sasama sa ating regular season.
Congratulations, Teamwork! Doing all the work in making their dream work dito against Archangel. Archangel once again na-hold na naman yung kanilang chance to be able to turn things around and join pero hindi pa naman
Hindi
sila
pa tapos.
out dito. Hindi pa tapos to para sa ating mga anghel dahil they will be fighting once more onto our final series of the day. They will be going against kung sino ang mananalo sa LPE at Aether Main.
Man, ibang klase. Kumbaga, ramdam ko yung nararamdaman ng AA dito. Kaya natin pumalag, kaso looking at the net worth at looking at the gold gain, ang hirap makabawi. Nakita natin dito, tatlong miyembro dito ng Teamwork ang 5 digits, 12,000, 11,000, 10,000. Aside naman ng AA, mukhang si Ninja Killa lang, saktong-sakto lang, sumagpas lang ng 9 pesos, ng 9 gold para maging 5 digit yung kanyang net worth gain.
Nahirapan sila dito in terms of going into mid-game. Even Escalera o the Kagura, hindi rin masyadong nagkaroon ng impact during team fights. And yes, work. Yes, definitely doing all the work. Look at the score. This is 17-3. The Ruby pick actually work wonders para dito sa side ng Teamwork. And let alone ang ganda rin ng decision making nila during doon sa pagsubok na pagbasag doon ni Ninja Killa on the mid lane. Binigay nila doon yung Ruby pero tingin ko mas marami pang sasabihin sa atin ang ating resident analyst na si Midnight.
Actually, Rob, speechless ako eh. Oh my goodness. Welcome to MPL Teamwork. Once again, my name is Midnight, your analyst for today. And gusto ko lang sabihin, stats don't lie. Chu, for the entirety of MPL qualifiers, never died on Claude. Literal, 0 deaths. Actually, meron lang siyang 1 death, no, on the 2 deaths on the Hayabusa and the Lancelot. Each, 1 each, respectively. Pero yung Claude niya, guys, 100% win rate and never namatay. And ngayon, ipapasok niya yung Teamwork with on the back of his Claude, no? 100% win rate. My goodness. Kailangan natin i-review at i-breakdown yung game na yon. Now, let's look at the items here for this game. Importante, yung last item actually na binuo ni Claude. That might have made or break the game. Pero honestly, at that point, medyo ano na sila, medyo confident na sila. Gusto ko lang point out, yung item ni Claude dito, no, breastplate armor, last item, hindi immortality. Why? He just needs movement speed against these heroes, Kagura, Cho, Matilda, Benedetta, and Lancelot. Dito mo makikita na alam ni Chu kung ano yung mga kailangan niyang gawin, ano yung mga kailangan niyang bilhin, paano niya lalaroin yung game. And again, guys, the mechanical prowess of this player, hindi siya namamatay. Napaka-perfect lagi ng usage ng kanyang BMI. Now, looking at the other players on the side of Teamwork, their items, look at the Lapu-Lapu. Bloodless Axe, Blade of Despair, Queen's Wings, and Rose Gold Meteor. Bakit ito yung binili niya? The damage output from Archangel comes in bursts, no? Yung nukes ng Archangels. There's no damage to sustain. Either they hit or they don't. So, si Lapu-Lapu dito, if they get the catch on the Jawhead or on the Ruby, ang kailangan nila na mangyari dito is maubos yung Archangel. That's the ideology behind Work's itemization. And yun yung nangyari. Archangel, they only got 3 kills. That's the result of the itemization of Teamwork. Dagdag nyo pa dyan. Look at the items of the Lunox and the Ruby. Puro damage output. Even though yung Winter Transition kay Clock of Destiny, medyo sustain yan. Pero in theory, these are damage items. Dagdag mo na yung Holy Crystal. Si Ruby dito after Hasklo, Endless Battle, Queen Swings. Meron siyang Oracle dito. Never did go for another tanky item aside from the Queen Swings. Now, let's look at the highlights here on the side of Teamwork. Archangel, meron lang silang 3 kills. So majority of these highlights will come from Teamwork. First Blood was drawn by the Claude, but honestly, Archangel was still on a good footing. They were able to control the early game so much to the point na level 7 si Saksa, level 5 pa lang si Chu. Now, we're already proceeding towards the last few kills na makukuha ng Archangel. But look at the playstyle. Look at the playstyle of Teamwork, guys. They're always grouped up. This is really important. Again, if you try to analyze how the lineup of Archangel works, they specialize on picking off heroes. The Cho, Benedetta, Matilda. There's no huge team fight here aside from the Kagura. And the Kagura comes towards the late game pa. Hindi ganun kalakas yung damage output ni Kagura sa early game. Although meron silang control, you are against a Ruby, a Johen, and a Lapu-Lapu. So hindi talaga enough yung team fight presence pa ng Archangel. They need more on these heroes, especially the Lancelot and the Cho. Nung dumating na yung point na nakuha na nila yung mga items, there's already an 8-kill lead on the side of Teamwork and a 9,000 gold lead on the side of Teamwork. And again, Chu, hindi siya mahuli pa rin talaga ng Archangel. And on the last few minutes of the game, bumili pa siya ng breastplate armor just to make sure na if ever man ma-close ng gap, ma-close ng Archangel yung gap against the Claude, no? He still has the movement speed. And that's what really made the game easier for Teamwork. And right now, I'm just really happy that this team won all their games. Actually, wala silang talo dito sa main qualifiers on the back of this guy's Claude. Chu is the MVP of that game. For sure, a lot of the fans will cheer for this guy as they proceed towards the MPL 707. Net worth 12,837, damage dealt 59,760, and with a kill participation of 82%. Actually, it's one of the highest na kill participation ni Chu kasi usually talagang lumalayo siya sa mga kampi niya. This time around, sabi niya, okay, guys, kailangan natin mag-group up. And that was the key to victory here for Teamwork. They advance towards MPL on the back of this guy's Claude. They have to watch, MPL teams should have to watch out for that hero. I'm speechless right now, Rob. So feeling ko, saluhin niyo muna.
We got your back dito, Midnight. Totoong-totoo yung sinasabi mo dito na kailangan mag-watch out talaga dito yung mga teams natin on MPL Season 7 regular season. On this show, itong team na to na never nagkaroon ng talo dito sa main qualifiers. Definitely something we have to see pagdating ng ating regular season. But once again, TDZ, ito ngayon ang nangyayari sa ating bracket as Work already qualified on the MPL Season 7 regular season. We have yet to see kung sino ang makakalaban mamaya on the final series ng Archangel in between LPE at either main. We have 3 more teams to watch, 2 more series. TDZ, anong sa tingin mo ang mga posibleng mangyari? Lalo na yung mainit na susunod na series.
Nako, total tingin ko talaga sobrang init ito eh. PvE coming a long way here. 2-0ing U-level. And also been defeated by Warcraft. Sila napunta dito sa may bottom lower bracket. Pero PvE, na-take down nila yung Panda. Now, another team na pwedeng humarang sa kanila. PvE, LPE. Tingin ko, more on of team fight oriented kasi itong mga to eh. Pati early game sa PvE, siguro sobrang intense. Almost the same ng match natin ngayon ang mangyayari dito. Especially, ako hindi ako masusurprise kung sakaling maging game 3 itong match natin sa lower bracket.
Oo, ito sinasabi mo dito TDC, magiging dikit talaga
Sobrang
itong laban na to in between LPE and Aderman. At alam ko, mga kaibigan, excited na kayo na makilala ang susunod na makakapasok sa atin sa regular season. Once again, kami nga po pala si TDZ at syempre ako si Rob Luna. Magbabalik ang MPL Season 7.
Moment na sana, pero hassle ang kate. Yung kati na yan, dahil sa dandruff yan. You need Head and Shoulders. Unlike beauty shampoos, tanggal ang dandruff that causes kate. No more hassle sa moment. Goodbye na sa kate dahil 100% dandruff-free ka.
Hey guys, I'm here with Kate and Bea.
Bad timing ang kate.
Baka dandruff yan? Use Head and Shoulders every day. Unlike beauty shampoos, tanggal ang dandruff that causes kate para di babalik.
App Store dahil ito na ang usong pangbayad ngayon.
Ang PayMaya is a mobile payment app using only your cell phone and you can pay practically anything, kahit online transactions pa yan.
With PayMaya, hindi mo na kailangan magdala ng cash for your day-to-day expenses. Pwede kang magbayad ng bills, bumili ng prepaid load, mag-online shopping, mag-send money, magbayad gamit ng QR code at marami pang iba.
Pero ang the best part dito ay may balik-bayad ka pa.
Each time you use PayMaya, may balik sa'yo na cashback at rewards. Kaya sulit ang oras mo dahil hindi mo na kailangan pumila. And you can just pay using your app anytime, anywhere.
Kaya guys, huwag kakalimutan, pag may babayaran ka,
Don't pay cash, pay Maya.
Hi everyone! Welcome to the latest episode of Road to Mythic, featuring Paquito, the Heavenly Fist. We will walk you through the gameplay and tactics so you can grind the ranks with ease. Now, without further ado, let's dive in. Paquito is a versatile fighter who has a unique mechanic, Champ Stance. Champ Stance grants Paquito a variety of combos, leaving him enough room for skillful plays. Paquito builds stacks when hitting enemy heroes with basic attacks or dealing damage with skills. Upon reaching 4 stacks, Paquito enters Champ Stance and enhances his next skill. Note that Champ Stance not only enhances the damage output of Paquito's skills, but also the shield granted by his first skill. The enhanced shield drastically boosts Paquito's survivability. The second skill serves as Paquito's damage tool, which inflicts massive damage. Moreover, in Champ Stance, casting the second skill allows Paquito to throw 2 jabs instead of 1, making the already impressive damage output even more devastating. Paquito's ultimate is a perfect skill for both teamfights and diving. The enhancement brought by Champ Stance makes it possible for Paquito to inflict control effect twice with just 1 ultimate cast. The ultimate is mighty handy, whether Paquito needs to initiate a teamfight or chase down an enemy target. Since Paquito is an agile fighter in possession of various combos, we highly recommend this set of equipment, as it ensures good survivability while boosting his damage output. Prioritize Bloodlust Axe, as it drastically increases Paquito's endurance and cooldown reduction. Next, Warrior Boots would be a perfect choice to get some extra movement speed. Blade of the Hep Disease and Endless Battle are next in line, as their passive further enhances Paquito's basic attacks. Lastly, Queen's Wings and Immortality will help Paquito exert dominance in teamfights while staying alive and well. Note that once Champ Stance is active, all Paquito skills will finish their cooldowns. Whether you're going for damage or control, it's never wrong to think twice beforehand. 2 casts of Jab are perfect for following up the damage, while 2 casts of Knockout Strike allow Paquito to inflict great control effect. In the laning phase, Paquito first casts Jab to quickly approach the target and inflict damage. Next, a basic attack helps him stack up for Champ Stance. He then quickly follows up with Heavy Left Punch and basic attacks to complement the damage. When Paquito enters Champ Stance, he casts the Enhanced Jab to deal explosive damage. When the teamfight breaks out, Paquito cuts into the enemy formation with the Enhanced Jab. Next, he casts Knockout Strike to control the enemy crowd and follows up with a jab cast right away to stick to the enemies. After a cast of Knockout Strike, enemies are once again controlled. Paquito grabs this chance to inflict damage with Heavy Left Punch and gains a shield for the later pursuit. Paquito owns the spotlight through the early to mid game. Once he reaches level 4 and acquires the ultimate, his mobility will be taken to another level. It is recommended to roam and help teammates out to extend the lead. And when Paquito is equipped with good items and has a relatively high level, he will become an agile harasser who is capable of initiating teamfights and posing a kill threat to the enemy backline. Well, that wraps up this episode. Stay tuned for more insightful guides from Road to Mythic as you climb the ranks. Until next time, we'll be seeing you in the Land of Dawn.
Now Dragonborn is here.
Fight! Fight for the ultimate anthem! A warrior's strength. You have slain an enemy! Monster kill! The past on the path! You have slain an enemy! Stop killing spree! The legendary! The path is the path! You have slain an enemy! A true warrior would give life to the things she wants to protect. The path double kill!
Now Dragonborn is here.
This land is our homeland, and it will soon be a burial ground.
Moment na sana, pero hassle ang kate. Yung kati na yan, dahil sa dandruff yan. You need Head and Shoulders, unlike beauty.
Baka dandruff yan? Use Head and Shoulders every day. Unlike beauty shampoos, tanggal ang dandruff that causes kate. Para di pa balik-balik, kati gone for good na. Dahil 100% dandruff-free ka.
Hi guys, I'm here with Kay.
Para araw-araw, close na close. Max pinabango pa.
Hi everyone, this is Catherine Bernardo.
At ako naman po si Daniel Padilla. Guys, may PayMaya na ba kayo?
Kung wala pa, dapat mag-download na kayo sa Google Play or App Store dahil ito na ang kusong pangbayad ngayon.
Ang PayMaya is isang mobile payment app using only your cell phone and you can pay practically anything, kahit online transactions pa yan.
With PayMaya, hindi mo na kailangan magdala ng cash for your day-to-day expenses. Pwede kang magbayad ng bills, bumili ng prepaid load, mag-online shopping, mag-send money, magbayad gamit ng QR code at marami pang iba.
Pero ang the best part dito ay may balik-bayad ka pa.
Each time you use PayMaya, may balik sa'yo na cashback at rewards, kaya sulit ang oras mo dahil hindi mo na kailangan pumila and you can just pay using your app anytime, anywhere.
Kaya guys, huwag kakalimutan, pag may babayaran ka, don't pay cash, pay Maya.
Hi everyone! Welcome to the latest episode of Road to Mythic, featuring Paquito, the Heavenly Fist. We will walk you through the gameplay and tactics so you can grind the ranks with ease. Now, without further ado, let's dive in. Paquito is a versatile fighter who has a unique mechanic, Champ Stance. Champ Stance grants Paquito a variety of combos, leaving him enough room for skillful plays. Paquito builds stacks when hitting enemy heroes with basic attacks or dealing damage with skills. Upon reaching 4 stacks, Paquito enters Champ Stance and enhances his next skill. Note that Champ Stance not only enhances the damage output of Paquito's skills, but also the shield granted by his first skill. The enhanced shield drastically boosts Paquito's survivability. The second skill serves as Paquito's damage tool, which inflicts massive damage.
Congratulations of course sa Team Work dahil sila na ang isa sa mga teams na nakapasok sa MPL Season 7 or should I say Work Oster Force. And once again, nagbabalik na naman kami para ma-determine kung sino pa ang kukuha ng isang posisyon para sa ating top 10 MPL teams. Manjin Paldas, kasama si TDZ, napakaganda ng laban na yon, Tads.
Tol, wipe na wipe, sweep na sweep. Talaga ang takbo dito ng wipe ng Work. Kasi wala silang talo ni isa.
Ni isa.
At talagang dire-diretso sa upper bracket.
Yeah.
At tingin ko talagang sobrang worth it. Worth na worth sila
Worth
ng
na worth.
papasok.
Worth na worth.
Worth na worth.
Biruin mo,
worth
no,
na worth.
yung team nyo, naisipan nyo, anong team natin? Teamwork. At tapos, pasok na sila sa MPL. At saka kung iisipin mo dito, napakagandang redemption story para kay Chu on coming in once again sa MPL na hindi nga naging ganon ka maganda yung kanyang naging run nung Season 6. Even I think in Season 5 na last din yung kanyang team. So with this redemption na arc para kay Chu, and welcome of course to the new teams, to the new players. Ito pa yun, kaibigan TDC, it reminds me of Season 4 ng MPL nung biglang pumasok yung Dream High Gaming, yung biglang pumasok ang Team Onyx na parang ganito din. Swinip din nila yung buong qualifiers.
At saka sila na-absorb ng Onyx at talagang ang ganda ng run dito. So there's still a big possibility, pero tingin ko talaga Work possible na talagang maraming nagmamata na dito sa team na ito after that a very good run. At syempre naman sa AA, hindi pa rin tapos ang kanilang run.
It ain't
Meron pa
over.
rin silang malalaro after nitong match na to, which is LPE against AE main.
Aether May, napakainit ng laban na to, no? Who would have thought na itong dalawang big names ang magtatanggalan sa mundo, of course, ng MLBB, ang magtatanggalan dito sa MPL. And it's quite sad if you are Archangel kasi yun na eh.
Oo eh.
Kukunin mo na eh.
Unting-unti na naman
Pangatlong beses na eh. So baka pwedeng masilat pa kung
Nako.
iisipin mo, di ba?
Ang sabi nga nila, Jean, na third time is the charm or third time's the charm.
Oo.
Pero mukhang meron pa silang isang pagkakataon, kumbaga, pero napakalapit na naman.
Napakalapit pa.
Napakalapit na
At saka,
naman.
kung iisipin mo, Kuya TDC,
Oh.
itong dalawa ngayon na nakikita natin,
Mm.
ang Aether Main at ang LPE, hindi rin basta-bastang teams to.
Ah,
For
oo.
sure, gusto rin nilang kunin dito yung slot sa MPL. And syempre, nangangarap din sila makapasok at makabalik muli. So, Archangel, ang kailangan nila ngayon, kailangan nila magpahinga, kailangan muna nila mag-freshen up, kailangan nila aralin itong laban na to. TDC, here we go. Game number 1. Natalia ban agad para sa Aether Main. Meanwhile, Farsa, respect para dito sa LPE.
Nakita natin dito talaga ang Farsa. Napakagandang crowd control pero nakaka-counter din yan kaagad. Nakita natin yung kanina, example is yung kakatapos ng laban natin kanina, AA versus Work. Yung si Lapu-Lapu talagang
Lapu-Lapu, oo.
nakukuha niya kaagad kung nasan si Farsa at yun din ang possible. So ayaw nang gawin or ayaw nang papiliin dito ng LP ang PvE with that Farsa. And also, Benedetta will be removed from the hero pool as well sa side naman ng PvE.
Gusto ko yung nabanggit mo about the Benedetta and the Farsa, na para bang nagkakatanggalan dito ng mga heroes na kayang lumaban sa jungle. Nakita natin ngayon yung powers yung kapangyarihan ng LPE kanina with the Digi. Nakita naman natin na for the side of Aether Main yung capability nila mag-pick off lalo na dito sa Jawhead pick na to.
Totoo.
So, sa tingin mo ba TDC magkakaunahan tayo sa Jawhead? Kasi parang pares priority pick to ng dalawang teams.
Totoo yan. Magkakaunahan tayo sa Jawhead at since yun yung prime nila eh. Kung tingin ko, yun yung mga win condition nila sa early game. Control the jungle, leash ka agad. And also, isa pa na hero na nakikita ko na highly contested para sa dalawang team na to is yung Cho.
Yung Cho.
Oo. Diba, yung kay
Yeah.
Bimo, yung kanina. Talagang
Yeah.
ang ganda ng pagkaagalaw niya. And also, give an opening for LPE to go into this round.
Kay Bimo at pwede rin kay Van,
Kay
tama
Van.
ba?
Mhm.
Oo, para dito sa side ng team ng Aether Main. So yeah, with that being said, kaibigan TDZ, actually walang Cho at walang Jawhead sa Van. Ang
Oo.
mga binan dito is of course the Baksha and yung etong Esmeralda. So ngayon, ang sabi ng Aether Main, baguhin natin, hindi muna kami magjo-join first pick. Unahin na natin ang Brody, na actually pinipick din ng LPE kanina.
At saktong-sakto, they have the possibility to get that physical burst.
Oo.
At nakikita natin na when it comes to team fight. And also, early game, since yun ang tingin kong gustong-gusto ng Aether Main, yung mga early game skirmishes at yun yung snowball factor na makukuha nila.
Oo,
Sakali.
talagang snowball up until the end. At saka ang hirap
Oo.
counterin ng Brody dito. Kailangan mo dito ng mga heroes na gustong pumasok.
Mhm.
'Di ba? Tama ba, Kuya TDC?
Totoo yan, which is the very reason why kung bakit nag-pick ka agad dito yung LPE ng Jawhead. Isang unstoppable force, can easily close the gap. At syempre yung Harit na nakikita natin na pwedeng maganda rin pang-counter sa early game ng PvE.
Yeah, it's all about entering the team fight. Yun ang gusto ngayon ng side ng LPE. Speaking of entering the team fight, isa sa mga heroes na gustong umentra ng umentrada. That is of course the Paquito para dito sa side ng Aether Main, man. Aether Main lang ang naging successful dito sa Paquito. Nagamit mo na to, pare?
Tol, hindi ko pa nagagamit yan si Paquito eh. Pero nakikita ko yung yung gameplay niya all throughout. Nanonood ako sa mga live at talagang yung burst capability nitong Paquito is especially with the champion stance, mag-reset lahat. So, sobrang dami niyang skills na kayang iba to para sa hero.
Tsaka ito yung mga type ng hero na kailangan marami kang pinipindot. And kapag kalaban mo, dapat fully aware ka kung full na ba yung kanyang champ stance. Diba? So yeah, I think since given ang Aether Main, magaling kapag mga mechanical prowess, kapag one-on-one mechanics, kung iisipin mo, perfect itong pick ng Paquito. Samahan mo pa na merong added mobility ng Matilda. Naku po, napapanako ka dito, Kuya Tadza.
Kasi nakikita ko dito yung pwedeng yung possibility na pwedeng mangyari dito when it comes to the mid game.
To the mid game.
Paquito, plus meron pang Matilda, guiding wind, plus the circling eagle. Mas madali nila mako-close yung gap at pwede nila agad mahuli dito si Harith with the burst capability. Kung sakaling hindi papalitan dito ni Paquito yung kanyang spell, which is the execute.
Oo nga,
Yun yung tingin
no?
kong pwedeng
So,
gawin nilang pang-control eh.
So,
Pang-stop
talagang-
ng snowball
Oo,
ng LPE.
ng LPE. So talagang susuntok ng susuntok. Dito ang side ng Aether Main. Mukhang sila ang nagdidikta ngayon ng gera as LPE now, TDZ. Banning out the Sylvana and probably will ban another mid lane, tank hero right now kasi wala pang main tank ang team ng Aether Main. Meanwhile, Lesion Chi naman para sa Aether Main ang kanilang ibaban dito. Anong kulang ngayon, TDZ, sa tingin mo para sa dalawang teams natin? Sa first phase, mukhang kita na natin kung paano sila maglalaro. Pero ano ba ang kulang sa formula?
Tingin ko kailangan nila dito ng ng isa pang marksman eh. Since nag-pick agad dito ng Brody, yung Aether Main, kailangan nila ng isa pang hero na pwedeng mag-reach or at least mag-transition into late game. Ang timpla ko dito, Jin, 1-1 posible. Napakagandang 1-1 ang pwedeng gawing marksman dito ng LP if they have decided to go for a marksman role.
Oh, parang nagugustuhan ko nga dito yung 1-1 na pick-up, kaibigan TDZ. Kasi kung iisip, kaso, ang dilemma ko lang dito, if ever sila ang magmamarksman, hindi kaya't medyo malambot o kaya hindi kaya't medyo matagal pa mag-online. Pero kasi kung iisipin mo, yung mobility, all goods eh.
All good yung mobility.
Kung may creep walk yung 1-1, tapos may Matilda pa, tapos may may Pakito ka pa. No? So kailangan, anong sasagot ng LPE? Sasagot sila, burst damage.
Oo, talagang tatanggalin muna nila lahat ng mga shields at pwede rin kasi na yun eh. Since there's a big possibility na pumasok agad dito yung Matilda. Kapag nahuli dito ni Eudora si Matilda, that's already -1 na pwede nilang, which is a really good pickup kung sakali, since na-enable agad na Matilda dito yung teamfight capabilities ng PvE, giving movement speed plus the shield. Pati yung stun na knockback. So, ang laki. Tingin ko this is a very good pick for LPE.
Yeah, actually gusto ko rin yung Eudora dito. Bakit ba, TDZ? Kasi nga, kapag meron kayong Matilda sa lineup nyo, tendency is kailangan nyo magtabi-tabi. So with that, gusto ng Eudora yun eh. Kasi kapag tumama yung superconductor na passive ni Eudora, kapag nag-electric arrow siya, pwedeng mag-split up yung kanyang electric arrow. Pwedeng tamaan pwedeng maraming tamaan. So automatic, since tabi-tabi kayo, pwedeng tamaan kayo ng setup.
Mas malaki yung damage na kaya niyang i-deal. Yeah, I completely agree on that one. Tatingin ko, since most of them are melee, well, yung pagpasok nila, yung pag-entry nila when it comes to team fight is napakalaking opportunity with that burst. Plus, meron pa tayong burst damage kung sakaling security to ng LPE with the Hayabusa. So, tingin ko pick off ang pwedeng gawin dito ng LPE. They have consistent physical damage with the Hayabusa and then isang burst naman ng Magic with the Eudora.
It's all about the damage output right now. There you go. For LPE, burst ang gusto nila. Wow, ang daming sustain sa lineup ngayon ng Aether Main, TDZ. Let's look at the lineups right now. Ka dito.
Kasi ang bilis eh. Isipin natin yung yung combat ritual plus yung guiding wind dito ni PvE. Kaya niya agad kontrolin yung jungle area ng LPE. Tingin ko ang main plan is to delay aspect as early as possible, as much as possible.
At mukhang pwede nga mangyari yon kasi again hindi nagiging successful medyo itong Hayabusa sa ating tournament ng mga nakaraang pinili ito, 'di ba? I think si Chu lang na nakapasok na ngayon sa MPL ang naging successful, pero may isa pa siyang death nun. So, yeah, given LPE, it's gonna be hard for them, and I'm also leaning towards the lineup of Aether Main kasi parang ito yung mga trip ng Aether Main talaga, yung medyo risky na Action Jackson lineup. And again, I think na ang LPE dito yung nag-react sa draft.
Tingin ko rin talaga at LPE. Tingnan natin kung enough nga ba yung burst capability for them to prevent PvE from moving forward. Ito nga ang Game 1, mga kaibigan, ng lower bracket semifinals for MPL Season 7 main qualifiers. LPE versus PvE. Check natin dito yung mga laning matchup. We have Tigasin sa side naman ng top lane against Ryota. We have naman Bimo sa gitna and Ryota plus Tigasin sa bottom lane.
Gusto ko yung matchup na dito na makikita natin yung Hilda and yung Jawhead na nakita natin kaagad si Van na kinancel out si Bimo, na paback si Bimo dito, so may onting delay for the side of LPE. And dito papasok yung sinabi mo, TDZ, na kayang kontrolin ng team Aether Main yung jungle.
Oo, at nakita natin na si Van nga ay talagang pinupwersa niya lagi niya sinusundan kung nasaan si Aspect. Hindi niya binibigyan ng pagkakataon na makakuha ng kahit anong jungle or at least kahit anong buff with the retribution. So, iniiwan niya agad sa level dito si Aspect.
Oo nga eh. Aspect is at level 2 right now. Meanwhile, si kaibigang Choco ay level 3 na.
Nako.
So yeah, I think it's going to be hard right now if you are Aspect. Actually, hinihintay niya si Van dito pumasok. Meron pa siyang retribution dito. Hinihintay niyang atakihin dito yung purple. But that is of course a quad shadow out. Van, wala doon siya dito. Bimo will pop that smart missiles. Napapalaban sila dito. Wow, nice defense. Para dito sa side ng LPE. Kanina kasi ginagawa to ni Van against doon sa Claude na kalaban niya. But I guess this time, hindi ata mag-work kay Aspect.
Hindi talaga nag-work kay Aspect dito at talagang hinintay niya na mag-cooldown yung kanyang retribution at pinini-empty placeit niya yung kanyang quad shadows para kung sakaling umengage din dito si Van pati si Yuji.
Oo.
So, saktong-sakto lang din. Kayang kontrolin, pero nag-heavily rely yun sa cooldown ng kanyang retribution.
It's all about Aspect really finding the right timing here. And the LPE being safe right now. Dito mo makikita talaga yung mastery sa rotations, kaibigan TDZ.
Totoo yan.
Hindi sila masyado nag-react dito sa ginagawa ni Van to the point na naitabla pa nila. And now, the bait plays. Electric arrow from Arbs. And then Bimo getting, of course, the ejector. Nice kill there. Coming in from LPE.
Saktong-sakto yung positioning dito ng LPE. Talagang binate nila with the lightning arrow and dito yung rotation ng PvE at yun din yung tingin kong kayang pwedeng gawing take advantage rather ng LPE to get that power spike or to get that early game.
Oo, yung mga ganitong pick-off, no? Kaibigan TDZ. Ejector to the electric arrow. Meron pang thunder strat pero may sariling thunder din naman si Choco na panlaban doon. Habang si Van dito ay pulado na. Oh no, Aspect also coming in. Samahan mo pa ni Ryota. That is a 3-4-1 exchange in favor of LPE. TDZ. Nako, hindi ata nagiging maganda ang simula ng Hilda ni Van.
Hindi maganda ang simula taga ni Hilda dito. Van always, well, he got picked off twice already. So nakikita natin dito na talagang magta-transition siya kaagad into magic defense since naramdaman niya kaagad yung damage dito ni Arb. So tingin ko okay din yon since si Jake the Dog is almost level 6 already. Nagpe-prepare lang din siya para dun sa next Zaman Force. Para kay
Kaso hindi kaya bad news to para kay Van kasi kung habang namamatay ka, hindi ka rin nagkakaroon ng stacks. So para bang nawawalan ng saysay yung pagiging gangster mo sana sa jungle. Tama ba?
Totoo yun. Kasi ang hirap dito kapag hindi ka nakakuha ng Blessing of Wilderness sa unang part pa lang ng laro. At kapag umabot ka ng 10 minutes or at least 8 minutes na hindi puno yung stock mo, may iwan ka sa damage or at least yung armor penetration na binibigay ng Powerful Wilderness.
So yeah, with this, it just goes to show TDZ na LPE na ang in control.
Totoo.
Look at that!
Ang ganda ng pagkakaikot dito. Bimo, every single time, lahat ng kanto, lagi niya chinecheck. At kapag nakakita agad siya ng isang unstoppable force lang, plus the burst damage from Arbs, gave them a lot of space para makuha itong turtle.
Pangalawang turtle na to ng game at mukhang tuloy-tuloy pa rin ang laban natin. What's my name? Sabi dito ni Arbs. Nako, nahuli ata siya dito ng Circling Eagle. But Arbs, still alive. Isang kiliti na lang. Habang yung kanyang mga kampe ay lumalaban lang. Choco ngayon, napabak na. Meanwhile, si Virus pa lang matitira. Aspect, Bimo, and of course, Ryota finishing off the life of Virus. 1-7. TDZ, wow, nawala na bigla yung momentum sa Aether main and bigla na lang nasa LPE na ang kalamangan.
Nasa LPE na talaga mga kaibigan at nakitang-kita natin kanina yung pagkakabait ni Yuji na pinasok niya sa loob doon sa tier 1 turret yung pagkakabait ng after ng Circling Eagle. Pero with that, nahuli ka agad dito si Nav at or rather si Virus that gave them a lot of opportunity for them to get that kill again. At lalo yung turtle.
So parang nawalan na ng saysay dito yung gusto sanang maging jungle invaders ng side ng Aether main. Lumambot na sila lahat, kaibigan Tads. And kung iisipin mo, level 7 na si Vimo, level 5 pa lang si Van. So it's Vimo versus Van. Nabanggit mo to kanina, pare, na doon magkakatalunan. It's either magcho-chow sila, magjo-joed sila, or baka nga, eto, yung kakaiba, yung Hilda para kay Van. Pero ngayon, ang lumalamang, si Bimo talaga na which is mas effective pa rin, Jawhead.
Tingin ko kasi with the Jawhead pickup, mas early yung control nila, especially with the jungle and also with the unstoppable force. And with that, Arbs makakakuha na naman ng isa. Tol, 4-0 si Arbs dito at meron na siyang Clock of Destiny. So, unti na lang makakuha na siya agad ng Lightning Truncheon. At yun yung kailangan nilang makakuha para mas successful yung pick-off.
And for sure, Tads, ibig sabihin mo dito, mas magiging masakit yung damage ni Arvs. Lalo na't kung may extra lang Lightning Truncheon proc siya dito. Look at his money right now, TDZ. 3K, 3,600, 1K gold ahead, laban doon sa Claude.
Totoo.
Ng kalaban na nasa gold lane.
Totoo yan. Pati Jean, mapapansin mo dito almost 6K net worth kaagad, 6 minutes in. Ganon kalaki, ganon kalakas yung impact dito ng LPE sa early game. Pero ang tanong, kailangan nilang i-sustain itong ganitong klaseng aggression? Kasi kapag si Choco nakahanap ng magandang buwelo, nako, mag-iiba ang timpla dito sa side ng PV at LPE.
Gusto ko yung nabanggit mo dito na hindi pa naman ganoon ka baba yung tsansa na makabuelo dito ang Aether main. Lalo na this is still a Claude, this is still a Brody on the lineup para sa side ng Aether main. Kaso ang tanong ko sa'yo, TDZ, may mangyayari bang 5-on-5 na laban? Kasi look at this. Look at that.
Wow.
What a pick para kay Arbs dito. Pinalamo ng kuryente sa muka habang yung ninjutsu ninja way ay nandito na. And sabi ni Aspect, umalis kayong lahat. Triple kill para kay Arbs dito. And wow, LP to the E. Dominating Patrick Viray Esports ngayon. And they will also take this bottom tier tower. TDZ, mukhang fast game ata nangyayari.
Fast game na fast game. Nasundan nila ang tempo na kayang ibigay dito ng PvE. Akala nyo kayo lang yung pwedeng gumawa ng early game, pero hindi. LPE pa rin talaga, 116. At mukhang mauubusan na lahat ng outer tiers dito ng PvE. Nako, tol, with the Claude pickup sa side ng PvE, sobrang hirap. Machoke sila sa loob at yun ang ayaw na ayaw gawin. O ayaw na ayaw na mangyari dito ng Claude.
Lalo na't mauubos yung resources mo. Ito pa yun, kaibigang Tads. 0-3 si Tigasin dito. Hindi siya matigas ngayon, pare. Both malambs. And yeah, yung resources niya, hindi niya makukuha. Baka hindi siya makapag-farm na dito ng items.
Nako, at yun ang kailangan gawin dito ni sa gitno, ni Tigasin. Kailangan niya makapag-farm agad. Kaso ang problema, si Arbs laging nakaabang. At si Aspect nandun, 3 member yata na dito ng LPN nakasingit dun sa loob ng brush sa may orange area. At kapag nakahuli sila ng isa, at kapag si Choco pa yung nahuli nila, lalong mahihirapan, walang power, walang damage output ang PvE kung sakali.
This is looking bad for LPE. Look at that! Ginawa ni Arms, nakita mo yun? Nag-super conductor muna siya sa minions, and then in electric arrow niya, akala niya babanda doon sa Claude.
Napakagandang way para ma-disjoin, or at least makahanap ng way para ma-stun dito yung Claude. So they need to be aware of that situation. Kailangan nilang makita yung mga ganong klaseng play ng LPE. Pero ngayon tingin ko, Jean, aware na sila sa mga ganong klaseng ganong klaseng play. So hindi nila kailangang i-push yung middle lane. So nakita natin yung positioning dito ng Nitigasen. Nagre-relay siya sa mga side lanes, which is also pushing already sa side ng PvE.
Totoo, kaibigan TDZ. Meanwhile, nako, nagkapasok ka na! It rhymes, pare! The thunder is real! May summon force pa! And now, mawawala na rin si Van! Here we go! LPE going into the bottom side. TMP na-activate na ngayon ni kaibigan Choco. But the tower is the main target right now. Blazing to it para kay Tigasin dito, but it's A-okay for LPE. Sabay sticker pa nga, sabay kuha na rin ng orange buff. They will be disciplined enough to go back, and they will probably wait for this Lord and finish this game.
Nakita yung LPE dito na magandang opening. Nakita nila si Van, walang frontliner yung yung PvE, yung Aether main. So ang ginawa nila, sumulubsub sila agad. Using the Summon Force, slowing down the rest of PvE, at nawang hinahanap pa rin nila dito si Tigasin. Kaso si Tigasin also playing safe pa rin siya talaga, at nahihirapan pa rin siya makapag-farm.
Oh no, this is the next level LPE. We did not expect this game to go one-sided, TDZ. Pero sa tingin ko nangyari to lahat nung napamalina ng invade dito, yung Aether main, nung Hilda pick nila, na napunish masyado dito, of course, ni kaibigang Aspect. And now, mukhang ito na ang next team fight. Arbs, tignan natin. Nasa kanya ang camera. There you go, first kill. Pero blazing duet. Flicker para kay Arbs dito. Meanwhile, si Ryota nandun ba sa gilid? May nawala ng isa. Actually, si Yuji pala yun. Nawala na rin si Van. Oh no, sa gitno takbo. Habang si Virus, nako, wala na siyang magagawa kundi magharakiri. Ladies and gentlemen, LPE owning Aether main dito sa game number 1.
At mukhang tatapusin natin dito ng LPE, dire-diretso pa. with the Salmon Force. Naku po mga kaibigan, LPE will still go for that snowball at mukhang dire-diretso nga yata ang paglakad dito ng LPE at hindi nila binigyan ng pagkakataon ang Ether Main na makabawi at makahabol.
Sa sobrang intense, Tads, sa sobrang intense ng laban na yun, lumagpas ka sa screen.
Lumagpas ako sa camera, tol.
Lumagpas ka sa camera, tol. Ako,
grabe.
sinubukan kitang abutin doon, pare. Pero yeah, pare ko tama lahat ang sinabi mo dito, kaibigang Tads. It's all about the jungle control. Ether Main, ginawa nila yung best nila to get that jungle. Pero kasi this is LPE, kabisado nila yung rotations eh. One thing to take note, I guess, with Coach Panda is that heavily, strict pagdating sa rotations talaga eh. Lalo na nung Archangel days pa niya eh. So talagang with that, man, sobrang one-sided game. Bimo, controlling this one, and Arbs, pare.
Si Arbs, tol. 8-1-7. At talagang gamit na gamit lahat. Pasok na pasok. At meron din silang ibang way na pinapakita para makakuha ng isang magandang stun. At si Tigasin, tol, hindi na siya ganun katigas. Sinubukan niya lahat ng kaya niyang gawin para makakuha ng farm at magkaroon ng stacks. But unfortunately, the burst dam, sabi mo kanina, Eudora, isa sa mga magandang pang-counter sa mga glass cannon heroes such as Claude.
Claude talaga, this Eudora pick. Fourth pick to, if I'm not mistaken.
Fourth pick to.
Oo, parang nung nakita nila kagad, no? Actually, tingin ko pag may Matilda, pwede ka talaga mag-Eudora din eh.
Huli din yung Matilda
Oo, huli din yung Matilda eh. Nababurst ka nila kagad eh. Wow, what a game.
Wow.
Napaka-intense noon, kaibigan TDC. Kung lumagpas si TDC sa screen, tignan naman natin kung anong pwede mangyari sa analysis ni Midnight.
Thank you so much, casters. And that was an interesting game from LPE, just dominating Ether Main on game number 1. Once again, guys, my name is Midnight, ang resident analyst nyo for this series, and napakaganda naman talaga nung pick na Eudora. No? Even though the Hilda was there to ideally get the control over the jungle of the Harith and the Hayabusa. Something na nakita natin from our previous series, no? Na medyo without the purple buff, and the Harith was sitting on the gold lane. Ngayon, sobrang importante na naging movements actually ng Johed tsaka ng Eudora for the side of LPE. Pero before we go to that, let's look at the items here on the teams. Now, LPE, if we're gonna look at the items, standard lang naman for Aspect, Endless Battle into the Blade of Heptasis, going to the Blade of Despair. Unfortunately, di natapos dahil natapos kagad yung game. Arbs, on the other side, has the the magic penetration boots alongside the Clock of Destiny and the Truncheon. Ito actually yung nagpahirap ng buhay ng Aether Main. Siyempre, si Jake the Dog, napakarami ang gold coming out from the gold lane, pero still, the story of the game was that the control on the early game was established by Bimo and Arbs. Etong dalawang to, nakita natin to from the other regions, sobrang powerful na combo ng Johed at ng Eudora. Sure lockdown, kapag nabato ni Johed, you need the Purified para masabi mo na, okay, kahit paano, ligtas na ako, but then again, may papasok pang damage from the Eudora. Dagdag pa natin dyan si Hayabusa, the Shadow Kill, na wala masyadong reach ang kalaban nila dito. No? Yes, the Matilda was picked by Aether Main, pero again, Eudora, it's really good against the hero. These are heroes that you don't want to be upfront with, no? Yung mga Hayabusa, mga Harith, the Johed, the Eudora, and naramdaman ni Hilda yan, no? Sabi niya ng isa sa mga cases natin, yung tigas ng Hilda natin ay nawala, parang naglaho, nawala bigla, parang siya. Joke lang. Anyways, Hilda is, utilized on the early game, but the problem was the early game was not really the condition here for LPE. The condition was just to get the level 4s and the items that they need. Yes, you can stop those from coming, no, pag napigilan mo yung early game. Problem is, they have a lot of ways from bouncing back from that. The Hayabusa just needs to farm some minions, and the Harith is still staying in the gold lane kaya hindi masyado nag-work yung ginawa ng Aether Main. Now, let's look at the highlights for that game. No, 1 kill lang naman yung nakuha ng Aether Main while they have 19 on the side of LPE, but we have to look out for the movements here by the Johed and the Eudora. Again, nakita nyo, 3 minutes pa lang, they're playing very, very aggressive with each other. Do take note. Lagi magkasama tong dalawang to alongside a hero that can clean up. And LPE, knowing them, lagi sila nag-group up talaga. As long as they see an opportunity, laging may chance mag-group up. Again, the Johed and Eudora, Arbs plus Bimo, the connection between these two players, yung communication nila constant na, uy pare, may papatayin tayo dito, lika rito, pigilan natin sila mag-farm. And for the majority of the game, they were on the jungle of Aether Main, and they never stopped. And in turn, I think sinasabi natin kanina, yung concept ng playing a territory. Yung Johed tsaka Eudora, basically yung lugar na ginagalawan nila, no, pagmamay-ari na nila yun. And lumalaki yung mapa ng LPE. That's the reason why there's so much gold on the side of the Harit and the Hayabusa. They can play their lanes without any disruption. And after that, the amount of resources just got out of hand. No? 7,000 kagad yung gold lead ng LPE by the 7-minute mark. So 1,000 gold per minute yung inaagwat ng dalawang team. And once they got all the items, all the resources, the team fight just broke out. And dahil wala masyadong farm, si Claude, no, si Tigasin, it was all the Brody that was dealing the damage here on the side of either main. Actually, sama na natin si Paquito at si Hilda. But the thing is, those damage are not enough for them to bring anybody on the side of LPE. Actually, 2 kills pala, no? 222 yung score. But it was all LPE from start to finish. And that was because of the movements of the Jawhead and the ARP. Siguro, no, feeling ko. Yeah, there you go. Bimo, once again, MVP for that game. The Jawhead really did put a lot of pressure on the side of either main. Literal, lahat ng inapakan ni Bimo pag mamay-ari niya. And si Arbs, yung backup, no, siya si Robin na Batman ni Bimo, and never naghiwalay tong dalawang to. Kasi sure kill eh. Why would you go away from your partner, no? Why would you stay away from your partner kung pwede naman kayo magsama at makakuha ng objectives? That was the story here for LPE. Talagang hindi lang nila pinabayaan yung pressure na meron sila. And that is very important. If you have a lead and if you have a kill threat on your enemy, do take note of the word kill threat. If you have that, do not take it away. Kasi kapag nawala yun sa inyo, yung momentum mapupunta sa kabila. So that was the story of Game 1. Let's see if may sagot ang either main sa Game 2 or mag-a-advance ba ang LPE towards the final round.
Gustong-gusto na ma-meet ni Coach Panda ang kanyang dating team na naghihintay ngayon sa lower semifinals nitong ating MPL Professional League. Ay, nagulo na ako. MPL Philippines Season 7. Manjin Faldas and TDC. Once again, maraming salamat. Midnight, sa napakagandang analysis. Pare, all throughout, si Bimo ay nakatambay lang sa jungle ng Team Aether main. And, man, can you talk to me more about this, pare? Binanggit mo sa akin yung mga iba niyang heroes. Ano pa ba yun? Cho? Tama ba?
May isa pa siyang... Well, siya yung nag-choke kanina nung kalaban nila yung Reach Apex. At tingin ko, siya yung nagpapanalo eh. Siya yung nagbigay ng... siya yung nail in the coffin mismo.
Si
with
Bimo.
With the 3-man Jeet Kondo knock-up, nagkaroon ng opportunity doon yung LPE na makapasok again within the area sa loob mismo ng base ng Reach Apex. So tingin ko with this mobility, planado niya yung mga bawat galaw niya, at with that game earlier, Bimo, early game pa lang, control agad ng jungle. At yun yung tumulong kung bakit nagkaroon ng maraming KD dito sa Earth.
Ikaw, Tads, alam ko minsan nagtatank ka rin talaga eh, no? And ito lang matanong ko, pare, no? Nung nawala si Van kanina, nung sumubok siya doon ng invade, wala din siya katulong eh. Siya lang mag-isa, di ba? Kasi nag-mid si Matilda eh. At kung hindi ako nagkakamali, ito yung mahirap eh. Nung namatay siya, para bang aware na si Bimo na wala nang gagawin sa akin yan. Parang gano'n na yung ginawa. Tama ba?
Ang ginawa niya kasi doon ni Van, tingin ko ang isa na pwedeng gawin doon, na pwedeng i-fix doon is yung itemization niya eh. Nag-heavily rely siya doon sa tough boots. Nagkaroon din siya ng basic ng common na shield, papuntang Athena shield. Kaso unfortunately, ang pinoprotect niya main is yung main burst damage ng Eudora. So tingin ko kung sakaling nag-warrior boots siya, mas okay. Pero ano ba naman tayo?
Mamimili
pro
ka
player
lang
pa rin sila eh. Pero warrior boots is either tough boots. So I think with the damage from the smart missiles, it's all physical attack. At also yung toss niya, yung kanyang ejector is also physical damage. So tingin ko, sinubukan niya lang ulit na lumalim doon sa pag-take ng
in-underestimate niya siguro yung burst capability dito. Umasa siya sa shield nung Hilda. So I think pwedeng hindi na yan maging option sa Aether main kasi parang nawala ng saysay yung gusto nilang gawin doon. Moving on, TDC, here we go. Farsa, a Selena, and a Baksha for Team LPE para sa kanilang ban. Look at this. May respeto na, pare Koy.
Talagang hindi na binigay
sa Aether main.
Ng Aether main. Kasi ang laking factor talaga niyan eh. Kumbaga, siya yung naging jump start kumbaga sa motor. Kumbaga, siya yung nagbigay ng padjak para sa LPE na dumedire-diretso. And with that, talagang nahirapan ang Aether main na makabawi with those jungle control. And also with the Rapu-Lapu. Isa pa pala na nakalimutan ko i-mention kanina, Jean, yung placement ni Ryota. Lagi niyang kinakat, lagi niyang hinihiwalay yung membro ng Aether main. Kaya siya nagkaroon na maraming space ang LPE for them to attack.
Isa rin si Ryota sa mga X-Factor ng team ng LPE, no? Alam mo, Tad, since share mo na dito yung ginawa ni Ryota kanina, nung natanong namin si Ryota nung mga nakaraan na nakausap namin siya. Actually, kaya pala siya Ryota. Kasi, dahil yon sa anime na Slam Dunk. Kasi pareha sila ng buhok ni Ryota, yung point guard sa Slam Dunk. Alam mo naman yun, di ba? Nakaka-relate ka naman doon. And si Ryota, playmaker. Kung iisipin mo, dito sa LPE, marami ding beses na si Ryota ay gumawa talaga ng plays. Ala playmaker mismo.
Yan, nagbibigay at nag-enable sa side ng LPE para maging successful ang lahat ng mga plays at mga plano strategy ng LPE.
Yeah, definitely. So, tignan natin kung ano ngayon magiging hero niya kasi mukhang Esmeralda to, pare. Gusto ko na binanggit mo sa akin yung pagkat ng kanyang lapu-lapu, kaya rin siguro binanto ng side ng Aether Main. Let's look at Aether Main this time, pare Koy. Sylvana and Benedetta, early quick picks para sa kanila dito. And now, are we looking at a possible Digi pick para dito sa side ng LPE? Dahil ginawa nila to kanina with the 1-1.
Tingin ko posible kasi nakita rin natin dito sa sa M2 with the Imperial Justice sa side ng Sylvana and also kahit sino mahuli, isang times journey lang. At hindi makakatakas dito yung Sylvana with the Cometic Lance kung saan makakuha siya sa magandang proc. Mahuhuli ka agad dito yung Sylvana. And also with the burst damage from the Benedetta plus the Eudora is also a possible pick para sa LP.
Yeah, actually kaya nga ako napaisip kasi nang nakita ko yung mga Sylvana quick picks, may nagdidigi ka agad. Pero tignan natin, hula lang naman natin yon. What are we? Yun na, binana.
Binana talaga.
Binana. Nakita na.
Mukhang nalaman ng PV, oo nga, no, posibleng Digi pick yan. At pinakita rin yan kanina ni Bimo sa LPE.
Yeah.
Nang paggamit niya ng Digi.
Ng Digi, yeah. Actually, yun nga, yung naprotektahan yung 1-1.
Yung 1-1.
So, akin medyo risky para sa akin pa rin ng 1-1, no? Kasi kailangan talaga nito ng kasama. Magdating sa lane para makapag-farm. But of course, these guys, they know what they're doing. We're looking at the next few picks dito, TDC. Pakito is the ban right now para dito sa LPE. Meanwhile, for the side of Aether Main, we're waiting for one more hero. Yishun Shin is still open for the taking.
At so tingin ko magiging gold lane na 1-1.
1-1.
Itong LPE. So kailangan na nilang mag-delete ng mga jungle heroes para at least mas yung Haibu kasi ang hirap hulihin eh. Kumbaga kaya niyang i-dodge yung Ball Lightning plus yung ultimate ng Eudora dito.
Yeah.
At mas mahirap siyang huhulihin. So I think that's a very good ban para sa side ng PvE. Sa side naman ng LPE, tingin ko they can go for a much more better side laner. Lapu-Lapu again. Ay, rather, ban pa lang Lapu-Lapu dito. So, Tams, Yuzong, available pa rin.
Sa ban, no? Na pwede pili ko, Yuzong ban eh.
Yuzong ban para sa AE, no?
Oo,
sa AE main.
Sa AE. Ay, yeah. Pwede pa sila mag-side pero jungle na lang pala.
Jungle.
Okay,
Pagka magiging support rotator to si Benedetta sa side ng AE.
Yeah, support rotator talaga. Actually, mukhang side lane pala, TDZ. Yung Benedetta.
Side lane Benedetta, tapos yung Sylvana para magiging tank support.
Parang magiging tank support. Oo, tapos mid Eudora, Yishun Shin, jungle. Nako, to be honest, TDC, nagugustuhan ko yung lineup ngayon ng Aether Main. Bakit? Ang taas ng reach output nila, ang taas ng setup, ang taas ng burst. Kaya nila kagad mag-early game. I can therefore say ang taas ng control nila all throughout the map. Because of the Eudora, the Sylvana, easy picks, easy mountain shocker lang, pare.
Kumbaga once na nagkaroon yung AE main dito ng information after the mountain shocker, pwede agad silang mag-initiate with the Imperial Justice. Then burst ka agad. Totoo. I completely agree on that, Matt Jean. Pero ang tingin ko, AOE ang kailangan nila dito, which is a very good Alice pick as well. Merong bababad sa front line kapag saaling nagkasalpukan sila or nag-teamfight sila ng LPE.
Correct.
And kaso ang magiging problema dito ng Alice is merong Louie ang LPE dito.
Yeah, si Louie ang magiging dito, no, pang counter go sa side ng LPE. Actually, I'm leaning towards the late game para sa LPE dito dahil nga 1-1 pa rin to. Pero in terms of early game, pare ko, I can therefore say may palag itong team ng Aether Main because of the Eudora and the Sylvana. Malalaman natin yan. Match point, ladies and gentlemen, ng LPE dito, TDC. Ikaw ba, base sa nakita mong lineup, sino sa tingin mo nakakalamang?
Sa akin kasi mas gusto ko talaga yung mga late game oriented, mid game to late game oriented na
Kesa
na
yung
draft
early game na
Kesa early
palag-palag.
game.
Oo.
Ganun naman yung early game kasi medyo risky, kailangan mag-snowball ka agad.
Oo.
So, sa draft, tingin ko mas papabora ako dito sa LPE. Kasi meron siyang low yi, meron din siyang 1-1. So, kuha nila yung crowd control kapag sakaling mag-decide yung PvE na mag-team fight.
Wow, nice input, Tads, dito. Kasi yan, again, this is a 1-1 and alam natin kapag yan ay naka-preheat, kahit yung Yishun Shin, kahit gaano kasakit yung damage, ay pwede siyang mamatay. Let's look at the startup of the teams right now, ladies and gentlemen. Walang mangyayaring leash, kundi farm lang muna sa mid lane ng ating mga junglers. But by the way, Aspect will start off as the jungle. Okay, so Yishun Shin, tsaka pa lang siya bibili dito ng kanyang Hunter's Knife.
Yep, saktong-sakto para makapag-transition siya agad doon sa may jungle at hindi sayang o hindi siya makakuha agad ng HP or rather XP at gold reduction from that minion. So, yun ang nakikita natin parang transition, especially for the junglers. And with the YSS, sobrang dali niya kasi makapag-clear ng wave. But with this one, Bimo, mukhang sinusubukan niya makakuha ng kill para kay Nav.
Parang nakakatakot tong Cho ni Bimo pa rin na Kuya TDZ, one of his favorite heroes. I can therefore say na kapag binigay mo yung Cho kay Bimo, para bang namigay ka kagad ng onting kalamangan. Kapag kalaban mo ang LPE, kasi isa to sa mga identity nila
Totoo yan.
Itong Cho na to. But let's see, dahil of course ang Aether main, kabisado naman nila yung hero na yan. And again, binanggit mo nga, may Mountain Shocker kasi sila dito to spot out the Cho whenever he will go for ganks.
Totoo yan. And also, they can also utilize the Mountain Shocker para malaman kung gumamit ba ng diversion dito si Arbs. So, ang laking bagay talaga. So, kailangan i-funnel, kailangan bantayan palagi si Choco kasi every second counts. Kapag nakita ng LPE na okay, wala si Choco, pwede tayong mag-rotate. When also with the help of Bimo, isang Way of the Dragon, mas madali sila makakuha ng kill because of aspect yung kay Roger niya.
Oo, so kailangan mag-ingat ng dalawang teams natin dito. Thank you for putting out that one, TDZ. Dahil ngayon, si Choco ay aabangan ngayon. Si Bimo, meron pa siyang isang knock-up dito sa Baishun po. Iba talaga.
Sobrang calculated Bristol. Parang lahat ng galaw basado na. Nakalagay na sa script.
Parang kabisado
Kabisadong-kabisado dito. But,
But still, Choco right now, Team Aether main will be the ones who will control this turtle. And yes, Kuya TDZ, kung iisipin mo talaga yung physical output dito ng side ng Aether main, napakasakit. Kapag sabay kang pinasok ng Benedetta at saka ng isang Yishun Shin, crits after crits
Crits after crits. Lahat pumuputok. Plus pa doon, yung magical damage dito ni Yuji at mukhang may nahuli dito with the Infernal Justice.
Aray ko, babes! There you go, Van! Creating the plays. And syempre sabi ng PBB, ng team ng Aether main, sabi nila kami din, marunong din kami mag-Eudora.
Kaya namin yan. At talagang, well, nakita ko dito yung yung kay Van being as, sinubukan ko siya tol dati, yung Silvana na tank. Parang wala rin pagkakaiba sa support o kahit mage.
Talaga?
So, sobrang kunat lang talaga niya. So tingin ko yun yung ginagawang opportunity ng PvE.
Yeah, speaking of opportunity, ito na ba opportunity na side ng LPE makabawi dito dahil mukhang hindi na as Sakitno will take that counterplay in the bottom side. And yes, TDZ, mabalik tayo dun sa point mo. The Silvana pick na nauso ng December talaga. Okay lang, mapamid ka or mapatank ka. As long na napapatama mo yung Spiral Strangling, hindi ka mamamatay
talagang ang hirap mamatay kasi meron ka pang shield na makukuha after mo magamit yung Spiral Strangling dito para makahuli siya ng isa pa.
Speaking of maghuli, let's see, ultimate para kay Ryota dito. Anong play? Kaya makukuha, double knock-up coming in from Bimo. Finally, LPE getting 1 kill. Masyadong naging malalim ang Aether main doon.
Pati medyo na-late din yung pagkakagamit dito ng Mountain Shocker ni Choco. Nakuha agad sila ng pick-up. Tingin ko yun din yung kailangan dito ng LPE. Take down the Eudora, which is yun yung naging pagkukulang ng PvE nung Game 1.
Kanina.
Hindi na naputol yung streak.
Kanina. Actually, may 1 death na dito. Si UG dito. And mind you, this is UG playing a killer mage. Kaibigan TDZ. And alam natin kung gaano kaingat si UG, but this time, nayatap siya ng LPE. Here we go. Kick coming in from Bimo. Nice ultimate para dito. Of course, kay Van. And Van, kaya niya ba mag-survive? Nako, pinaikot-ikot, bumarena. Pero siya ang nawala. Nice counter kill coming in from LPE. And this time, I think, they will go for the turtle. Virus, nakabang ngayon. Ryota, nag-aabang. Frost, Moon, Shield lang muna kay Ryota dito as Team LPE will take that free turtle. Pasok ngayon si Tigasin. Nako, TDC nagkakaroon ngayon ng reaction para sa Aether main sa mga galaw ng LPE.
Ang ganda ng pagkaka-draft dito ng LPE. Again, with the rotation plus the dispersion combo ng ni Arbs. Medyo risky. Medyo nagbibigay siya ng unting hesitation sa side ng Itomen na makapasok ulit. Kasi pag nahihigop sila, yun yung pwedeng gawing opportunity ni Jake the Dog to get the Swallow's path and also the burn or rather the Falling Star Moon para kay Ryota.
Yeah, P-ballers at nakakapag-farm actually since nabanggit mo si Jake the Dog. Hindi pa pala natin siya napapansin dito, TTC. 0-0-0 siya.
Free farm dito si Jake the Dog.
Oo, free farm si Jake the Dog and mukhang kung iisipin mo, Aether main, naghahanap sila ng gera pero iwas pusoy ang team ng LPE. Ayan yung mga ganyang moves. Hanap gera yan eh. Oh no.
Ohoy. Mukhang mahuhuli pa nga yata dito pero Jin, tingin ko ramdam ko talaga yung yung game plan ng LPE dito. Okay, alam natin na medyo mataas yung burst capability.
Okay, speaking of burst, Van, right now coming in. Si Arbs ang unang atakin dito, pero nawala. Oh my glove, si kaibigang Yuji. Aspect also dying. TDZ LPE is now leading. What is happening right now? Aspect, hindi natin din napapansin. 2-0-1 on this game.
Totoo, tol. Kasi ang tingin ko dito kahit tayo kahit yung mga players mismo ng AE, hindi rin nila napapansin dito si Aspect. So nagkaroon siya ng significant level advantage, level 10 na siya kaagad.
Oo nga,
plus the turtle. At yung mga level dito ng PvE is level 9 pa lang si Choco, level 9. At talagang nahihirapan dito yung PvE. Ang ginagawa lang ni Aspect dito is nagiging finisher siya. Hinihintay niya na duguan lahat ng members ng AE main bago siya pumasok with the Wolf Pounce.
And ibig sabihin nagkakaroon siya ng item. There you go, the setup. Napakaganda! Nice set with the diversion dito pero actually wala pa lang namatay pero joke lang pala. Sabi ni Ryota, ako na magpi-finishing touch para doon sa pick-off na yon. Van also falling down once again. Virus na palaban na pero napakakunat ni Ryota dito. Virus comes out, of course with the dash. Tigasin, nandito na naman. And Tigasin, nako mukhang hindi naman pala matigas. But here we go, mapapa-flowing blood out siya. Yung final blow, patay ang germs. Pero nako si Virus na lang mag-isa dito. Oh no! Tumatagalit ang vapor ng Aether Clan. LPE, ladies and gentlemen, will take this tower in the mid lane. And TDZ, unti-unti silang nananalo dito sa laban na to.
All, nauubusan na ng grounds dito yung PvE at nakikita na medyo na-choke out sila dun sa ganung klaseng terrain. So, with the mobility coming in from LPE, unti-unti silang nakakalapit. And, well, to start things off, yung rotation plus the dispersion combo ng Arbs ni Arbs dito, napakalaking opportunity to get that Falling Star Moon again.
Ang daming set
Ang daming set dito ng LPE at nakakuha na naman sila ng isa pang turret at nako, talagang umuunti yung grounds dito. Kailangan makakuha ng momentum or ng opportunity dito yung PvE na makabawi, especially kay Choco na 0-0-1 pa lang at the moment. Pero si Tigasin nakaharap na ng Enchanted Talisman.
Well, actually, kaibigan TDZ, akala natin yung momentum nasa PvE na pero parang because of the mini skirmishes na nangyayari na nakakapitas dito ang side ng LPE, sila pa nakakalamang. At ngayon, speaking of skirmishes, mukhang magkakaroon ulit ng laban dito. Ibang klase, tama ka, Tansi.
Parang ganyan, no?
Oo, parang ganyan, no? It's all about Arbs with the duality.
Duality plus the rotation combo. Trinap nila kaagad yung isang area. So pinipwersa nila yung AE main na pumunta dun sa right corner at inaabangan din ng LPE yung pagpasok nila. So talagang ang laking bagay ni Arbs dito.
Yeah,
yung hesitation tool, ang laki.
Ang laki. Tsaka kumbaga ayaw mo ng mga melees kapag kalaban mo ang isang yung Luyi. Isang Luyi talaga eh.
Mapipwersa ka talagang bumak nun or at least gamitin muna yung Mountain Shocker para makita kung ilang hero yun nandun sa may part ng area na yun.
Wow, the adjustments coming in. And now, Bimo once again kicking. Of course, Nav. Nako, tumama na dito yung Tiger Stripe. Inabangan pala si Bimo dito. Meanwhile, Tigasin, pumasok pa rin. Masyado atang malalim si na Aspect dito. Aspect, ngayon, kailangan niya atang mabuhay dito dahil kung hindi, napakagandang shutdown gold. Para dito, of course, kay Choco. Hindi pa daw tapos. Pero eto na, si Jake the Dog! Jake the Dog! At wala na siya. Nako po, kamuntikan na pero lumaban pa. Ay, nako! Apat ang nawala sa side ng LPE. Naging malalim sila on that part. And Aether main, hindi naman kami magpapahuli ng buhay.
Siyempre, merong bawil. Ang lintik lang ang walang gante. Sabi nga na dating palabas, PVE, dumedire-diretso pa rin, naghahanap pa rin ng butas para makapasok dito sa depensa ng LPE with the falling star mo to start things off.
Oh, mayroon may counter go, pare. Ang ganda na pasa. Mala Dwayne Wade to Lebron. Yung ginawa ni Bimo tsaka ni Ryota. Oh my, ang lupit doon. Pero si Bimo ay napalalim doon. Dahil sabi ni Sagito, nandito ako. Sasalubungin kita. Flank out. Here you go. Here comes the diversion. Here comes the TP. Here comes the double cavalry. Nandito na rin si Aztec. Tumatakbo na ang PBE. Oh no. LPE, ladies and gentlemen. Wala silang mahuli. Natakot sila, pare. May nagwangwang doon sa bandang likod.
Bilang responde dito, parang emergency lang. Wow, 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 sabi ng LPE. Pero ang PVE ngayon, medyo maatas unti-unti. At LPE nga, taking advantage ng situation. Pero tol, mukhang sasalubong dito yung PVE. Apat na miyembro, alam nila na pasomo na o pa-respond na dito si Choco. At with the Mountain Shocker, nagkaroon sila ng idea kung nasa na ang LPE. Pero next target dito mga kaibigan is yung Lord. Malapit ng 11 minutes in, so meron pa ring time. Mag-decide sila ngayon kung kaya ba nilang hintayin nila yung Luminous Lord o maghintay pa sila ng unti pang items, which is si Virus, kakakuha niya lang kanyang Queen's Wings.
Sa tingin ko parehas nilang kailangan gawin yun talaga, TDZ, dahil nga yung Lord anytime lalabas talaga yan eh. So ngayon habang wala pa, kuha na ng items at iwas pusoy muna kung ikaw ang Aether main. Pero kung ikaw ang LPE, ang gagawin mo talaga ay kukuha ng mga ganito. And naku po, pinasa sa dalawa. Bimo with a wonderful, beautiful way of the dragon. May pa-sticker patterns.
Grabe, ang ganda pa ng pagkakaanggulo ng ating camera dito. Talagang hinihintay niya lumapit dito si Tigasin. Kasi alam ni Tigasin na hindi pa ganun katigas.
Hindi pa ganun katigas. Grabe si Bimo dito, pati yung cameraman napapa-freestyle show eh.
Oo, tol, mga freestyle sumakasabay sa indak sa galaw.
Sumasabay sa galaw. Kumbaga, yung cameraman natin umaltab muna, tapos nag-install, uninstall ng camera ng ML. Ganun yung ginawa.
Nako po, si Virus dito medyo lumalalim ha.
Ibang klase mga kaibigan, Bimo making the plays. At ngayon, sino yung lumalim pare?
Si Virus, tol. Muntik pa siya ma-take down ng crossbow of Tang.
Wow.
So, kailangan talagang mag-play safe ng AE main dito. Hindi nila afford makakuha ng isa pa. Kasi pag yan nakaisa ang LPE, mahihirapan sila mag-defend dito sa next Lord.
Pero tignan mo kung sino dito sa side ng LPE ang nakabang. Walang iba kundi si Bimo. May sipa na naman kay Bimo dito. Nako, pumifake ata si Jake the Dog dito. Jake the Dog, kasama niya ngayon of course si Arbs. Pupunta sila sa baba. Atakin nila ngayon si Virus. Virus, makikita siya dito? Hindi. Kundi LPE pa nila makikita because of the Mountain Shocker. But Bimo, hinahabol ngayon si Virus. Virus ka lang, Bimo ako. Sabi ni Bimo, tagu-taguan, maliwanag ang buwan. Virus, kamuntikan pa ngang mahuli dito.
Napakaganda
paring Tads
dito. Pero ito na si Jake the Dog. Nakita niya si Virus. Pati kasama pa si Aspect. Electro Final Blow. Ginamit na. Pero mukhang cut to. Sinandwich nila dito si Virus.
Nobody's gonna know. How would they know?
How would they know?
Nobody's gonna know.
Nobody's
Virus,
gonna know.
kitang-kita pa rin. Pero naku po, dito pala sa mid yung laban. Slam dunk para kay Ryota dito habang si Van ay magagalawan. Yung Lord ay mawawala na. Kalahati na ang buhay ng Torre dito, pero yung PBE, pari ko, kumakapit na lang. Aether main, eto na ba ang the comebacks of the comebacks? TDZ, unti-unti nang naaamoy ng LPE dito. Yung lower bracket, unti-unti na nilang naaamoy ang Archangel.
Ito na, mukhang iba ang lasa, iba ang amoy dito with the Falling Star Moon.
Ay, napakasakit. And there you go, si Tigasin, sa Gitno goal, falling down. Van, ang natitira ngayon dito, napalaban ng LPE. Ang call ngayon ng LPE ay mag-back. Ang call ni Bimo ay mag-TP. Ang call ni Bimo ay mag-dash. Ang call naman ni Ryota, mag-farm. There you go. 12-7, pare koy. Basag ang mid at basag din ang bottom side.
Ang layo, almost 8K net worth lead ang lamang ng LPE dito. Pero syempre trabaho lang, sabi dito ni Virus, push natin unti yung bottom lane. Pero mukhang hindi na pinapapatagalin ng LPE dito. Since pupush na din sila sa middle lane. At yung top lane pupush din, Jin.
Oh my! And look at this, Heaven's Albert para kay Jake the Dog. Anti-regen item, if I'm not mistaken, TDZ. At ito yung una niyang binild. Bago siya nag-corrosion site, nag-deadly blade muna siya.
So ang plano pala ng andito ni Jake dito is laban kaagad, action Jackson kaagad, parang ganito.
Oo, laban kaagad, Virus ngayon. Oh my!
Ohoy!
Mukhang mag-goodbye, pero mukhang buhay pa ata. There you go!
Naharangan nung Cannon Wave yung atake dito ni Roger at mukhang nabigyan pa ng isang pagkakataon dito si Virus at makapag-regen ng kanyang HP. PvE, unti-unti na nababawasan ang kanilang territory. Pero din natin yung LPE, talagang hindi humihinto. Dire-diretso pa rin. Pero binigyan sila ng unting breather para sa side ng AEME.
Onting paghinga. Sabi ni Virus dito, syempre hindi naman ako aalis, hindi ako pwedeng matanggal nang hindi ako nagpapakita ng swag. Nako, eto na. Virus, ikaw na naman!
Oy!
Mala Britney Spears! Oops, I did it again!
Oh! Nahuli dito si Virus. 45 seconds na wala. Kaso kailangan mag-play out dito ng PvE. Tamang go ahead and push habang mag-aabang kami ng kahit sino na pwedeng miyembro ng LPE na pwedeng i-pick off.
Oh no!
Ohoy!
Tumatagilid, Kuya TDZ. And you're definitely right. Naghahanap na lang ang LPE dito na nag-pick off. And of course, the squad of LPE. The squad, ladies and gentlemen, nag-cheer na ngayon. Nasa loob na sila ng base. They really want to get Archangel right now. Napakagandang Thunder Strat. Pero tingnan natin si Van na mahuli dito. Napakagandang vacuum. Pero buhay pa rin si kaibigan Bimo. Flowing blood. Tigasin. Papasok pa siya. Nako, napakagandang mountain shocker. Tumatakbo na ang side ng team ng LPE as Team Aethermain will survive this one.
Unti-unting nadedepensahan ng PvE ang base nila. Unti-unti. At yung network nila unti-unti ring umaangat. Kanina 8K. Well, kanina 10K ngayon. Unti-unti rin nagiging 9K na.
Oo.
At ang Lord ang magiging next priority objective dito ng dalawang teams. Kailangan na, it's do or die, Gene. Kailangan na talagang makipag-contest dito sa Lord.
Ang natitirang team sa Aether Clan. Nako, gusto na atang tapusin to ng side ng LPE. Here comes the Thunder Strat once again. Si Bimo na naman ang magiging main target dito. Arbs going in. Arbs, napakagandang vacuum. Tapos ayun yung Wolf Pounce. Berserker Barrage. Ngert sabi dito ni Aspect. At ayun na nga, pare Koy. Is this it? 40 seconds down. 40 seconds down for the count. Ang team ng Aethermain, dalawa sa kanila ang wala. Can they defend this Lord right now, Tads?
Naku tol, medyo mahihirap yan. Si Choco, kailangan niya tagang pumasok dun sa may Lord area at subukan niya i-contest. Kasi kapag ito, pumush at mahihirapan sagad sila mag-defend. Pero it's way too late. Si Virus nangungulit na naman. Laban sa apat.
Ginagawa na lang ni Virus lahat ng makakaya niya, pare.
Oo.
Para lang lituin ang LPE. Pero parang hindi na yun sapat eh. Parang hindi kulit ang kailangan. Ang kailangan nyo, damage.
Damage ang kailangan dito ng PvE. At talagang nasa counter na sila. Nasa timer na agad ang AE dito. Pero LPE, naghihintay lang din na mag-respawn yung next Lord para makakuha din sila ng isang potential one big push against PvE.
Bilang na daw ang oras. Kaibigang TDZ ng Aether Clan dito. Pero look at this! Wow!
Uy!
Wow! Hindi pwede yan, sabi ni Aspect.
Naku, mukhang makakahabol dito. Wolf Pounce? Take up anal, bro?
Na-delay niya pa ng onte yung Lord doon.
At saktong-sakto with a diversion play.
Here we go.
Sinabayan nila yung Lord.
Bilang na ba ang oras ng Aethermain dito, ladies and gentlemen? May sipa na naman. Choco falling low. Yatap si Choco. At napawinter toucher pa nga si Tigasto dito. Mukhang wala na nga. Team LPE will wipe out and destroy the Aether Clan para dito sa MPL. And they will go to face off against Archangel.
Nako, kuwang-kuha ng LPE. At sinubukan din taga ng PvE na depensahan, but it's way too late. Sabi natin kanina, Kuya Manji, no, yung Lord is talagang sobrang impactful for that next.
Impactful talaga. Yeah, man, yun na yun eh. Sinabi mo, hintayin na lang eh.
Hintayin na lang talaga.
Oo.
Pero ang laki ng rotation and also the early game dito ng LPE, nahirapan ang PvE with that control. Kahit yung mountain shocker nila, hindi nagbigay ng vision kaso wala gaanong follow-up para sa PvE. Nakulangan lang sila ng unting-unting item kasi nakalamang din yung LP ng early game.
Oo nga eh. Akala natin yung early game mapupunta na sa sa Aethermain. Pero parang yung mga Chepi kasi ni Bimo eh. Yung mga pa isa-isa lang na pitas. Hindi makagalaw eh ang team ng Aethermain.
Ang laking bagay pati yung yung early game pick-off niya kay Yuji. 'Di ba? Pag-usapan natin kanina, yung Eudora kapag nakakuha siya ng dire-diretsong kill, nakakuha siya ng sustainable gold, mas malaki yung damage output niya. But unfortunately, early game, na-pick up siya ng ilang beses ni Bimo, at tingin ko, dun yun yung factor ko bakit nakulangan sila ng damage.
Nabitin na sila eh. Parang hindi na sila makasabay eh, no?
Oo.
Parang yung Sylvana kasi hindi enough yung lockdown niya eh. Kailangan may follow-up na kill. So without any damage output, tumatagilid ang side ng Aether Main. Well, of course, still, props, of course, to Aether Main for being here in the tournament once again. Maraming na-excite. Maging ako ay na-excite na makabalik yung logo na yon.
Gusto ko makulayan na yung,
gusto na
yung
makulayan.
logo nila eh.
Oo, yung MPL. Pero of course, isa lang ang magwawagi at ayan ang kupunan of course ni Bimo and Coach Panda LPE. Ano pa kaya mga nangyari sa laban na yun? Alamin natin with Midnight.
Guys, sobrang daming nangyari dun sa laban na yun and ang daming switching ng mga events. Parang ganito yan. May momentum sa Team A, then may momentum sa Team B. Nagpapalit-palitan lang sila. But at the end of the day, the decisions were just better on the side of LPE. Once again, guys, my name is Midnight, your analyst for today, and we're gonna be breaking down what happened on that game. Now, very important to note na nasa side actually ng Aether Main yung control on the early game. Even though they have a Yi Sun-shin, no? Usually kasi ang typical stereotype kay Yi Sun-shin is late game siya. He's actually one of the few marksmen na mas gusto mo lumaban ng early game para makapag-establish ka ng control kasi medyo nagpa-flatline ka pagdating ng mid-game and dependent din siya sa momentum. Now, before we proceed with that discussion, tignan muna natin yung mga items dito ng ating mga players. Marami kayong mapapansin. Actually, may mga interesting item pickups dito, no? Number 111, buying a winter truncheon for the risky plays, no? And I would really like to emphasize on this winter truncheon. Bakit? It's gonna guarantee the safety of the 1-1. Kasi kahit sabihin natin, okay, yung lockdown ng Aether Main is kaya namang i-dispel or tanggalin ng 1-1, kumbaga cleanse or semi-purify, no? Kaya niya naman tanggalin. Yung damage output kasi yung kailangan niyang iwasan, no? Once na matalonan siya ng Aether Main. So the idea of LPE here is just to dive the heroes on the side of LPE when they can. With the Roger, syempre, as much as possible gusto mo ikaw nag-initiate on your own terms kasi meron kang Luwei. Okay? Number 1, kailangan mo ng frontliner. So that's the same thing with that's the same thing with executing team fights with a frontline sustain. So the idea is that kailangan may isang tao sa harap ng LPE na kayang i-sustain lahat ng ibabato ng Aether Main. And in turn, hindi masyadong nakahanap ng laban sa mga late game team fights yung Aether Main because of the itemization of these heroes. Kahit si Roger actually dito, no, after building up the Endless Battle, Windtalker Blade of Despair, meron siyang Queen's Wings, and sobrang helpful actually ng Windtalker just to maneuver around these fights. Yan yung nag-allow sa LPE para pahabain yung clashes, hintayin yung mga skills sa side ng Aether Main. Kasi actually, parehas naman sila, naghihintayin sila ng perfect opportunities dito, no? Mas reliable lang yung sa side ng LPE because they're not under any form of pressure. Meron silang Luwei to back them out when the team fight has gone wrong. Now, let's look at the highlights here for LPE and Aether Main's game. Very important to see how the early game turned out kasi dito mo makikita yung momentum ng dalawang teams. Now, Aether Main, they were actually the ones pushing the pressure against LPE. Again, as much as possible, ito yung gusto mo with a Yi Sun-shin lineup. But when the level 4s came in for the side of LPE, things started looking dim for Aether Main. Because of the fact of the power spikes on the side of LPE, it's much, much greater compared to the level 4s of Aether Main. Tignan nyo yung level 4s ng Aether Main dito. Ultimate ni Eudora, ultimate ni Benedetta, ultimate ni Alice, ultimate ni Yi Sun-shin. All of these doesn't matter. Actually, ang nagmamatter lang is yung ultimate ni Sylvana. That is the only skill na magpapabago sa laro ng Aether Main. And pag tinignan nyo yung lineup ng LPE, everything changes once they reach level 4. Si 1-1 nakakapag-unlock ng invulnerability during fights kapag nag-proc yung kanyang crossbow thanks. Si Esmeralda suddenly gets a boost on the team fight presence. Luwei with a dispersion play. So everything opens up for LPE. That's the reason why Aether Main felt like weak on the mid game. And after that, it just snowballed. And having 2 cores on your lineup is really a good sign na sa inyo ang late game. Kapag tinignan nyo yung late game capability ng Aether Main, yes, they have a Yi Sun-shin, but he is up against 2 cores and ang daming threat. Number 1 si Cho. Bimo played the game beautifully. No, kahit pa wala siyang kills dito, napakarami niyang deaths, he allows so much opening for the Luwei and the Esmeralda. Napakaraming execution ng teamfights na nakuha nila dito because of Bimo's presence in these clashes. Now, Beerus tried his best to cut the waves para madali pa yung game, para lumabas pa yung mga items sa side ng Aether Main. But then again, there is a limit to their power spikes, no? the scaling is just way better on the side of LPE. And this last clash, makikita natin kung gaano kataas talaga ang damage output and ang sustain sa lineup ng LPE. And in turn, they inevitably win the late game and close out the series against either main. LPE really did prove a lot on this game. Bimo bouncing back from a bad early game and picking up the Roger. One of the few heroes ni Aspect actually, no, na medyo hindi nila masyado napipick, pero actually mataas ang win rate. Of course, that is Aspect, the MVP of that game. The Roger, KDA of 715, net worth of 13,269, damage dealt 45,422, and objective damage of 17,192. Now, he is really special in this game. Actually, ang dami niya kailangan gawin. Number one, he has to be able to scale up or snowball from the early game para lang masabi nila na confidence sila pagdating na mid-game to allow them to fight into either mains mid-game. And number two, not fall off. Kasi usually, ang mga Roger nag-fall off pagdating ng late game. And looking at the stats here of Aspect, he really did a fantastic job. 715, balance lang yung kanyang performance dito. But the objective damage, that is really, really crucial. LPE was able to establish a form of objective control over either main. And that's the reason why they won on that game. And they will be advancing to the last round of MPL main qualifiers. I'm really excited for the last series. Maganda yung storyline nito. Old team meets their new old coach. And wala na ako ibang sasabihin pa. Feeling ko yung classes natin meron pa for the next storyline ng ating game.
Napaka-interesting nga ng mangyayaring game of course. LPE's Panda, kakalabanin ng dati niyang organization, Archangel, na gutom din, manalo. Men, pangalawang beses
na nangyari. At ito na yung pangatlong beses kung tutusin.
Tapos yung pangatlo, if ever lang mangyari, yung sisilat pa sa'yo, if ever lang yung dati nyong coach.
Dati pang coach. So tingin ko, parang factor kaya yun since meron silang idea kung ano yung mga na-construct na plays ni Coach Panda.
Hindi natin pa alam, Kuya TDC. Malalaman natin. Of course, sa next game. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Ayun, kakabago lang. Archangel versus LPE. LPE, they're riding their momentum right now. Nanalo sila kanina and ngayon, Archangel kakatalo lang kanina. This is going to be wild, DDZ.
Totoo yan. Kasi talagang, after a 2-0 win, tas lalaban ka kaagad against AA, with that devastating win ng Game 1, tingin ko sobrang init. Kung baka sa Diesel, mainit na kaagad.
Mainit na kaagad.
Dire-diretso pa.
Hindi mo na kailangan painitin.
Mainit na.
Game na agad. Ano ka na kaagad?
So tingin ko yung kailangan nilang senaryo. Kumbaga para makuha ulit yung chance. Visit, no?
Hindi natin inakala na hantong tayo sa ganito, TDZ, na sila magtatanggalan. Two big names pagdating sa MLBB Esports, and once again, Archangel on that part na isang game na lang. Oh my TDC, maraming salamat of course sa pagsama sa amin dito. That is it, ladies and gentlemen. Huwag kayong aalis dahil magbabalik tayo sa MPL Qualifiers.
Moment na sana, pero hassle ang kate. Yung kati na yan, dahil sa dandruff yan. You need Head and Shoulders. Unlike beauty shampoos, tanggal ang dandruff that causes kate. No more hassle sa moment. Goodbye na sa kate, dahil 100% dandruff-free ka.
Hey guys, I'm here with Kate and Bea.
Bad timing ang kate. Baka dandruff yan? Use Head and Shoulders every day. Unlike beauty shampoos, tanggal ang dandruff that causes kate. Para di pa balik-balik, kati gone for good na. Dahil 100% dandruff-free ka.
Hi guys, I'm here with Kate.
Para araw-araw, close na close. Max pinabango pa.
Hi everyone, this is Catherine Bernardo.
At ako naman po si Daniel Padilla. Guys, may PayMaya na ba kayo?
Kung wala pa, dapat mag-download na kayo sa Google Play or App Store dahil ito na ang usong pangbayad ngayon.
Ang PayMaya is isang mobile payment app using only your cell phone and you can pay practically anything, kahit online transactions pa yan.
With PayMaya, hindi mo na kailangan magdala ng cash for your day-to-day expenses. Pwede kang magbayad ng bills, bumili ng prepaid load, mag-online shopping, mag-send money, magbayad gamit ng QR code at marami pang iba.
Pero ang the best part dito ay, may balik-bayad ka pa.
Each time you use PayMaya, may balik sa'yo na cashback at rewards, kaya sulit ang oras mo dahil hindi mo na kailangan pumila and you can just pay using your app anytime, anywhere.
Kaya guys, huwag kakalimutan, pag may babayaran ka,
Don't pay cash, pay Maya.
Hi everyone! Welcome to the latest episode of Road to Mythic, featuring Paquito, the Heavenly Fist. We will walk you through the gameplay and tactics so you can grind the ranks with ease. Now, without further ado, let's dive in. Paquito is a versatile fighter who has a unique mechanic, Champ Stance. Champ Stance grants Paquito a variety of combos, leaving him enough room for skillful plays. Paquito builds stacks when hitting enemy heroes with basic attacks or dealing damage with skills. Upon reaching 4 stacks, Paquito enters Champ Stance and enhances his next skill. Note that Champ Stance not only enhances the damage output of Paquito's skills, but also the shield granted by his first skill. The enhanced shield drastically boosts Paquito's survivability. The second skill serves as Paquito's damage tool, which inflicts massive damage. Moreover, in Champ Stance, casting the second skill allows Paquito to throw 2 jabs instead of 1, making the already impressive damage output even more devastating. Paquito's ultimate is a perfect skill for both teamfights and diving. The enhancement brought by Champ Stance makes it possible for Paquito to inflict control effect twice with just 1 ultimate cast. The ultimate is mighty handy, whether Paquito needs to initiate a teamfight or chase down an enemy target. Since Paquito is an agile fighter in possession of various combos, we highly recommend this set of equipment, as it ensures good survivability while boosting his damage output. Prioritize Bloodlust Axe, as it drastically increases Paquito's endurance and cooldown reduction. Next, Warrior Boots would be a perfect choice to get some extra movement speed. Blade of the Heptazes and Endless Battle are next in line, as their passive further enhances Paquito's basic attacks. Lastly, Queen's Wings and Immortality will help Paquito exert dominance in teamfights while staying alive and well. Note that once Champ Stance is active, all Paquito's skills will finish their cooldowns. Whether you're going for damage or control, it's never wrong to think twice beforehand. 2 casts of Jab are perfect for following up the damage, while 2 casts of Knockout Strike allow Paquito to inflict great control effect. In the laning phase, Paquito first casts Jab to quickly approach the target and inflict damage. Next, a basic attack helps him stack up for Champ Stance. He then quickly follows up with Heavy Left Punch and basic attacks to complement the damage. When Paquito enters Champ Stance, he casts the Enhanced Jab to deal explosive damage. When the teamfight breaks out, Paquito cuts into the enemy formation with the Enhanced Jab. Next, he casts Knockout Strike to control the enemy crowd and follows up with a jab cast right away to stick to the enemies. After a cast of Knockout Strike, enemies are once again controlled. Paquito grabs this chance to inflict damage with Heavy Left Punch and gains a shield for the later pursuit. Paquito owns the spotlight through the early to mid game. Once he reaches level 4 and acquires the ultimate, his mobility will be taken to another level. It is recommended to roam and help teammates out to extend the lead. And when Paquito is equipped with good items and has a relatively high level, he will become an agile harasser who is capable of initiating teamfights and posing a kill threat to the enemy backline. Well, that wraps up this episode. Stay tuned for more insightful guides from Road to Mythic as you climb the ranks. Until next time, we'll be seeing you in the Land of Dawn.
Now Dragonborn is here.
Ultimate answer. A warrior's strength. You have slain an enemy. Monster kill. The past is the past. You have slain an enemy. Killing spree. The legendary. The past is the past. You have slain an enemy. A true warrior would give life to the things she wants to protect. Double kill.
Now Dragonborn is here.
This land is our homeland, and it will soon be a burial ground.
Moment na sana, pero hassle ang kate. Yung kati na yan, dahil sa dandruff yan. You need Head and Shoulders. Unlike beauty shampoos, tanggal ang dandruff that causes kate. No more hassle sa moment. Goodbye na sa kate dahil 100% dandruff-free ka.
Hey guys, I'm here with Kate and Bea.
Bad timing ang kate. Baka dandruff yan? Use Head and Shoulders every day. Unlike beauty shampoos, tanggal ang dandruff that causes kate. Para di pa balik-balik, kati gone for good na. Dahil 100% dandruff-free ka.
Hi guys, I'm here with Kate.
Para araw-araw, close na close. Max pinabango pa.
Hi everyone, this is Catherine Bernardo.
At ako naman po si Daniel Padilla. Guys, may PayMaya na ba kayo?
Kung wala pa, dapat mag-download na kayo sa Google Play or App Store dahil ito na ang kusong pangbayad ngayon.
Ang PayMaya is isang mobile payment app using only your cell phone and you can pay practically anything, kahit online transactions pa yan.
With PayMaya, hindi mo na kailangan magdala ng cash for your day-to-day expenses. Pwede kang magbayad ng bills, bumili ng prepaid load, mag-online shopping, mag-send money, magbayad gamit ng QR code at marami pang iba.
Pero ang the best part dito ay may balik-bayad ka pa.
Each time you use PayMaya, may balik sa'yo na cashback at rewards, kaya sulit ang oras mo dahil hindi mo na kailangan pumila and you can just pay using your app anytime, anywhere.
Kaya guys, huwag kakalimutan, pag may babayaran ka, don't pay cash, pay Maya.
Hi everyone! Welcome to the latest episode of Road to Mythic, featuring Paquito, the Heavenly Fist. We will walk you through the gameplay and tactics so you can grind the ranks with ease. Now, without further ado, let's dive in. Paquito is a versatile fighter who has a unique mechanic, Champ Stance. Champ Stance grants Paquito a variety of combos, leaving him enough room for skillful plays. Paquito builds stacks when hitting enemy heroes with basic attacks or dealing damage with skills. Upon reaching 4 stacks, Paquito enters Champ Stance and enhances his next skill. Note that Champ Stance not only enhances the damage output of Paquito's skills, but also the shield granted by his first skill. The enhanced shield drastically boosts Paquito's survivability. The second skill serves as Paquito's damage tool, which inflicts massive damage. Moreover, in Champ Stance, casting the second skill allows Paquito to throw 2 jabs instead of 1, making the already impressive damage output even more devastating. Paquito's ultimate is a perfect skill for both teamfights and diving. The enhancement brought by Champ Stance makes it possible for Paquito to inflict control effect twice with just 1 ultimate cast. The ultimate is mighty handy, whether Paquito needs to initiate a teamfight or chase down an enemy target. Since Paquito is an agile fighter in possession of various combos, we highly recommend this set of equipment, as it ensures good survivability while boosting his damage output. Prioritize Bloodlust Axe, as it drastically increases Paquito's endurance and cooldown reduction. Next, Warrior Boots would be a perfect choice to get some extra movement speed. Blade of the Heptases and Endless Battle are next in line, as their passive further enhances Paquito's basic attacks. Lastly, Queen's Wings and Immortality will help Paquito exert dominance in teamfights while staying alive and well. Note that once Champ Stance is active, all Paquito skills will finish their cooldowns. Whether you're going for damage or control, it's never wrong to think twice beforehand. 2 casts of Jab are perfect for following up the damage, while 2 casts of Knockout Strike allow Paquito to inflict great control effect. In the laning phase, Paquito first casts Jab to quickly approach the target and inflict damage. Next, a basic attack helps him stack up for Champ Stance. He then quickly follows up with Heavy Left Punch and basic attacks to complement the damage. When Paquito enters Champ Stance, he casts the Enhanced Jab to deal explosive damage. When the teamfight breaks out, Paquito cuts into the enemy formation with the Enhanced Jab. Next, he casts Knockout Strike to control the enemy crowd and follows up with a jab cast right away to stick to the enemies. After a cast of Knockout Strike, enemies are once again controlled. Paquito grabs this chance to inflict damage with Heavy Left Punch and gains a shield for the later pursuit. Paquito owns the spotlight through the early to mid game. Once he reaches level 4 and acquires the ultimate, his mobility will be taken to another level. It is recommended to roam and help teammates out to extend the lead. And when Paquito is equipped with good items and has a relatively high level, he will become an agile harasser who is capable of initiating teamfights and posing a kill threat to the enemy backline. Well, that wraps up this episode. Stay tuned for more insightful guides from Road to Mythic as you climb the ranks. Until next time, we'll be seeing you in the Land of Dawn.
Now Dragonborn is here.
Fight! Fight for the ultimate anthem! A warrior's strength. You have slain an enemy! Monster kill! The past is the past!
Ito na ang pinakahuling serye ng gabing ito at madidetermine na kung sino nga ba ang huling makakapasok sa MPL Season 7 qualifiers. Ang sabi nga nila, be legendary. Ako po si Manjin Faldas, kasama ko si Rob Luna. It is going to be LPE versus Archangel. Literal na wasakan ng pangarap. Rob Luna.
Wasakan ng pangarap sa isa pero simula naman ng pangarap ng isa. So this is gonna be a very emotional series, Manjin. As these two teams, they are one series away to be able to secure a slot here on MPL Season 7 regular season. And hindi ko ma-imagine kung ano ang pakiramdam kung maglalaro ka sa ganitong sitwasyon.
Napakahirap nito. Both of these guys are two big names sa mundo ng MLBB Esports. We have ourselves Archangel, your previous season, your former Season 3 champion ng Archangel and representative din ng Pilipinas sa MSC. Of course, iba na yung roster but the same organization, kaibigang Rob Luna. And of course, you have LPE naman, which is also a team coming from the nationals as well. And talagang umiingay din ang pangalan pagdating sa local scene. Isa na yung team na work na nakapasok sa MPL. Ngayon, isa na lang sa kanila ang iniintay natin. Ganon talaga, Rob Luna. You win some and you lose some. And I know, itong dalawang teams na to ay parehas malapit sa ating puso. If I'm not mistaken, nag-agree ako sa iyo na hindi ko rin ma-imagine kung ano ba ang pumapasok dito sa isipan at nararamdaman ngayon nitong dalawang teams.
Mahaba rin talaga ang storyline talaga ng dalawang teams na to, mga kaibigan. For sure, siguro just quick information, kung bago ka pa lang na nanonood dito for MPL, itong coach ngayon dito ng LPE were once the coach of the Archangel organization. Nasabi na ni Manjin, this is a different roster right now. Hindi ito yung exact na nag-champion during Season 3. Pero ilang beses na sila nag-gatekeep sa mga qualifiers. Nagmula ng Season 5. Season 6 is a one game away. Pero andito na naman ulit ang Archangel. They have two chance here. At ito na yung pangalawa. Will they be able to make it now?
Kumbaga, para kung iisipin mo, Rob Luna, pang-apat na beses na to. Kasi yung una, yung nangyari kanina, kalaban, teamwork. Yun yung pangatlo. Tapos ngayon, eto na yung pang-apat. Alam ko, nandito ka na noon, nanonood ka na noon, Rob Luna, Season 4 nung natanggal ang squad ng Archangel sa MPL. And Season 5, nagulat tayo na nandun na ulit sila. Gusto na nila ulit makapasok sa qualifiers. Pero pinigilan yun ng Goso Gamers. Ngayon, Season 6, pinigilan naman sila ng Signal Ultra. Kanina pinigilan sila ng work and now, ang masakit pa dito, pwede silang pigilan, kagaya nga ng sinabi mo, ng dati rin nilang coach, which is si Coach Panda.
Ng LPE, which is having a very good run here on the lower bracket. Ating matatandaan, sila ang team na unang nalaglag dito sa lower bracket kasi ang nakalaban lang naman nila is teamwork. We're in. Yan na siya na have already a slot dito sa MPL Season 7. So pwede rin natin isipin dito na in terms of dito sa dalawang team na to, pantay sila eh.
Pantay
Kasi
talaga.
Both of them lost their only loss against work. And definitely deserving yung naging talo nila kasi nakapasok na yung work eh. So we're on even grounds dito ngayon, mga kaibigan. And all is to say, Manjin, kung sino man ang makapasok dito, sobrang deserve nila ang slot na to. And we're down to two teams. Hindi ko talaga alam. I'm really speechless right now, Manjin.
Ako din. Grabing emotion ngayon. Ang nararamdaman, of course, ng mga peers din neto, ng mga teams, ng mga friends din, of course, ng mga players, I mean, ng dalawang teams. But before we head on to the, nasa draft na tayo, but before anything else, ladies and gentlemen, first of all, just congrats pa din sa dalawang teams na to bago magsimula ang game number 1 for making it once again to the top 8, actually the top 3 na agad para dito sa AA and LPE. So, Rob Luna, wag na natin patagalin pa. Let's go!
1-1, third ban dito para sa side ng Archangel. LPE na kompleto na rin nila si Lena Joy, Farsa, and then of course Yuzong, Esmeralda sa AA. Tapos meron ka ng Brody kagad na opening dito sa kanilang squad.
Oo, mukhang pinag-aralan ng maiga dito ng Archangel as Jake the Dog is having a very successful 1-1 games kanina, even against either main. But meanwhile, nakita natin that LPE, itong si Ryota, nakita rin natin itong ginamit niya kanina at this might be...
Itong Benedetta.
Oo, yung Benedetta. Pero gusto ko sanang sabihin sa'yo, Manjin, this might be a deny pick din as well.
Oo.
Itong harit na to sa Archangel.
Ay, oo, isa din to sa mga favorite picks ni Archangel. Tama ba ako, Rob Luna?
Yep.
And of course, alam din ng LPE na pinipick nila to. Ibig sabihin, gets nila kung paano laruin yan. Actually, favorite din ni Jake the Dog. Itong harit na to. So ngayon, nagkakabigayan kagad ng mga alas. Kuya Rob Luna, sa first picks pa lang, Brody kagad, Darit kagad, ano pang ina-expect natin dito?
Ito, speaking of expectation, andito na ngayon yung Lapu-Lapu, Silvan. So, kung titignan mo rito kung the way mag-pick dito ng dalawang team, masasabi mo rito na kilala nila yung isa't isa.
Parang kilala, no?
Ang
Oo.
bilis ng pag-pick nila dito. I'm really interested ako dito for the side of LPE. Are they willing to do the strategy na ginamit nila kanina? Kung maaalala mo, yung Digi na ginamit nila to come back. That was Team Empire, kung hindi ako nagkakamali.
Yeah, ginamit nila yon yung Digi na prinoprotektahan yung marksman doon sa gilid. And yes, pwede pa rin itong gamitin ng side ng LPE. Makikita natin yan if ever siguro pipili sila ng marksman. Kasi nga, may may Sylvana dito sa kabila eh. 'Di ba? So, given na meron kong Sylvana, nakita natin yun ng M2 na Digi ang main counter para sa mga Sylvana picks. Pagka ultimate mo ng Sylvana, magta-time journey ka lang ng Digi, goods na goods ka na. Pero, that is not the case. Mamaya pa yon. Show pick para kay Bimo, pare.
Nako, nakita natin to kanina. He's been very phenomenal using the tank show. Alam niya who to target. Alam niya kung kailan papasok. Kumbaga, Bimo rito knows how to play the tank show role. Its full potential.
Yeah, a master. Na-master, of course, ni Bimo itong show na to. Well, to be honest, alam na din ng Archangel for sure laruin itong mga show players nila. That's why siguro sasagot sila dito ng either na mga heroes na pwedeng tumapat dito sa show. Siguro kahit kulang pa sila ng mage dito. The Farsa is now banned. Chango is still open para sa akin dito na pwede pa rin gamitin ng squad ng AA. Pero actually, ang gusto ko rin sana sabihin dito, itong Sylvana ay pwede pang flex. Hindi pa natin alam kung mid Sylvana ba to o ito yung magsusupport Sylvana.
Yes, posible yan. But ako, sa pagkakakilala ko, the way nagda-draft ng Archangel, this is definitely gonna be a tank. Pero posible rin naman yung scenario na sinabi na yon is just that Escalera, siya yung tipo kasi ng mage that would go for mga Chango. But Farsa has already been banned. Pwede rin siyang gumamit like a Valier. Even si Cilion, nagagamit niya rin at a full extent dito sa Archangel. So we have yet to see kung ano ang posibleng maging hero dito ni Escalera.
Or baka pwede ring Luyi para kay Escalera kasi magandang sagot sa Harit. Every time na magsaman force yung Harit, maglalapag ka lang ng duality rotation doon sa gitna.
Yeah, speaking of Luyi, LPE has one of the best Luyi players right now here on the main qualifiers in the form of Arms.
Arms! Oo nga pala, hindi na natin na take in consideration. Actually, binan! Kakasabi lang natin.
Oo, kung atin anticipate yon, most likely na anticipate din yon ng Archangel as they've watched the matches na bago pa to. Diba? So, nakita na nila ang capability dito ni Arms and now they're just choosing a different option and that's gonna be the Eudora. So, this gonna be tricky for the side of LPE right now. Pero, in terms of firepower, mukhang iba ang gustong gawin dito ng Archangel at the Matilda, which is highly contested na hero natin for the past few series dito sa atin sa main qualifier, is suddenly mapipick pa sa pinakahuli.
Mukhang okay nga ang Matilda dito para side ng AA. Matilda Yishun-Shin, I like it. But again, the main problem if you're a Matilda, Kuya Rob Luna, sa lineup mo, kapag yung Eudora ay umabot sa part na kaya niya mag-burst, hindi kayo pwede magdikit-dikit kapag Matilda kasi nga pwede kayong ma-ball lightning. Yung passive ng Eudora na biglang nagsispread out. Yung ball lightning. Let's see kung kaya bang counterin yon ng side ng Archangel. LPE right now on the last pick. Open ang Yishun-Shin, pinakawalan ngayon ng AA. Kukunin ba yon ng LPE?
Posible nilang kunin to. I'm not really looking towards na gamitin ditong Harit na to for the jungler. Pero we have yet to see dito mga kaibigan. What's gonna be it for the final pick ngayon dito ng LPE? So going back dito, no, pinag-uusapan natin kanina if the Sylvana will be a tank. Technically, magiging tank siya dito. But now, for LPE, naging successful sa kanila itong Roger na to against Aethermain. Might as well use it again against Archangel.
Roger versus Hayabusa, magiging jungle matchup natin dito. Rob Luna, I can therefore say may onting lamang ang Roger para sa akin. How about you?
Well, we all know, in terms of lineup dito, I would still stick with Archangel in terms of firepower. With the Brody on their lineup, we've seen this. Ginamit din to kanina ng LPE. Hawak ito ni Aspect kanina. Nakita natin on how he fully utilizes. Inuna niya kagad yung Beast Killer. The moment na kaya niya nang isustain, gumo kagad siya ng BOD. And that's gonna be the case as well for Archangel dito. At ang hawak nito ay si Saksa.
Si Saksa, of course, one of his favorites. The Brody pick. So let's see kung paano niya yung utilize. Nag-agree ako sa iyo, Rob. It's all about the burst range na meron ngayon ang side ng Archangel. Meanwhile, sustained DPS ang gusto dito ngayon ng team ng LPE. Wag na nating patagalin pa. Sumigaw na si ate announcer. Here we go. The final series for today. LPE versus Archangel. Kaninong pakpak ang mas mataas ang lipad, Rob Luna?
Yon ang ating aalamin dito, Manjin. As this match, sabi nga natin kanina, probably gonna be a very emotional. Pero iba yung Matilda style nila dito. Earlier, ginamit nila to against teamwork as a tank support. Wherein ang gumagamit ito si Yami or rather si Boy Joy. Hindi ako nagkakamali, yung kanyang IGN here on the main qualifiers. So far dito, Manjin, ang magiging setup natin for the early game, medyo magiging slow ang pace. So most likely, wala tayong masyadong makikitang mga jungle invades. So both of these junglers will be securing their own buff. But meanwhile, on the top lane, that rotation from Ryota, or rather from Archangel, killing Ryota on the process.
Actually, Rob Luna, kakasabi mo lang na slow pace sana yung laban natin. Pero sabi ni Escalera, teka lang, Kuya Rob, papabilisin ko. That is a Matilda mid ngayon na nakikita natin sa kamay ni Escalera with the Impure Rage, utilizing the ability to go and gank a hero in the top lane, getting 1 kill in the top. Ibig sabihin dito, may onting kalamangan ang Hayabusa. Meanwhile, Joy Boy comes in with the Spiral Strangling para mag-survive siya, pero mukhang hindi magiging sapat. LPE with the same plan, Kuya Rob.
Yes, same plan indeed. Na-anticipate din yun ng Archangel as they know na walang kasama sa taas si Ryota. That's one of the reason kung bakit naging defensive yung laro doon ni Fall. But hindi lang talaga kayang isustain ng isang Sylvana yung 3 damage from those heroes, and let alone na-jit kundo siya and together with that was Aspect doon sa may bottom lane. So, well, so far dito, Manjin, ang mangyayari dito is that LPE might actually try to secure the first turtle as they are already around the turtle pit right now. Mukhang hindi yata ready ngayon dito ang Archangel.
Mukhang mabibigla ata ang Archangel dito. Pumasok na yung Sickling Eagle natin. Escalera, Saksha Jago, may summon force doon sa bandang loob. Saksha Jago with the T, the torn apart memory. Pero yun, 2 sa 2 kagad ang magkakabigayan. 3 heroes ang natila sa 2 kupunan. Pero sinong mananalo sa trade? Yung team na makakuha ng turtle. At mukhang yon ang AA. Naku, mukhang hindi. Tabla talaga!
Tabla yon, at tingin ko lumamang din yung LPE because yung 2 damage dealer from Archangel, yung 2 napita, Saksa was taken down, even Ninja Killa. Pero ang ganda ng trade-off dito ng Archangel, ginaw nila kagad yung turtle.
Ginaw nila yung turtle pero hindi yun daw yun ibibigay ng LPE. Sino makakuha ngayon? Retribution para kay Saksha Jago. Meanwhile, sina Aspect ay nandito. Makakuha ng isang kill. Si Fall dito as Arbs will fall down. LPE, nice choice na wag ibigay yung turtle pero it was too late.
Yes, it was definitely too late, Manjin. And well, suddenly ang nangyari ngayon dito, doon nakalamang doon yung LPE and taking the damage dealer coming from Archangel, nabawi agad yun from the turtle take, and given na nakapwesto na rin kagad doon sa may top lane si Ninja Killa to be able to clear the minion wave on the top lane. So ngayon, kung titignan mo rito, that's gonna be 1,000 lead for the side of Archangel. Pero so far, in terms of power spike kasi natin, ito na rin yung time ng power spike ng LPE. So balag-bagal na talaga yung magaganap dito sa mid-game.
Ibig sabihin mo ba dito, Rob Luna, suntukan na talaga to kasi parehas nilang nakuha na kagad yung kalakasan na gusto nila.
Yun talaga yun, ganun talaga yun. And meanwhile, dito sa baba, ito sila Ryota and sila Fall. Talaga may iwan lang silang dalawa dito wherein naghihintay lang sila ng mga sa mga pupunta ng mga members nila rito. Pero look at that, Orbs will be taken down.
Mas masakit ang kuryente, of course, ng isang Brody sa umpisa laban sa Eudora at mukha kasing mas marami siyang mobility. Saksha Jago with 3 assists right now, giving Team Archangel the opportunity to take more tempo in this matchup and will probably go in the bottom side. There you go. Kalahati na ang buhay ng tao dito. Ryota will try to defend the tower. Getting the wagon dito. Pero nako, siya lang mag-isa, Rob Luna, at hindi niya kinaya. Mukhang libreng Tori na makukuha ng Archangel dito sa baba.
Libreng Torre, libreng Benedetta rin as well for the side of Archangel dito mga kaibigan. And this might be mukhang pipilitin na ngayon ng Archangel na basagin to. So they will be the first one to strike. Tignan mo yung pwestuhan dito ng Escalera. He already spotted out dito yung reinforcement coming from LPE.
Ang lupit nun dahil nakaabang agad si Escalera. Hindi ka pwedeng tumambay dyan dahil sila pa nakakuha ng pick-off. Masyado nilang nakita, Rob Luna, at nahalata na didepensa doon ng LPE.
Kitang-kita nila yon and transition kagad sila just right after the turret, just right after killing Bimo. Kuha na naman nila dito ang turtle. So sunod-sunod na mga objective, sunod-sunod na mga lead ngayon dito ang nakukuha ng Archangel. That was technically 5,000 lead agad-agad man din in the past 2 minutes.
Napakabilis nun dahil yun sa Torre, dahil yun sa energy shield, dahil yun sa mga kills. I think nababasa ng Archangel dito yung reaction na laging gustong gawin ng LPE. Para bang may tinatry silang mag-bait and then aabangan nila na mahulog sa trap yung LPE. Parang ganyan. Nako, si Bimo ang next target. There you go. Ultimate para Silvana.
That was a good pick off doon. Nasaktuhan niya yung Imperial Justice with the Shunpo and that's gonna be the end of Bimo. Look at the positioning dito ng tank support dito ng Archangel. Kitang-kita nila. They were really expecting na magdi-defend dito sa may top lane si Ryota. That's the reason bakit nakaabang agad doon si Joyboy. And Escalera into the mid lane. Siya yata ang gagawin ngayon dito ng LPE.
Pero masyadong mabilis ata sa Escalera dito. May wings pare. Hindi mahabol. Sumirkling Eagle pa nga panlaban. Oh no! Escalera, sinubukan na lang ang pinaka-the best niya. Pinaka-na-best pa para mabuhay doon sa laban na yon. Pero sabi dito ni Joyboy, kami naman with the counter go. Napakagandang Imperial Justice mula dito. 19k to 15k. Sabay Chukchak Jeneline mula kay Ninja Killa. Dalawa ang nawala sa LP.
Dalawa ang nawala at that's all because of the shadow kill dito na mga galing from Ninja Killa. So far, look at the itemization dito ngayon ng ating Hayabusa. Buo na yung BOD for 6 minutes. Mabilis yan, Manjin.
Oo, bilang isang Hayabusa player, tama ba Rob Luna?
Yes.
Napakabilis niyan. Actually, maraming makaka-relate na Hayabusa na kapag nabuo mo yan ng like less than 7, tapos meron ka pang Raptors Machete, meron ka pang Boots. Ibig sabihin, A-okay ang farm mo.
A-okay talaga yun. There are actually 2 choices na pwede mong gawin dito. You could definitely go for like a Hepta C. Pero kasi they are on the lead. Alam nila dito sa sarili nila as for Archangel that they could be able to pull off yung mga risky items. Or rather, mga greedy items. Kasi it will definitely pay off para sa kanila going into late game. Ngayon, lalong lumulobo ngayon ang labang dito ng Archangel. That was almost a 7,000 lead. Abang na naman dito. Look at that. Fall.
Wow.
Joyboy. Alam nila na susubukan din dito ng LPE na kumuha ng turtle.
At hindi nagpapakita yung Archangel. Grabe yung pag-setup dito pare ng Archangel. Mala 4-bar setup bago yung punchline. And ngayon, ang nagiging dilemma ng LPE dito is that sila yung nabibait ng todo. Binibait sila ng Escalera to the point hindi nila mapatay. Mukhang eto na naman. Nakuha na yung turtle. At ayun na yung Zaman Force out ni Jake the Dog. Pero Escalera with the circling eagle. Pero napakasakit Kuya Eddie nung Thunder ng Eudora. Pero walang mamamatay sa side ng Archangel.
Si Ninja Killa.
Dahil si Ninja Killa pala ang the ultimate misdirection para dito sa side ng Archangel.
Misdirection nga. Kung iisipin mo yun, 4 lang silang lumaban doon sa may top lane. Meanwhile, itong Hayabusa na to was taking its time na magbasag dito sa ibaba. Slowly but surely, LPE, they're being choked out ngayon dito ng mga resources. Hindi na sila makalabas basta-basta dito sa kanilang base as Escalera looking on Ryota right now. Dako, delikado ngayon dito ang estado ng LPE.
Delikado nga talaga dahil unti-unti ng paangat yung kalamangan ng Archangel. 11-4 and yung Brody dito pare, Saksha go. Napakasakit na rin damage. Even Ninja Killa, nabanggit mo nga kanina, 4 lang dito ang lumaban sa AA.
Paano pa kaya pag 5 na sila?
Yon ang malaking tanong kung paano pa kaya kung 5 na sila dahil ito na yon, Manjin. Wala yung lapo-lapo dito pero kaya nilang pumalag dito sa LPE.
Pero walang mangyayari, Rob Luna, dahil nga nakikita ata ng LPE yung lapo-lapo doon sa baba.
Yon, at ay di nila i-risk talaga yon, Manjin, na lumaban. Sabihin na nating manalo sila doon sa team fight, pero mapoprolong yun. Posibleng mabasagan sila ng base turret doon sa baba. Look at the itemization ngayon. Puro BOD ngayon na makikita mo for Archangel. Meanwhile, dito naman sa LPE, mga defensive yung kanilang mga item. And this aspect, napilitan siya. He actually uses a Wind Talker dito para at least mas mabilis siya mag-clear ng mga minion wave para hindi sila ma-choke, hindi sila maipit dito sa kanilang base at baka push sila. Dahil sa ngayon, isa pa lang ang tore na nababasag nila, yun ay yung gitna.
Ang ganda ng punto mo doon, Rob Luna. May mga bagay talaga minsan na mapipilitan ka na ito na yung i-build mong item. Again, you need to clear the waves for you to really farm out at makabawi dito sa deficit na meron ngayon kayo. Let's see what's the next plan ngayon for LPE kasi mukhang natuto na sila. Hindi na sila masyadong nagpapapain. Kuya Rob Luna, sa mga papain na ginagawa ng Escalera.
Kaso mahihirapan ng LPE dito and I think this might be a good decision as well na hindi mo na to i-contest or probably try to get a pick-up. Tignan mo na may positioning dito ni Paul, ni Escalera. They're really providing vision dito for the rest of the Archangel squad and now they secured the first turtle of the game. Or the first lord.
Napakalupit dito ng positioning ni Escalera, pare koy. And kung titignan mo yung kanyang score dito, 1-1-6. More than 60% kill participation para dito kay Escalera. Akala lang natin, hindi natin siya napapansin, pero siya lagi ang nagsisimula ng laban. Matilda pa yan.
Matilda pa yan. Kumbaga, iniikutan niya eh. Talaga with the circling eagle is actually providing a lot of damage. Even mobility with the guiding wind. So ngayon dito, delikado si Bimo.
Nako, Bimo, napamali ata ng pwesto, pero Bimo ay makakawala dito. LPE now on the defensive side ng ating laban. The Lord will march towards the bottom lane. Malambot pa itong Lord na to, Rob Luna. Kaya bang depensahan ng LPE kaya?
I think kayang-kaya pa rin naman depensahan. They still have the damage dito, Manjin. And this is still a level 1 Lord. Pero ang magiging catch dito is machuchoke out sila ngayon. Maiipit na sila ngayon dito. And look at that! They were able to defend here all the mega creeps dito na manggagaling from Archangel. Pero ang problema kasi dito, Manjin, sakit. Mahihirapan silang lumabas na right at this point.
Nahihirapan din silang umatake kasi kung titignan mo yung first kill ni Escalera, pare. Yung mga maliliit na, ano ba yan? Yung mga, ayan
Soul Bloom.
Mga paru-parong bukid. Oo, yung Soul Bloom. Ang sakit na.
Ang sakit talaga niyan. And this is a farm Matilda as well. Even naka-impurate siya dito, masakit pa rin yung damage. Mukhang itong Torres sa ibaba, Manjin, mababasag na yata.
Basag na nga, tapos nag-circling eagle pa si Escalera, pero siya ang unang mawawala sa side ng AA habang napalaban pa ngayon. Sinalabu-labu Paul ang makakuha ng isang kill dito. Bimo, 30 seconds sa kanyang death timer as Paul and company will just back away. Rob Luna, 4-on-5 laban na naman ang nangyari doon sa baba.
4-on-5 nga. And I was really thinking na mababack off na doon yung Archangel but they had the opportunity na basagin pa yung base turret doon sa baba. So LPE now struggling here mga kaibigan on the defensive. Ika nga, this is a 10,000 lead para sa Archangel. Nakita na natin to kanina. They were on the spot as well. Pero ang diferensya kasi ngayon, hindi makalabas ang LPE. So, Manjin, kung ako ngayon sa side ng LPE, medyo kakabahan na ako pero hindi pa rin naman to huli para sa kanila. They could potentially have a pick-up dito. Pwede nilang makuha yung Matilda dito. Even the Brody. Kaso nga lang, medyo magiging risky dahil maaasahan talaga natin dito yung mga slice and dice dito ni Ryota. Kailangan niya pasukin talaga yung backlanes ngayon dito ng Archangel para kahit papano masira yung formation, masira yung balance nila on team fights.
Kailangan na ni Ryota i-summon yung kanyang inner Ryota talaga. Yung makagawa ng play dito sa LPE. Na, kumbaga, Rob Luna, naririnig na ng LPE yung tibok ng puso nila eh.
Oo.
Naririnig na dugdug. Dugdug. Gumagano na, pare. Hindi sila pwedeng matalo dito.
Hindi talaga. Walang team na magbibigay dito, Manjin. Kasi pangarap ang pinaglalabanan nila dito.
Pangarap, ladies and gentlemen. Marami ang nangangarap na mapunta dito. And ngayon, Archangel, ito na ang kanilang pang-apat na pagkakataon. Kung ibubuo mo
LPE right now, hindi nagpapakita. Ito na yung tinatawag natin, Rob Luna, na the freezing of the lane.
Freeze off the lane. Ang ibig sabihin dito ni Manjin is hindi na muna na magpo-push dito ang Archangel. Hinihintay lang nila na maging aggressive dito ang LPE. Hinihintay lang nila na may parang humiwalay doon sa groupings dito ngayon ng LPA, and potentially if they could be able to take at least one members here from LPE, they could potentially push and finish the game.
Yeah.
Nag-iintayan na lang dito ng cooldown ng Lord ang Archangel.
Naghihintayan ng cooldown, naghihintayan ng Lord, naghihintayan kung sino unang lalabas. Kasi tama ka dito, Rob Luna, hindi na nagmamatter yung mga nangyari kanina kasi kung iisipin mo, late game na tayo. May mga items na tong mga to. Paunahan na lang talagang mahuli ang mangyayari.
Yun na nga, eto mukhang sinisimula na ngayon dito ng Archangel. Hiwalay dito si Ninja Killa. So delikado to para sa side ngayon dito ng LPE. Hindi nila to pwedeng iwanan itong Hayabusa na to. Regardless na makuha or ma-steal nila tong Lord, this is a Hayabusa with the BOD. May damage to. That's one of the reason na hindi nila i-contest to, Manjin. Hindi sila confident na kaya nilang sumabay ngayon sa Archangel.
Napakahirap ngayon, ladies and gentlemen, ang buhay ng LPE. Archangel with, of course, Ninja Killa. Now having the Malefic Roar. So besides the fact na may BOD siya, pare, kaya niya rin talagang mag-split push because of this. And again, I think one of the main strengths talaga to ng side ng AA. Mahilig sila sa mga ganitong klaseng playstyle. Yung sobrang macro na playstyle kung saan hindi sila nagde-depend sa teamfight. More on nagde-depend sila sa makukuha nilang trade.
Yes. Kumbaga, kailangan makakuha sila lagi ng favorable trade, and they are really willing to go for risky plays as long as na magiging lamang sila sa paalitan. So ito ngayon dito, Manjin, the Luminous Lord is already approaching here on the bottom lane. Ang ganda na ginagawa dito ni Ryota. Kinakat niya na kagad yung minion wave sa gitna para hindi magsabay-sabay ang mga minion, para hindi sila agad-agad mabasagan dito.
Dahil sabi nila dito, kailangan na natin pumasok. Nagtanong na si Escalera kung kaya nyo ba to. 16,000 ang HP ngayon ng Lord na paggamit na ng Zaman Force. Ryota will fall low at mukhang magbabak na. The Lord will fall down. Can Archangel take a push? Can Archangel go for the GG push? Can they go for the GG base? Here we go. Ayun na yung laban. Ryota nag-initiate pero Ninja Killa coming in. Tinamaan siya dito ng Ball of Lightning. Bimo nandito pa rin. Bimo wala na siyang masisipa ngayon dahil kalahati na ang buhay ng base. Ayun na mga lightning at tapos ang gera. Archangel will take game number 1.
Archangel 1 win away to securing their slot here on the MPL. Pero Manjin, LPE, they were on this spot on the previous series, sa mga iba pa na, sa mga previous dating mga series here on the main qualifiers. They are one of the teams that are capable to do reverse sweep, kaya hindi pa rin pwedeng maging complacent dito ng Archangel.
I can therefore say that that was a close fight, Rob Luna, kasi hindi rin ganoon kanadalian ang Archangel. Lalo na't kung iisipin mo, hindi naman nangyari yung 5-on-5 head-on collision eh. It's all about the split para dito sa Archangel. And yes, I agree. One of the characteristics ng LPE ay ang tinatawag nating download game or download series.
Yes, and of course, eto na. They have to reset. LPE needs to reset dito, mga kaibigan. They have to take one game at a time against Archangel. Excited na ako dito, Manjin, how this story will unfold. Pero kung titignan mo sa naging laban na yun, I agree with you, wala tayong nakitang talagang direct 5v5. Nakita na lang natin yon dun sa GG push na ginawa ng Archangel. Naging sila fundamental sila dito eh. Like, nabasag tong ibaba, mabasag yung kabila. Ryota actually did his best to be able to save their base. Kinat niya yung mid lane, he actually cut the top lane. Kaso nga lang, hindi na talaga enough. Napilitan na rin siya, nag-BOD na siya. He actually went for damage. Most of the time, ginagawa niya, talagang tanky lang eh. Tanky na Benedetta, but they need damage. Hindi rin enough yung damage na ibabato dito ni Aspect on his Roger. And, well, Archangel all throughout, getting the favorable trades here on the series. Yes, that's how they won.
Ang lupet ng laban na yon. Hindi ko alam kung masusulit pa ba natin to hanggang Game 3, Rob Luna, pero ayaw na ng Archangel. Isang laro na lang. Let's see yung analysis ng laban.
Thank you so much, casters. Once again, this is Midnight, your analyst for today. And I would just like to say that this is LPE's Timon. Nilaro ng Archangel yung draft ng LPE. I'd really love to highlight the matchup between Cho and Sylvana Tank. Now, medyo magre-raise ng questions itong matchup na to. No? What's the importance between the Cho and the Sylvana? Essentially, this is my personal opinion, by the way, and we still have to prove it along the way. But Sylvana is a great counter against the Cho. Tank, number one, it removes the mobility of the hero once you catch him off guard. And napakahirap pumesto sa mga aggressive bushes kapag ikaw yung Cho against Sylvana. The reason why is kapag nasa damo ka, takita ko ng Sylvana, tutusukin ka lang ng Sylvana. And at the same time, pwede ka rin makatch ng Imperial Justice. And that's the reason why I think this is LPE's a nightmare, no? The draft battle between Archangel and LPE. And after that, we'll talk about the items in just a bit. Papakita natin sa ating mga screens. Ayan, LPE versus Archangel. Now, I'd love to highlight the itemization of the Brody. Something that we've seen on the international stage. After building up the Blade of Despair, go full tank ability. Why? If you look at the lineup of LPE, they rely on heavy burst damage. And the only target that they can actually take down is the Brody. Kasi yan lang naman yung hero na kaya nilang lapitan. If you want to chase down the Sylvana, you're risking the chance of Sylvana getting the Imperial Justice on one of your important cores. So napakadelikado ng lineup dito ng Archangel. And to be honest with you, the Roger pick of LPE was a little bit risky. Could have gone for Ace and Shin for the late game factor, but LPE, LPE, I guess they wanted the early game, they wanted the early game snowball like they did with their previous series, but you can't do that against the Brody and a Hayabusa. It was really well played by Archangel nung drafting pa lang, no. Kitang-kita nung pick nila yung Hayabusa, they have the right idea on how LPE wanted to play this one out. And knowing yung playstyle ng LPE dito, it heavily relies on BMO. They let the Cho through and just countered the ideology of how LPE works. And that is what is crazy about the draft here of AA. It really is a direct counter against LPE, something that they should fix on the upcoming game if they want to ever force out game number 3. Nakakatakot to kasi at the pace of LPE, no, alam mo, nakilalang-kilala ka nung team na kalaban mo. Specifically si BMO, galing dyan, no? Pero ngayon, baliktad, Archangel ang makilala sa LPE. Now, let's look at the highlights as to what happened on this specific game. You're already seeing LPE try to play aggressive, no, with the Cho and the Roger. Yan naman talaga yung ginagawa ng lineup nila. But it is heavily punished by the heroes on the side of Archangel. Yes, nakakakuha ng early lead because they just have so much damage and they have so much control on the early game sa lineup ng LPE. But when the time came na nag-online na or nag-spike na yung heroes sa side ng Archangel, napakahirap lumaban. Again, if you try to analyze what the hero does on the side of LPE, you have a Harriet and you have a Roger. Two conflicting heroes, no. Although gusto nila ng team fight and gusto nila ng skirmishes, they can't do both. And this is where the Hayabusa and the Brody comes in. They specialize on those scenarios, no. Mas gusto ng mga heroes na to na small skirmishes and yung mga in and out, specifically the Hayabusa. Kaya hirap na hirap din makahanap ng laban sila aspect dito kasi nga hindi rin nila ma-pinpoint kung ano ba yung type ng team fight na hinahanap nila. And you know, the end of the game tells you how much of a story this is for Archangel. It was just a battle of small skirmishes. Now, MVP of that game was the Lapu on Fall, KDA of 404, net worth of 10,753, damage dealt 25,128, and objective damage of 2,871. Now, Fall actually did a lot here for Archangel. Siya lang, actually, isa rin siya sa mga pwedeng banatan ng LPE, no? But it's a Lapu-Lapu. And if you are a Roger in the Harriet and you can't take down the Lapu-Lapu after you've used all your resources, wala na. Ikaw, si Lapu-Lapu na yung hahabol sa'yo. Ikaw ang hahabulin nitong tao na to. And si Paul, tinatagan niya lang yung sarili niya, never died in the game. And he was just the frontline problem here for LPE. Do take note na yung Roger tsaka yung Harith, napakahirap na matchup niyan. I mean, for the Harith and the Roger, napakahirap na matchup na isang Lapu-Lapu. Kasi the nature of Lapu-Lapu is he sustains himself and after that, he can fight again. And if you're the Harith and the Roger, the only thing that you do once you've exhausted all your resources and can take down your enemies, takbuhan na lang para sa dalawang heroes ito. Actually, pati sa mga kampi mo. So that was the very nature of the lineup of LPE against Archangel. It was really just easy for Archangel from the very start. Draft pa lang, kitang-kita mo na kilalang-kilala ng Archangel yung LPE. Now, the question is, kaya bang sagutin ng LPE ang Archangel sa pagkakakilala nila. Castus, what do you think?
Mataas ang possibility, Midnight, kasi nga, kilala ng Archangel si Pande. At saka ilang beses na rin nila nakakalaban to eh. I mean, again, I'm not emphasizing na si Panda talaga na to, yung dati nilang coach. Well, ibang players nga to eh.
Yes.
Pero kasi yung, alam mo yung, parang nakikita mo yung pass. Parang ganun yung nangyayari ngayon dito, kaibigang Rob Luna.
Oo, kumbaga yung nature kasi ng Archangel, somehow kahit papaano, nakikita pa rin yon dito ni Coach Panda. But LPE right now, Manjin, they are 1 game away para sa pangarap nila, and they really need to push or force Archangel dito for game
Number 3.
3.
Number 3. And knowing these guys, alam natin, nakita natin sila, nakasama rin natin sila one time, Rob Luna, na alam nila sa sarili nila na kayang-kaya nila. Sa lahat ng na-interview natin, Rob Luna, na teams na gustong sumali dito, sila lang yung team na naging realistic sa percentage ng pagkapanalo. And doon pa lang makikita mo kagad yung pagiging noble nitong team na to ng LPE. Yung honesty, 'di ba? Na sinabi 88%. Ibig sabihin calculated talaga.
Saka alam din kasi nila that you always leave room for improvement talaga, and that's how they see, that's how professional LPE on approaching their games, approaching their organization, and well respected talaga yung mga ganitong klase ng mga organization. Pero match point, of course, for LPE.
Let's go.
They need to reset dito, mga kaibigan. So far, in terms of banning natin dito, Manjin, there was almost the same. Pero ngayon, tatanggalin nila ang Silvana. Nahirapan dito kanina, even with Bimo on the Shunpo. There was always a time. Because si Yami dito or si Boy Joy, alam niya he also knows how to play around dito sa isang Cho, which is one of the tanks ngayon na madalas na ginagamit ni Bimo. That's one of the reason bakit kailangan iba ng LPE ngayon ang Silvana.
Kabisado nila no? At alam din na baka piliin kagad to sa second pick itong hero ng Cho na to. So yeah, with that being said, Rob Luna, masasabi mo ba na it's a battle of the tanks din para dito sa ating laban na to?
Posible. Kasi one of the formulas na pwede nating i-reference dito kung paano natalo ang Archangel against teamwork earlier was nilagay nila dito si Boy Joy in awkward tanks. Kinuha kanina ng teamwork yung one of the best hero dito ni Yami, that's gonna be their Jawhead. Napilitan sila gumamit dito ng like the Matilda na tank support. And we're in LPE dito, they are one of the teams na kayang mag-facilitate talaga even risky type of lineup. They could somehow even reference the way teamwork drafts earlier. Kasi ang LPE, nakikita natin sila talaga na the longer you prolong the games, the better they actually play.
Yeah.
So, if Archangel is really one of the best teams talaga to be able to maximize the early game potential, convert it into objectives, and even getting favorable trades, might as well prolong the game. Kasi nakita natin yon against teamwork kanina. Pag napapatagal ang laro sa Archangel, doon sila nahihirapan. Even with a big or a commanding lead early on, nababawi at nababaliktad talaga.
Yeah, actually, isa rin yan sa mga characteristics ng side ng LPE. Kaya nasabi nga natin na they know how to download games. They know how to play a series game. And with this, kailangan pa rin wag maging confident, wag maging complacent dito ng team Archangel. Rob Luna, gusto ko lang emphasize dito na Archangel, they've been here, man. One game na lang.
One game
Yung last
away.
time, one game lang din. Yung last time, one game lang din.
Pero alam mo, Manjin, LPE, sabi mo nga, they been like a download game team din as well. Nakita nila dito they already picked down agad yung Jawhead. We're in, wala. So, they are somehow countering dito yung mga tank support ng Archangel.
Yeah, given na mayroong Jawhead dito na pwedeng gamitin ni Bimo, ibig sabihin, gigera kagad sa jungle to. Pero okay, alam natin na yung Clint ay ginamit last time ng isang team. I think that was Reach Apex.
Yes,
if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
And mukhang hindi yun gagamitin ng Archangel. And yeah, going back to your point, Jawhead Bimo na ngayon ang makikita natin, na nakikita natin na naging successful talaga on their side. What can you do about it? Now you have a Yuzong, now you have your Harit. What is your answer?
Sa akin, ang sagot ko dito, get hero kagad para kay Arbs. Kasi ang nangyari kanina, nagkaroon ng mga ng mga banning in terms doon sa mga hero ni Arbs on the 4th and 5th ban. This is gonna be a good pick para sa kanila. binan kanina ng Archangel, and now we called it. Jake the Dog will be getting once again his 1-1, let alone Louie ni Arbs. Nakita natin to time and time again, regardless of win or loss, laging nagde-deliver ang Louie ni Arbs.
Ni Arbs, isa to sa mga favorite niya. And again, it's an answer to the Harit. Kapag nag-Zaman Force ka, ilalagay mo lang yung bilog doon sa loob ng Zaman Force. Easy damage ka na agad para doon sa Harit. Kumbaga, depende pa kasi sa scaling ng Harit yun kung magsusurvive siya doon sa bilog. Pero kung wala, yatap agad. So ngayon, dalawa ang sagot para sa akin dito sa side ng LPE. Una, nasagot nila yung Harit. Pangalawa, yung 1-1, nasagot din yung Yuzong. Ngayon, sa side ng AA, nilabas nila ang top-rated hero na binan nung M2 and I think hanggang ngayon dito sa MPL Qualis.
Yes, there comes a time on the previous series natin na na-open tong Natalia and medyo nineglect ng mga teams natin, and now Archangel will be the one to first to utilize here on the main qualifiers. Sinabi natin kanina, ours was definitely outstanding sa paggamit nitong Louie na to, pero iba kasi ang magiging sitwasyon mo pag meron kayong kalabang Natalia, kasi Natalia, this technically just be their tank support role, and ang gagawin lang nito is to provide vision dito sa Archangel or probably makakuha ng mga event 3 or pick off dito sa Louie na to.
Yeah, man, gagawin of course ng Archangel ang lahat. One thing to take note kapag kalaban mo ang Natalia is lagi kang dapat aware kung nasan yan. Gusto ko lang i-remind kaibigang Rob Luna na kapag tinamaan ka ng 1-1 per skill or manormal ka lang ni 1-1, kahit in-V yung Natalia, chances are pwede nila paring ma-scout kung nasan ito. So it's really gonna depend on LPE kung paano nila sasagutin itong for sure magiging aggressive Natalia ng side ng Archangel.
Kailangan maging maingat talaga dito ng Natalia, and I really like your point, no? It's like a pseudo counter para sa side dito ng LPE as they have this 1-1 on their draft. They could potentially use the skill, the first skill dito ng 1-1 on the brushes.
The shallow spot.
The shallow spot, pwede nila kaagad gamitin yun doon. Kumbaga mapapansin mo naman if you're on the game talaga, you know when and where kung nasaan ang isang Natalia just by pakiramdaman talaga 'di ba? Kung pag may lumabas na exclamation point sa'yo, you just have to choose where you use your skill dito para sa 1-1.
Yeah, so kailangan din ng malupitang swallow spot and spider senses dito ni Jake the Dog. Pero okay, yun lang, Rob Luna. Hindi ko na napansin yung mga picks and bans dito, but I do feel na ito yung nagpakompleto sa apat na lineup ng AA. The Yi Shun Shin pick off. Vision is gonna be great para sa side ng AA. Pero meanwhile, ang ganda rin ng sagot.
Maganda yung sagot dito ng LPE. Pero there is something that worries me with the draft ngayon dito ng LPE. Kasi yes, they have this kind of AOE coming from Orbs dito with the Louie, with the duality. Pero the rest is single target.
Oo.
That's coming from
Hayabusa, Johed, Baksha,
and even the 1-1. Well, the 1-1 will just go to other target if the crossbow of tank could be able to kill. Pero paano kung hindi?
Yeah. I think ang hirap pa rin ng win condition ng LPE dito kasi mukhang late game insurance sila. Kailangan muna nila mag-ipon, kailangan muna nila maghulog 1-1. Kuya Rob Luna.
Kailangan talaga. Ang pinakamahalaga dito is hindi ma-shutdown si Jake the Dog early on. Ma-hold ni Orbs, and wow, that Akai might actually seal the deal for the side of Archangel. I'm really excited dito, Manjane, how this unfolds so far in terms of the draft dito. Archangel, I'm really leaning towards their draft right now. This is an easier draft to execute. Alam mo kagad yung mga winning condition nila dito. This Harit will be farming, and technically, lahat yan pwedeng magkaroon ng items, mag-farm. At dito for the side of LPE, it's still conditional Kailangan mong bigyan ng space dito ang 1-1 para maging viable siya dito sa team fight.
Hindi ganun ka magiging madali sa LPE makabalik, and of course gusto nila mag-survive, pero sabi dito ng Archangel, tama na. Ilabas na natin ang Dragon Warrior. Akai, ladies and gentlemen, if I'm not mistaken, Rob Luna, hindi ganoon ka napipili itong Akai ngayong MPL qualifiers. Mas pinipili ng mga teams ang Baksha. Minsan pa nga mas nag-a-atlas pa sila.
Yes. And
So now with the Akai, anong pwede natin na-expect? Oh my glob.
ang pinakamagandang expectation dito, Manjin, is the disengage na pwede nilang gawin. The Akai could potentially have a good Hurricane Dance dito kasi merong siyang setup eh. May Black Dragon na manggagaling kay Fall and that's enough na panggugulo para sa side ng LPE para makahanap dito si Boyjoy or rather si Yami rito na magandang ipet sa mga pader dito against LPE.
Makikita natin yan pagdating ng late game. Of course, kapag nagkaroon tayo ng clash, of course, one main reason kung bakit bumalik din ang Akai sa ating meta is that kaya niya mag-leash ng purple buff. So that time, na-leash niya ngayon ang Yishun Shin, of course, na mauuna, I think. Actually, hindi. Nauna pa rin yung Hayabusa.
Nauna yung Hayabusa and that's because binantayan talaga siya ng maigi doon ni Arvs. They know
Oo.
that Natalia could potentially try to steal the buff here coming from LPE. So far, in terms of rotation, pantay pa rin naman sila dito, Menjin. And just the Natalia, talagang ang gagawin niya lang dito is provide vision for the rest of Archangel while they actually farm or rather get into level 4 kasi merong certain power spike dito kasi yung Archangel. Alam natin ang galaw nila dito whenever mag level 4. Yes, Saxa Jago has already been level 4. Magta-try silang mag-force ng team fight doon kung saan malapit yung turtle. Meanwhile here on the top lane, pwede na nila tong sugurin at kunin tong energy shield.
Yeah, that is a classic MLBB strat. Kuya Rob Luna, na level 4 ka na before 2-minute mark, pwede kayo mag-invade at pwede kayong actually mag-dive ng tower kasi meron kang ultimate kagad eh. So ngayon, ang tanong, kaya ba yung i-utilize ang side ng Archangel since sila yung Natalia lineup? This time, hindi pa nila nagagamit yung execute. Wala pa actually. Double execute para kay Escalera at kay Paul dito, which means, tama ka Rob, Archangel talaga magdidikta ng laban.
Sila talaga magdidikta dito, Manjin. As look at Escalera, pero masyado siyang malalim doon. Mukhang mapipick up at na-pick up pa nga at hindi pa nila na-secure yung turtle.
Oh no, Escalera just trying to go for the vision that time at hindi siya naging successful on the attempt. But still, may retribution pa rin si Saxa Jago, I mean. Bimo, there you go, ejector, pero si Acer ka mauli dito, no rock potions yet. Meanwhile, Ryota, oh no, that was a clear mistake. Let's see, the Lord will go in the hands of AA. Saksha Jago will take it. 2 heroes will fall down para side ng LPE. And Jake the Dog, napakagandang clutch, crossbow of Tang, pero yun ang sinasabi mo, Rob Luna. The dispersion first kill na itabla pa ng LPE yung trade na yon at tabla pati yung gold natin pare.
Tablang-tabla, though Archangel were the one who actually secured the turtle. Ang nangyari kasi doon, Fall was actually on the middle of 3 heroes coming from LPE and isang normal hit. Isang normal lang ang kailangan doon para kay Jake the Dog. They could be able to kill down the 1-1 kaso nag-proc na doon yung crossbow of Tang at muntikan pa nga na mamatay doon yung Yuzhong.
Buti na nga lang kamo nag-proc yung crossbow of Tang. Pero Rob Luna, ito talaga yung mga instances na bihira lang natin makita na nagkakaroon ng misclick, miss chance si Bimo sa kanyang ejector. I think kampi niya, na-ejector niya nung una.
Oo, yun nga yung nangyari doon and that's very unfortunate for the side of LPE. So far dito, aggression pa rin ang pinapakita dito ng Archangel as Bimo going in with Escalera.
Ang glupet nung counter go ni Arbs na naman dito, Rob Luna. Kakabanggit mo lang na itong Louis pick na to ni Arbs ay sobrang kabisado niya. Kabisado niya kung kailan magbabounce. Yung dispersion, kabisado niya kung hanggang saan yung bilog ng rotation.
Exactly.
Nauhuli niya yung Natalia.
Yes, and not only that, alam niya kung kailan niya lang ipaproc talaga yung Duwante. And that's a good decision coming from Ryota, yung pagkulong forward doon sa base ng Archangel. Pero ang ganda rin anticipation doon ng Akai. Actually able to block that and get the back shot.
Archangel now resetting and going for the bottom trade. And there you go. Ito na yung classic Archangel na tinatawag natin, Rob Luna. Even though LPE is trying to get this tower in the top lane, never pupunta dyan yung dalawang heroes ng Archangel. Kaya kailangan na rin piliin to ng side ng LPE. There you go. Nice ejector mula kay Bimo as Team LPE will again even up the trade. 2K lang, 200 lang ang kalamangan ng Archangel. As of the moment, it's still an even ball game.
Even ball game to, Manjin. But we all know that the power spike of Archangel is on the early game. Hindi nila na ma-maximize yung Natalia pick nila dito. And look at fall. He almost fall dito kay Ryota. And a steal from, or rather, nakuha ni Aspect yun at namatay pa si Escalera doon.
Oh no, this is looking bad for the side of Archangel. This time, hindi nila nakuha yung even trade or hindi rin sila nakakuha ng trade na lamang sila. Man, nagkaiwalayan at nabigyan pa si Jake the Dog ng 2 libreng assist to the point na pwede niya nang mabuo yung DHS. Ngayon, ayan, recipe na lang yung kulang.
Yes, this is a complete turnaround coming from LPE. And this is a dangerous zone para sa Archangel. Kasi we all know, yung lineup nila dito was supposed to win the early game. We're still on the early game going towards the mid game. Pero suddenly, LPE, sila pa yung mas nagko-command. Sila pa yung mas nagda-drive ng momentum dito against Archangel.
Oo nga. Men, sinubukan ng Archangel yung laban nila doon kanina. Akala nila mag-react yung LPE. Akala nila magbabak ng LPE kasi nagpupush sila at napatay nila si Arbs. Pero hindi. This Natalia pick para dito sa AA, hindi siya nagwo-work eh. Kasi I think fully aware ang LPE na anytime soon may Natalia sa harap nila.
Ang nagiging problema kasi nila dito against LPEs was definitely Arbs. Kasi huling-huli palagi si Escalera with the duality, and from there, pino-focus fire kagad siya. That's one of the reason bakit hindi siya makakuha dito ng pick-off. Kumbaga, sa ngayon dito, Manji, nagiging vision lang ang nagiging trabaho ngayon dito na Escalera. Pero dito, LPE nang gulat sa gitna.
Nako, nakita kagad nila si Shaksha dito. Napakagandang ejector mula dito kay Vivo. And Shaksha will fall down. Escalera mapapalapit na rin dito. Pero yun nga yung sinasabi natin yung passive nung 1-1 pare. Where are you going? Escalera, clap, clap, clap. May passive pa rin ng 1-1. Nako, saan ka pupunta? May libreng sight para sa side ng LPE, and with that, dalawa kanilang mapapatumba.
Bukod sa dalawang napatumba, Manjin, mababasag na rin itong gitna. Just like that, LPE now on the lead here against Archangel. Wow, we had a very good game for the side of Archangel during game number 1, but this is a complete turnaround of events dito, Manjin. Ngayon, LPE naman ang nagpapahirap ngayon dito sa Archangel.
Totoo ka dyan, Rob Luna. Kumbaga, hindi papayag si Komish. Hindi papayag si Komish Ginoong Valdez na hindi tayo aabot ng game number 3. It's all about the ratings. Ang ganda ng headline kasi, Rob Luna. LPE Archangel, wasakan ang pangarap sa MPL qualifiers. Ganun na ganun yung nakasulat sa mga tabloid.
Oh my, at may mga picture pa dito ng mga players. Pero ito, Manjin, ito ang pinakamahalaga dito sa laban na to. Kailangan wag sila ditong mawalan ng pag-asa, most specifically for Archangel. Well, they are still on the lead naman on the series, pero they almost had this game. At ang nangyayari lang sa kanila dito, hindi nagpe-pay off yung surprise pick nila dito with the Natalia.
The Natalia. Tsaka think about the storyline, bro. Think about the storyline. It's teacher versus student. Student versus teacher, man. Ganon yung nangyayari dito, Kuya Rob Luna. And ako parang hindi ko kakayanin. Dahil AA, isang game na lang. If ever matalo pa yung Archangel dito, parang ibig sabihin nito, mas lalo silang kakabahan for game number 3. Kasi syempre, LPE, hindi rin naman bibitaw yan.
Totoo. So parang sinasabi mo rito, Manjin, parang deja vu to.
Deja vu.
Ng MPL S6 qualifiers.
Naku po, kailangan nilang magising sa katotohanan, Kuya Rob Luna. At naku po, look at this. LPE now lurking towards the bottom side. Naku, free farm na si Jake the Dog dito, pare ko.
Pero yung pwesto ni Escalera dito, nararamdaman to ni Aspect. That's one of the reason nag-shadow na kagad siya rito. Pero ang ganda rin kasi ng pag-group up dito ng ng LPE.
Oo.
Alam nila na laging nandito sa bandang likod yung sa Escalera, and now Jake the Dog is trying to find Escalera on the brushes.
Grabe, no? Nakikita mo yung biglaan na lang siyang
swallow spot. Gumalaw kasi yung damo.
Gumalaw yung damo, naramdaman niya eh. Spider senses mula kay Jake the Dog, pare. At saka kasi ang mararamdaman mo eh, once may lumabas na exclamation point sa ulo mo.
Totoo.
Per skill ka na eh. Kumbaga kahit hula-hula na lang na per skill eh.
Kahit saan mo yon iba to, as long as tamaan mo. Kasi malalagyan mo ng mark eh. And malaking problema kasi yun. Kasi hihintayin pa ni Escalera mawala yun.
Oo, speaking of mark! Ninja Killa ay nahuli dito ng alley-oop ni Bimo. Alam mo, favorite talaga ni Bimo tong mga hero na pumapasa eh, no? The ultimate setter para dito sa side ng LPE.
Kung hindi kanya isisipain, iitsak niya eh. Oh no.
Dalawa laro niyan, yung una soccer. Tapos ngayon, volleyball.
Volleyball.
Ayan na naman, here comes the set. Pero wala Kuya Rob Luna.
Wala muna. Pero Escalera on dangerous grounds dito mga kaibigan as LPE now trying to bait the Lord dito against Archangel. Alam ng Archangel to. Meron silang vision dito that is being provided ngayon dito na Escalera. Arbs is trying to find Escalera onto the back lanes. This is definitely a bait. Look at that. Bimo already knows. Alam nila to, Manjin, na isang bait lang to.
Gets nila yung lahat ng papasukan, pare. Kumbaga, huling-huli. Kumbaga, booking na booking. Kahit anong rason, hindi kumbaga, huli pero di kulong, Kuya Rob.
Huli talaga pero hindi kulong. Pero speaking of kulong, mukhang hindi na yata aabot dito yung tulong ng Archangel.
Let's see, dahil papasok sa Escalera dito. Nako, pulado kagad si Aspect dito para makukuha ni Landlord. Escalera pulado ngayon. Nice Salmon Force yung bumulat dito kay Ninja Killa. At mukhang shadow nila si Bimo. Pero eto na ang counter go. Aspect papasok ngayon. Pero joke lang pala dahil Sasha Jago mapapatrace this out siya. Pero ayun na, yung Ninja, Joke Jack, Jenilyn. Killing spree para dito kay Jake the Dog. Trinipo ka na sa mukha. As Team LPE will take 2 heroes at mukhang, alley-oop! Lipat ang camera dito sa baba.
Dito na sila sa baba ngayon, magbabasag Manjin. Well, hindi lang umabot doon yung kanilang mga minions, but now, isa-isang nababasag ngayon dito ang mga outer turrets ngayon dito ng Archangel. Ito na naman there on this ground na yung lead nila nawala na lang bigla.
Ibang klase yung pinapakita ng LPE dito. And tama ka, Rob Luna, they are a team na hindi mo basta-basta natuto 2-0. Laging sanay ang LPE if ever matalo sila game 1.
Nako, mukhang wala pa yatang depensang magaganap dahil mababasag na kagad yung gitna. Wala pa yung Lord dito.
Oh no! The Lord is now at the top. Nako, naging Elsa pa nga si kaibigang Arbs dito. Arbs, he will manage to survive. Pero inabot siya ng Dragon. Siya pa simulan dito. Oh no! Nako po! Hindi niya na kinaya mga kaibigan. Paul will take down Arbs. At ako, kung ako ang AA, kukunin ko lahat kahit mga maliliit na bagay. Mukhang okay na depensa yon para sa side ng AA. Meanwhile, hindi pa ata tapos dahil papasok si Bimo dito. Joy Boy, here comes the Hurricane Dance. May ipit si Bimo dito habang si Escalera nasa likod. Silence, ladies and gentlemen. Nako po, pero yung Ninja ay nakapag-juke jack pa rin habang nakakakit ng libre ngayon si Jake the Dog. It is LPE, ladies and gentlemen. Lagi na lang ganito ang nangyayari. Deja vu para sa Archangel. 13-6. LPE hoping to close this game out.
Oh no, that was LPE's game to lose na ngayon mga kaibigan. Ito kasi no, ang nagiging problema ngayon dito for the side of Archangel, hindi nagpe-pay off sa kanila dito yung kanilang Harry. They don't have a certain AOE that could potentially go against dito sa LPE and hindi nila mahuli dito si Jake the Dog.
Si Jakey. From Jake the Dog, nagiging Jake the Snake.
Jake the Snake, sobrang tulas.
Sobrang tulas. Alam mo naman ang mga ahas. Ahas rhymes with tulas, pare. Kaya ganyan ang nangyayari ngayon. Napakadulas si Jake. Pero speaking of ahas, sabi ni Paul ako din, malaahas na galawan. Habang nandoon sa kabila naman ay makakil si Ninja Killa. Wala si Ryota. Ito na ba ang pagkakataon ng side ng Archangel? Pero kailangan ata nila dumipensa. Oh no, si Paul, nasa pangalan niya na. He might fall down. Pero hindi. Napakadami pa ring essence. Pero there you have it. 1-for-1 exchange. May TP pang magaganap dito. Wala. It's still LPE controlling this game.
Alam mo, yung control dito, it's completely coming from LP. Alam mo kasi ang nangyayari dito for the side of Archangel, parang 4v5 lang yung laban eh. Si Escalera kasi dito, most of the time, para lang siyang paparazzi. Nag-aabang lang siya ng magandang picture sa likod. Kaso, hindi sila binibigyan ng pagkakataon ng LPE dahil nag-group up talaga sila dahil alam nila laruin itong Natalia.
Itong Natalia na to, gets nila. Alam nila kumbaga sa totoong buhay, ito yung tipong naghahanap lang na maisuscoop.
Yes.
Na news. Kumbaga, galawang fake news, Kuya Rob.
Galawang fake news. Well, ito naman kasi talaga ang playstyle ng isang Natalia. Hindi pwede kang mauna. You're just waiting for the right moment onto the back lanes at inaabangan niya most of the time dito yung mga squishy heroes katulad dito ni Arms or baka kung merong magbaback na mababa ang buhay. Kaso hindi enough pa yung tankiness kasi dito ng Yuzhong eh. Ito kasi yung kailangan nila. Kailangan ma-hold ni Fall yung mga initial damage na magagaling from LPE and from there baka sakali si Saksa maka-pick off or rather mapauwi nila, mapoke nila enough na para makakuha ng kill. Tignan mo na panis na yung execute ni Escalera hanggang ngayon hindi pa niya nagagamit.
Wala na. Kumbaga akala niya pag pinindot niya, parang walang damage, pwede niyang sabihin na sira eh. Kasi hindi na eh. Kumbaga ang ginagawa na lang ni Escalera dito para na lang siyang walking ward.
Yes.
Kuya Rob Luna.
Oh no.
Isa siyang scouter.
Scouter indeed, pero still, LPE still respecting the capability of Archangel for a comeback dito, Manjin.
There you go. Nakita na nila, nagka-exclamation point na Natalia. Nakakaramdam, pam, eskalera takbo. Buti na lang kamo. Ang ganda ng mountain shocker dito ng Archangel. It's still not over, pero may onting depensa ang Archangel sa base nila. Mukhang nagiging delikado to, Kuya Rob. Mukhang ibibigay na ng Archangel yung Lord this time. May chance kaya silang makuha to.
Hindi pwedeng ibigay to ng Archangel dahil ito ang magiging nail on the coffin nila. Tatapusin, kailangan nilang lumaban dito, Manjin.
Sino kaya makakakuha? It's going to be the Ninja, of course. Aspect ang makakakuha, pero napakagandang shutdown para naman dito kay Yishon Shin, pero mukhang bitin pa rin dahil double kill na si Jake the Dog. There you go, Jake the Dog, sinasayawan na lang, pare. Ayan na nga, inaanjing. Jake the Dog, 4 ang nawala sa Archangel at mukhang tapos na ang laban. It is of course going to be a 1-1.
Oh no! Pinakahuling serye ng araw na to. Bakit natin hindi dadalhin into Game 3? Oh
I
no!
can't believe it, Rob.
I really can't believe it.
Sobrang heartbreaking nito, Rob, para sa dalawang teams. I can't believe my eyes,
Ito
bro.
yun eh. Ito yun, Manjin eh. For the side of Archangel, they are on the same spot on MPL Season 6. For LPE, they are on the Cinderella story. Nagsimula sila dito sa araw na to from the lower bracket or even on the very first day.
Oo,
nalaglag sila agad, lower bracket. Ginapang nila yon hanggang dito sa dulo.
Ay, ginapang nila. Tsaka yung gapang din ng team sa pagbuo eh. Di ba yung gapang, yung pag-announce nila ng roster, yung pagsali nila last ng season 6, kulang pa daw yung kaalaman. Tapos ngayon, gets na nila. Ngayon, Archangel,
Men,
parang hindi ko kaya panoorin, pero
hindi ko rin
parang hindi ko
kaya
kaya
rin.
panoorin.
Oo, para sa akin, deserving definitely itong dalawang team na to, but we only have to get one team.
Isa lang.
Isa lang ang posibleng makapasok. Isa lang talaga ang papasok para sa atin sa regular season ng MPL Season 7.
Ngayon pa lang, Kuya Rob Luna. Ngayon pa lang, Kuya Rob Luna, nasi-speechless na ako. Parang hindi talaga kakayanan ng puso ko ang mangyayari. If ever kahit sa kanilang dalawa matanggal, ang hirap malaman, Kuya Rob.
Oo, kasi
wala na akong ibang masabi pa, Kuya Rob eh.
Kung hindi nyo maitatanong mga kaibigan, both of these two teams, binisita namin ang bootcamp nila dito just right before the open qualifiers. Na-meet namin personally yung mga players from Archangel, from LPE. Shoutout sa inyo guys, even for the organization. Grabe ang emosyon
talaga.
ngayon.
Scratch, game number 1 and 2. Best of 1 na para sa slot ng MPL. Pasa na natin sa analysis ni Midnight.
Thank you so much, casters, and what a series we have in our hands. We're down to the last game of MPL main qualifiers. Once again, guys, my name is Midnight, your analyst for today. And LPE, sanagot yung tanong kanina na binato natin sa kanila, kaya ba nilang kilalanin ang Archangel? And it seems like kilala nila kung paano mag-draft ang Archangel. First phase pa lang ng drafting, nalugi na actually ang Archangel. Nung first pick ng LPE, ang Jawhead. Now, Bimo is a very good Jawhead player, pero majority of the games that he played on MPL main qualifiers was on the Sylvana and the Cho. So feeling ko hindi lang talaga in-expect ng Archangel yon. And to be fair with you, masyadong maaga yung Yuzong pick ng Archangel. It was a little bit unwarranted on their side, and siguro dahil confident sila nung naban nila si Benedetta, but after that they picked up the Harith, and what a way to pick up a marksman on the first phase now with 1-1. Literal na unsolvable mystery ito para sa Archangel dahil up until the late game, wala sila naging sagot doon. Now, we're gonna look at the items here for both teams, and gusto ko lang i-highlight dito yung mga items na binili ni Jake the Dog. Wind of Nature pa rin talaga. Again, just save yourself. Even though Archangel, they have a lot of damage under their belt, isang Wind of Nature lang, tapos ang gera. And the thing is, mobility kasi yung key dito for the 1-1. And after that, he sealed the victory with the Immortality. Immortality pick up literal na halos hindi na mapatay. Actually, hindi nga namatay. Si Jake the Dog, 7-0 HRito on the 1-1. So, syempre, hindi naman siya aabot doon sa point na yon kung hindi dahil kay Bimo. No? Bimo is really good at invading aggressive spots. And dahil yon sa mga items na binili niya rito, let's look at the items: Pure, Sustain, Athena Shield, Immortality, and balak pa niyang bumuo ng, I believe this is Queen's Wings or other tanky items. But yeah, LPE really did itemize for the late game protection ni 1-1 dito. No? Si Hayabusa, he went for Blade of Emphasis just to have an early game fighting chance against Archangel para masigurado lang no, na may lumalaban sa kanila. Kasi siguro kung nirush niya yung BOD, baka napahamak pa sila kasi makakalaban naman yung cores ng Archangel. Now, let's look if that was the case here for the highlights. Imagine lang natin no, yung mga scenario if naka-BOD si Hayabusa or if nirush niya yung BOD. Now, do take note that Archangel knowingly picked up the Natalia against a Johead. It's actually a pretty bad matchup for the hero. So, naramdaman naman ng Archangel na parang, okay, medyo mahina yung Natalia dito. No? Hindi na-utilize na maayos ni Escalera. And the thing is, LPE even moved a step further. No? Sabi nila, oy, may Natalia. Tara, group up lang tayo. Huwag tayong mag-iwan ng mga tao sa lane. Siguro aside from the Luoyi, na meron namang dispersion play. So, pwede siyang sumama. Either makakasama siya or isa-solo kill siya ni Natalia. That means walang Natalia sa teamfight. It'll still end up a victory for LPE because of the information that they will be able to gather with the Luoyi playing away from them. Although, kahit pa sabihin natin na hirap yung Archangel, they still have a lot of information that they can process with the Natalia on their side. Sobrang tumagal pa nga yung game natin kasi paulit-ulit nahahanap nila si Natalia. But then again, yung paghahanap nila kay Natalia, it leads to information given to Archangel. And napakaganda lang ng decisions ng LPE dito. They stopped pushing the lanes. They started looking for potential pickups on the side of Archangel, specifically that one that we saw on the Harit. No? Actually, dapat nga, hindi na nag-move si Harit doon sa may top lane. The moment na finirskillan niya or sinicrofish niya yung jungle creep, nung lumayo sa kanya, dapat alam niya na may mga tao sa bushes. Now, this is one of the last few fights. I would actually love to commend Fall here on the Yuzo. He did fantastic this game. He was the frontline sustain of this team. But then again, you are up against a bad matchup. This is still a Hayabusa and a 1-1. Even though namatay si Aspect dito, he was just the primary damage dealer on the early game. Ngayon, ito na yung, actually secondary, nung early game, and ito na yung primary carry nila, which is si 1-1. Was able to move around the team fights because of his mobility, and wala ring catch. Kahit pa sabihin natin may Natalia, wala namang ginagawa yan against 1-1, and it ultimately led up to the victory here of LPE. Napakagandang display from both teams. Literal, sabi nga ng mga casters, magkakakilala itong dalawang to. They know the ins and outs of each other's hero pools and they know how each other play. And the MVP, of course, of that game is Jake the Dog with KDA of 708. Didn't die once. Net worth of 12,902. And look at the damage dealt here, 52,797. Again, objective lang ang hanap ng LPE rito. If you are not an early game lineup, just take trades, no? Hayaan mong maggumalaw yung kalaban mo as long as you're getting what you want. And what they wanted here for LPE is the farm on the 1-1. And of course, not to lose the early game, no? And that's the reason why Jake is MVP here. He really did just do his job, no? Farm lang tayo, tayo natin late game, huwag tayo magpaloko sa Natalia. Let's just group up, and when the time comes that we can hit our power spike, let's fight into the hands of Archangel. Now, we are down to the last game, guys. I'm really excited to see kung sino yung huling team natin na i-welcome natin sa MPL. Casters, sino sa tingin nyo yung makakapasok sa MPL?
Again, Midnight, parehas deserving itong dalawang teams.
Ang hirap ng tanong ni Sir Midnight.
Ang hirap talaga, guys. Pagpasensyahan nyo na kung speechless kami ngayon ni Rob Luna kasi ang sakit panoorin ngayon itong laban na to. Kung ikaw ay sumusuporta sa LPE, kung ikaw ay sumusuporta sa Archangel, lalo na sa Archangel, pare, this is, again, yung dilemma nila. Kumbaga sa laro, pare, hindi nila matalo yung final boss. Lagi silang bumabalik sa level 1. Kumbaga sa Super Mario, World 8 ka na, babalagbagin mo na si Koopa. Tapos binalagbag ka pa ni Koopa, balik ka sa level 1.
Tinamaan ka nung apoy.
O
kaya nahulog ka dun sa laba sa baba.
Oo, o kaya pagdating mo, natalo mo nga, pero pagdating mo dun sa Princess, in another castle pala. Ganon yung mangyayari.
Castle, in another season. Yon ang mahirap doon.
Totoo.
Manjin, oh no.
Hindi ko kinakaya, Kuya Rob Luna.
Hindi ko rin
masyadong masakit sa puso.
Pero props to LPE. They were on the run din on the lower bracket.
Totoo.
Alakita rin natin yung grind nila
nakita natin even with the post then as well, no, nakita mo yung relief nila whenever they get the win.
They get a win, of course. They're a team na talagang I can therefore say na they really know how to discipline themselves with the training na meron sila, of course. Na na-witness nga natin, and syempre guys, we're just sharing it to you.
Yes.
And yeah, I guess all of the teams naman may kanya-kanyang sariling discipline sa kanya-kanilang bootcamp. Pero eto na talaga, no? Sino ang mas aabot ng pangarap? Kaninong pangarap ang matutupad dito, Kuya Rob Luna? Yan ang tanong.
Yun ang malaking tanong at hindi ko rin kaya or alam ang sagot dyan, Manjin. Oh no, para sa inyo mga kaibigan, for sure, yung mga nanonood dyan, this gonna be the final match ng main qualifiers ng MPL Season 7.
This is it. Hold on to your seats. Kunin nyo na ang popcorn ninyo. Kung mala Avengers Endgame, itong palabas na to, Kuya Rob Luna, nandito na tayo sa Final War. Nandito na nung dumating na si Thanos. Ito na yun. Magkakabalugbuga na. Balagbag talaga.
Balagbag talaga to. Now, siguro maganda tignan natin the way draft here. Paano mag-draft ngayon dito ang Archangel. They were banning the Yuzhong. And well, hindi to naging part somehow dito for LPE in terms of yung mga nagiging pick nila on their previous series. At masasabi ko rito, isa sa mga nagiging successful talaga rito sa side ng LPE is whenever Jake the Dog is handling the 1-1, whenever R's on the low Yi, and from there, kahit laro-laruin mo ni. And nabasa rin kasi dito ni Coach Panda, yung jawhead dito, isang malaking factor para sa side ng Archangel.
Ng Archangel. Alam ni Panda eh, nag-gets niya kaagad eh, na sige, bana natin. Huwag na natin ibigay. And I think may isa pang binaban na pina-priority. Look at this.
Yes.
Yuzhong. So, ibig sabihin, pare, tinatanggalan ng mga side lanes itong team ng LPE.
And comfort pick as well. Red yung tinanggal. Well, now,
yun na yung 1-1.
Nirespeto na nila dito ang 1-1 ni Jake the Dog. Well, he still has one hero na nagbibigay talaga dito sa side ng LPE. I mean, one of his best hero is gonna be the Alice. Posible pa naman din yan gamitin dito ni Jake the Dog. So, meanwhile, in terms of banning rito ngayon, Manjin, hindi na nga ito yung mga meta heroes eh.
Hindi
This is comfortable picks. Itong 1-1 ni Jake the Dog at saka ito namang jawhead dito ni Yami.
Oo, ito na yung mga ban na respeto. Kumbaga, ano na, labasan na ng alas. Kumbaga sa Super Saiyan, pare, nag-Super Saiyan 3 na si Goku eh. Tapos nag-Super Saiyan 3 din yung kalaban niya.
Ito ngayon na magiging
labasan na to.
Question dito, Manjin. Are they willing to give the Brody here once again for Archangel? Naramdaman nila yon kanina. And that's gonna be the big question ngayon dito for LPE. Kasi kung mangyayari yon, they could potentially get a Benedetta para kay Ryota. Nakita naman na natin yon. And potentially get one hero again. And the Forza, so meaning to say they're canceling Escalera's favorite, or rather one of the best heroes dito ni Escalera.
Si Escalera ang mini-main target kasi dito ng side ng LPE eh. Meanwhile, what are the heroes open for both of the teams? Meron ka pang show pa rin ni Bimo dito. At yun na nga yung sinabi mo, Rob Luna, kakakol mo lang. Brody for Saksha Jago. Meanwhile, quick picks pare. Para sa LPE, isang mabilis na Sylvana, isang mabilis na Lapu-Lapu.
Parang ang sagot dito ng LPS, sige, okay lang, nakunin nyo dito yung Brody as long as we get the Sylvana. Ito rin kasi naging problema para sa kanila kanina, nung Sylvana. And now, that's gonna be a quick pick. Nakita natin to time and time again whenever a team picks a Lapu-Lapu, pinapasok talaga nila sa back lanes dito ang Brody. Pero kasi, alam naman natin, it's gonna be very tricky eh. Ang build naman most of the time ng isang Brody is gonna be tank item. So, alam na yan ng Archangel, and now, they will be having Matilda once again on their pick. Nakita natin to kay Escalera kanina na sobrang ganda ng naging resulta.
Ito na ata yung hindi na respeto, Kuya Rob Luna. There's Matilda pick and the Brody pick. Damage and sustainability plus initiation. Ibang klase si Escalera maglaro ng Matilda, no? Hindi to yung likod lang ng Matilda. Ito yung Matilda na killer eh. Yung tipong nag-i-initiate. Pero, speaking of mid lane, tinapat na, Rob Luna, yung hero na binan kanina. Hindi na hinayaan na umabot doon sa second phase ng ban.
Oo, kailangan na rin talaga eh. Pero still, Arvs on the low Yi, time and time again. Even Escalera with the Natalia,
Oo.
nahirapan siyang pasukin to. I mean, this is a low Yi. This is a very squishy mage. Kaso, with the enough understanding on the hero, with enough information as well on going against a Natalia, hindi yun nagawa kanina. Ni Escalera, hindi niya na-pick off kanina si Arvs kasi kabisado niya tong hero na to.
Sa sobrang sa sobrang master niya, yung hero, alam mo na kung sino yung counter mo. Tapos naka-counter mo na yun.
Oo,
Ganun
counter
yun
ng counter.
Counter ng counter. Pero totoo yun eh. Kapag
Counterist.
counterist. Kapag ikaw ay merong hero na kabisado,
Oo.
kapag kinounter ka, gets mo na kung paano countering yung counter mo.
Yun.
Isa kang counterist. Inulit ko lang yung sinabi mo.
Oo.
And with that, and of course, with
quick
that,
icebreaker lang kasi wala parang iba na yung parang alam mo yung
Iba na yung
sasabog yung puso mo tol eh.
oo, naniniwala ako sa'yo, Rob, eh. Parang ang hirap panoorin eh, no?
Ang hirap talaga.
Ang hirap panoorin.
Pero ang pinakamaganda rito, Archangel still, kung papansinin mo rito, the way the draft works, this is Jake the Dog's most successful heroes eh. Itong Alice na to, itong 1-1 na to, and alam naman din natin kasi whenever LPE or rather Jake the Dog is having a great game, most of that time, yun yung mga
Nananalo.
winning moments ng LPE.
Nag-agree ako sa'yo dyan, Rob Luna, no? Kasi bukod doon sa Alice, bukod dito sa 1-1, kinounter pick pa dito ng side ng AA yung Harit ni Jake the Dog. So, 3 heroes na kagad yung tinatanggal nila kay Kuya Jake. Eh, kanina hindi siya Jake the Dog eh.
Hindi.
Jake the Snake siya eh.
Jake the sobrang tulas.
Oo
Ni
eh.
Jake the Snake. Pero ito masabi ko dito man Gina, the Claude was somehow open on this draft. Ito yung ginamit kanina ng teamwork against these teams, well at least for Archangel. There is a part of me that LPE may actually leaning towards getting a Claude.
Nagagamitin dito ni Kuya Aspect.
Posible.
Pwede, no? Nung nakita lang nila. Kasi again, a Claude is understandable. Bakit? Kasi it can go towards the Brody kapag nag-late game.
Yes.
Kapag nag-late game yon. Pero pag early, wala, babalagbagin siya. Pero, instead of mag-Claude, kaysa pampasok sa Brody, iba na lang na pampasok. Hayabusa na lang para dito sa side ng LBE.
Oh, very spicy indeed ang mga pick dito. Both of the teams. But so far, in terms of damage dito, Manjin, LPE has a much firepower here on the early game. Meanwhile naman for Archangel, there are somehow like a sustainability type dito on the side of the Basha and as well. Itong Team Shield. Ang banat dito ng Archangel. Tignan mo dito, pagka na-spam dito yung Chrono Dash nitong Harit na to, tapos nandito pa yung Guiding Wind, parang in a sense, ang kulat nila.
Yeah.
Tapos andito pa yung Atlas that could potentially provide vision and as well, kumbaga, in terms of team fight, yung Fatal Links, talagang pwede nilang i-counter engage kahit unahan pa sila ng Imperial Justice.
You're definitely right, Rob Luna. Kailangan ng LPE dito ng anti-regen items kasi sobrang kunat ng lineup ng AA. Pero tama ka, Claude, nga sa LPE. I can therefore say na AA, yung lineup nila dito, men, pag umabot ng late game, ang hirap patayin. Pero kasi, yung side ng LPE, mas masakit ang damage.
Mas masakit, totoo, ang damage dito ng LPE. Pero that's very conditional pa naman. Sinabi mo yon going into late game. Nangyari na yon kanina sa Archangel. They were on this position against teamwork kanina on the upper bracket. And I don't think nakahayaan nila yon na mangyari. So, all eyes on the early game of Archangel. Yung power spike nila, kailangan nilang right on cue, right on time. Kailangan hindi nila ma-miss yun. Kailangan nilang ma-maximize yung early game lead. Kailangan nilang maunahan na mabasagan ng tore. Kailangan nilang i-choke out dito ng resources ang mga members dito ng LPE, most specifically the Claude and the Hayabusa.
Here we
5 seconds till
go.
the enemy reaches the battlefield.
The
Smash
final game of the MPL Season 7 PH qualifiers, from wasakan ng pangarap to kung sino ang aabot sa pangarap. Rob Luna, blue side ang Archangel, LPE on the red. Jake the Dog now with this Claude against a Baksha is the sustained type damage output from AA and pure damage naman para sa LPE. Let's see. 900 ang buhay dito ng purple. Pero sino una makakuha? That is Saksha Jago.
Saksa Jago, pero ngayon
Bimo.
dito, si Buimo mukhang siya yata ang mapipick off dito. Manjin, muntikan niyang mapatay doon yung Atlas, pero pinili na lang niyang mapag-first blood dito kay Brody.
Yeah. It just goes to show na itong si Bimo kung nagpo-provide ng vision. Pero parang Delix yun kasi si Ninja Killa ang nasa side ng gold lane. So ibig sabihin with the extra kill na nakuha niya, makakuha pa siya dito ng mga extra pera dahil sa wagon.
Not only that, the Brody will definitely crush a Lapu-Lapu specifically on laning phase. Kaya niyang sabayan to as long as hindi pa nagle-level 4. And in terms of gold swing, it's all about Archangel doing all the early game advantage. Look at this, Joy Boy going for Jake the Dog.
Jake the Dog, mapapa-BMI out siya dito. Masyadong malikot actually yung lineup ng LPE if you are an Atlas. Hindi ka kagad makakahuli kasi quad shadow tapos BMI ang kakaharapin mo.
Not only that, two members from LPE does have a Purify. Nandito si Jake the Dog and even itong Loyi na to. So ngayon, it's gonna be tricky. Hindi talaga nila pwedeng gamitin point of initiation dito, ang Fatal Links dito ni Joy Boy. Kumbaga, pang counter engage. Kailangan nila munang paggamitin ng mga spells dito, ang mga members dito ng LPE, and from there, pwede na nilang hulihin to with the Fatal Links.
At syempre, mukhang ulihin din nila dito si Bimo. Bimo will not survive the damage output na binanggit mo nga, Rob Luna, na meron ang side ng Archangel. Zaman 4, samahan mo pa ng Poisons. And samahan mo pa ng super slow na meron dito ang isang Atlas. Joy Boy making the plays for side of Archangel. Meanwhile, Jake the Dog, maiwan pa siya dito. Oh no! Masyado ata siyang naghanap ng pera that time. Pero mukhang kaya niya pa rin mabuhay dito sa situation na to.
That was a good anticipation coming from the Atlas. Ginawa niya yung perfect match niya. Sinabay niya kung saan magbi-BMI dito yung Claude. Pero unfortunately, with the Purify, kayang-kaya pa nilang tumakas doon. And that was 2 tank. To be exact, that's Atlas and as well with the Basha. So far dito, papapansinin mo, this is a 3-0 lead in terms of kill. Pero yung gold, hindi nalalayo. It's all because the energy shield na nakukuha dito ni Jake the Dog on the bottom lane.
Mukhang Gucci pa rin si Jake the Dog dito sa pagpa-farm niya. At Rob Luna, pwede rin kasi siya mag-build kagad dito ng, ng Deadly Blade or isang magandang DHS para ma-counter itong mga heavy HP heroes ng side ng Archangel. Talagang LPE ay nilagay nilang insurance nila dito sa Claude ni Jake the Dog. Meanwhile, AA, eto na yung team 5-on-5 na gusto nila. Joy Boy, wala siyang mahuli dito. Nice counter go mula kay Bimo. Napakagandang Imperial Justice. And of course, Fall will fall down. Escalera pa ang main target dito. Escalera, napagamit ng shield. Escalera ay tatakbo na as Team LPE will take the will just sacrifice Bimo at magsusurvive doon sa team fight na yon.
Yes, and muntikan pa nga doon na mamatay on the purple buff si Aspeg. What actually happened during the match, sinubukan ko dito ng Archangel yung turtle, kaso hindi sila ganon ka-confident. And ang nagiging problema dito for the side of Archangel whenever they chase down LPE was Orbs. Itong Louis na to, mas na-utilize niya yung rotation, na-utilize niya dito yung duality passive niya rito whenever na humahabol ang Archangel. At yun ang kailangan nilang pigilan, or dapat hindi yun gawin ng Archangel. Kasi mula doon sa posisyon na yon, mas lalong nakakalamang ang LPE.
Kumbaga si Arbs talaga ang problema, no? Parang ilusyon lang si Jake the Dog, ilusyon lang si Aspect. Si Arbs ang pinaka-dilema ngayon ng Archangel. Archangel ngayon, sino tatargetin nila? Si Aspect ang magiging main target. There you go. Pero si Jake the Dog mapapa-BMI out. Oh no! Yatap agad si Joy Boy. Naku, mukhang sad boy na ata si Kuya Joy Boy. Pero si papasad din. Diversion play. Out agad dito si Arbs. Buhay na buhay pa din. Pero Archangel is controlling still the mid lane. Ninja Killa ang nagbibigay dito sa Archangel ng pag-asa para lumamang.
Pag-asa talaga para lumamang.
Aray.
But look at that flicker with the ultimate coming from Ryota. That is a glimpse na makikita natin ngayon here, Manjin, as he will be doing that to Brody time and time again. ito lang yun no? Sabihin na natin dito na sabay pa rin ang gold, sabay pa rin ang insurance forces. Wala pa namang nababasag dito, pero kailangan ng Archangel dito na makakuha na kailangan na nilang i-choke out dito ang LPE. Kasi as the game prolong, hanggang tumatagal to, mas lumalakas dito ang mga heroes ng LPE. They are a scaling hero. Look at Jake the Dog. Sabihin na natin wala pa siyang napapatay dito, wala pa siyang assist dito, pero hindi rin naman nahihinto yung farm niya.
Yeah, talagang nakakapag-farm pa rin. At tignan mo, chapsuy na nga yung binil dito ni Jake the Dog eh. Nakakuha pa siya ngayon dito ng DHS. So, ibig sabihin, Kuya Rob Luna, online na si Jake. Pwede na siyang gumaw dito. Jake comes in with the Art of Thievery. So, with this, AA ngayon ang nasa defensive mode. Ito kasi yung mahirap kapag may Atlas ka talaga, Rob Luna. Aasa at aasa ka talaga. Minsan, aasa ka sa malupit na initiation.
Iaasa ka talaga dito, and that was very tricky in terms of the diversion dito. Ito yung sinasabi natin kung paano minamaximize dito ni Arf yung diversion niya. Nalon niya dito si Ryota sa ibaba, and look at the shadow kill. Not dealing enough damage here to the two members of Archangel. Pero kailangan nilang umuwi at posible baka mabasag yung Torre dito sa ibaba.
Mukhang basag nga to. Remember, there's still a wagon here in the bottom side. Meanwhile, Escalera and Ninja Killa almost dying on that specific situation. There's going to be another team fight dito sa Turtle, Rob Luna, at mukhang hindi makagalaw ang Archangel. Mukhang hindi sila ngayon makapag-set up. Oh no, is the third time a charm. Here we go, Joy Boy! Pinaghihiwa-hiwa si Atlas, ginawang kalamares mga kaibigan.
Oh no, Manjin. Archangel, we've talked about this during the drafting phase. This is their power spike. This is their winning condition. Unti-unti nang nawawala.
Nawawala na nga ng parang bula. LPE on the verge to victory. Napakahirap ng win condition dito, Kuya Rob Luna. Nabanggit mo yun kanina na mas madaling ma-pull off ang win condition ng LPE. And at this moment, Paul, right now, nako, ang ganda ng vacuum, pare. Binibigay pa rin talaga kay Arms habang mamamatay doon si Jake the Dog. Sa was makakuha si Ninja Killa na magandang kill. Pero ang tunay na Ninja aspect, pinang-backs out yung mga quad shadow. At ngayon, mukhang babasagin nila dito. Nako, yung muka ni Paul.
Yun na nga, binasag. Sinubukan niyang i-defend yon, but I think that's gonna make it. Kasi dumating pa rin naman yung susunod na minion wave. Time and time again, Manjin, etong Luyi na to talaga ang nagbibigay ng sakit ng ulo dito for Archangel. Fortunately, na-pick off nila doon si Jake the Dog. What they have to do here, Manjin, is get more favorable trades. Kasi kung even Ryota here on the top lane, parang ang hirap na nilang huliin. Kailangan nilang ma-maximize dito, specifically on teamfight. Etong Brody na to, hindi na talaga natin maaasahan ngayon dito ang Fatal Links kasi yung in terms of mobility, hindi rin naman nagdidikit-dikit dito ang LPE.
Hindi talaga. At saka kasi, ito mahirap kapag may kalaban kayong Luyi eh. May lace yung lineup nyo. Magtatabi-tabi talaga kayo. Bakit? Kasi meron kayong Matilda. And the fact na meron pa kayong Harit, nasagot na kagad yung lineup ninyo, Kuya Rob Luna.
Oo, pero mukhang gustong subukan dito ang Archangel with a Fatal Links doon.
Here we go! Napakagandang vacuum mula sa Luyi! A blazing duet para kay Jake the Dog! Arms with the duality, of course, the rotation is real! Kailangan pa bang i-replay? Hindi na kailangan! Ibang klase ang mga combos na to! Arms! 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 Habang si Jake the Dog ay umaaw-aw-aw! Bumabang! Bang! Bang! LPE with a 4-man kill! What a setup mula kay Arms! 107, Rob Luna!
Oh no! Slowly, Manjin, lumalabo na ang tsansa dito ng Archangel na manalo sa laro na to. They're still holding on. They had a good initiation coming from the Fatal Links. Kaso nga lang na naka-counter-engage sila dito ng Loi, and not knowingly, the first lord of the game mukhang isisecure na ngayon dito ng LPE.
This is the Luyi plays mula kay Arms na na-counter agad. Ilang heroes ba? Mukhang buong lineup ata ng team Archangel, Rob Luna.
Nagbe-make sense kasi yung sinabi mo in regarding with the guiding wind dito ng isang Matilda, technically lalapit ka sa kanya and the more na nagdidikit-dikit kayo, edi mas madali kayong hulihin dito with the combination of skills dito ng isang Loyi, with the duality and the damage na meron siya dito. Ang bilis matunaw dito ng Archangel.
At mukhang natutunaw na nga sila, Rob Luna. Ikaw na nagbanggit nito na kailangan na lang iban, kailangan mawala yung Loyi ni Arbs dahil mukhang siya nagiging X-Factor dito sa LPE. Easy setup lang ng Blazing Duet. Anong magagawa ngayon ng Archangel? Napakahirap ng ganitong sitwasyon, Rob. This is the 3rd time in a row. Make that probably a 4th time in a row. Here comes Joy. Ito na ba ang final team fight? Makakawala dito ng isa. Di mo mawawala. Pero that is a tank. That is a support. Habang si Ninja Killa dito, napakasim ng konti dito. Oh! Napakagandang counter go. Hindi pa tapos. Sabi ni Ninja Killa, it's not over till it's over. Meanwhile, Arbs with a clutch teleportation jutsu technique. Palayo nung laban na yon.
That was definitely a clutch. He actually used a Winter Truncheon para mag-diversion paalis. Still, Archangel, humihinga pa sila sa laban na to. Even with a 7,000 deficit in terms of gold, mukhang makakabasag na sa wakas ng Torre dito ang Archangel.
Para sa mga Archangel fans, kailangan na nilang itaas sa mga kamay nila. Meanwhile, LPE kumakapit din. Ang intense nito masyado, Rob Luna.
At tingin ko kailangan nilang ulit-ulitin yun, Kuya Manjin. Kasi kanina, lagi silang naghihintay dito na mag-counter-engage. Pero ang ginawa nila kanina, inunahan na nila kagad ng Fatal Links. Kumbaga, nagkagulatan.
Nagkagulatan at ginulat na nga ni Bimo dito yung mga kalaban na paggamit na napusan dito si Kuya Paul. Habang si Ryota ay pupunta lang doon sa bandang gilid. Nako, Bimo ang unang mawawala dito. Purple ang magiging main target dito ng AA. Lalaban pa ba ngayon ang side ng LPE? Mukhang hindi na. Mapapa-art of thievery na lang dito si kaibigang Jake.
Nagkakaroon ng momentum dito ngayon dito ang Archangel. Kuya Manjin, yung deficit nila kanina mukhang nababawi na nila ngayon. Gigil na dito si Saksa, Jago at nabasag na nila ngayon dito ang Torre sa gitna. Oh no!
Oh
Makakakita ba tayo ng comeback after comeback, Manjin?
This is a double comeback story. Rob Luna, para dito sa game na to. Akala natin LPE na ang in control. This time, mga LPE fans naman na nagtataas ng kanilang mga kamay. Archangel this time with just one team fight. Nakuha nila ngayon yung lead. Nakuha nila ngayon yung control sa laban na to.
They have to play it slow, Manjin. Kailangan pa rin naman nila ng Lord to be able to secure a base turret destroy dito para sa side ng LPE. This is still a minute na kailangang i-hold ng Archangel to. They have the map control right now. Pero looking at the items dito, mga kaibigan, Saxe Jago suddenly securing his damage item here on the Harriet, even with this Brody. Napilitan na siya mag-Wind of Nature dito agad-agad just to block the damage dito from Jake the Dog.
Sobrang defensive type na dito si Ninja Killa. Wala na siyang ibang kailangan i-build pa, kundi depensa. But still, let's see. Wala nang rotation dito. Nakita na ni Joy Boy. Joy Boy! Mahuli pa si Jake the Dog. Mukhang hindi. Napakaganda Purify. Jake the Dog bumabangbang dun sa bandang likod. Oh no! Pulado dito. Si Saksha Dago. Pero Saksha Dago with the torn apart memory. Pero siya ang unang mawala. Nako, Ryota nasa gitna. Ang lapo-lapo pa nga. Bravest fighter is real. Making the plays para sa side ng LPE. Habang inuhuli ngayon ni Arbs. Dito si Joy Boy. Arbs maghabol pa ba? Habang si Escalera tumatakbo na. Brum, 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 brum. Hinahabol siya ni Ryota, 30 seconds down. Si Saksha Dago tsaka si Ninja Killa. Saksha Jago, oh no! Unang push ay mapupunta sa side ng LPE. Parang Rob Luna.
Sila ang unang makakapasag na base turret dito. But meanwhile,
no!
onto the back lanes. Nako, Escalera! Delikado ka dito pag na-pick off ka as the Lord had already respond dito, mga kaibigan. At yun na ngayon ang target ng LPE.
Free Lord ba to? How can Joy Boy take this? Hinarangan siya ni Arbs. Kalahati na ang buhay ng Lord. Ladies and gents, eto na ba yun? Bimo, tumusok dito. The Lord is now in the hands of LPE. Laos Playbook Esports. 12-12 is the scoreline, Rob Luna. Mainit ang bakbakan, hindi ko kinakaya pa rin.
Hindi ko talaga kinakaya man, Jin. Pero kung magkakaroon man ng oras dito ng counter initiation, tingin ko ito yung tamang time eh. Dahil walang mga purify ngayon dito ang mga members ng LPE. Kailangan nilang i-force to. Kailangan nilang i-go ngayon to with their fatal links. Hindi na nila kailangan dumating pa yung Lord or posible. Baka dito na matapos to.
Mukhang eto na to, Rob Luna. Nagdadasal na, of course, ang mga fans. How is this gonna end? Archangel getting the Lord down. LPE, eto na ba ang pagwasak ng pangarap? Naku po, pumasok si Bimo dito, Imperial Justice. Mawala ba dito? Of course, si Paul. Habang si Ryota ay nandito na din. Yun ay mga slice and dicing. Oh no! Ubos! Ang Archangel! LPE! Sila ang pupunta sa MPL at sila ang aabot sa kanilang pangarap.
Deja vu, Manjin, na naman ang nangyari for Archangel. Heartbreaking indeed. 3 times in a row in the history of MPL.
Napakasakit. I'm happy for LPE. I'm happy for teamwork. Pero para sa Archangel, napakasakit, Kuya Rob.
Masakit, masakit. But